morning. Happy Friday. We made it. It is the 24th of May. Welcome to TDA, the day after. Your favourite news platform and the home of popular culture as defined by the culture. And as always, you are hosted by the best people, okay? You really are. So we'll let you know who we are.
It's your boy, 6 foot plus of pure temptation, big Moss from the east side of the bridge. Good morning, people.
As always, your favourite shade queen, my own royalty.
And they call me E-Man, the pro-black activist, TDA producer, news analyst, melanin jam-packed.
That is right. And we have a lovely guest today.
Good morning.
Saki, take the ball. All right.
Can you just swing the arm?
All right.
Yes, we have a lovely guest this morning.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning, sir. Do you want to do an intro?
Yeah, I'm Semo, DJ Semo. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here.
I'm glad I told you to do it.
I don't have an elaborate intro like Mark. I wish I had an intro like Mark's intro. That was a sick intro.
Can you freestyle or something? Just
freestyle like the.
It's a DJ, not a rapper.
that's true. No, but
African Arab Prince.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. That was sick. Love that. How are you then?
I'm great. I'm good.
Yeah,
I was just
good.
telling you off camera. I'm cold. Like this can't be summer.
Yeah.
that's because Brent's blowing the aircon.
No, tell them where you came from there.
I
That's
came
why.
I came from Dubai. It's currently 45 degrees in Dubai. So
Crazy.
That's my vibe, you know.
yeah.
Like
I need
I
45
love the
degrees,
heat. I
man.
need. I'm dying. I'm
you
gagging
need it
for
too.
it.
You're in it. Hey, 45 degrees is oven. You don't need it. It's too hot. A nice 30. That's it.
Yeah, I love it. If I love a 36 there, that's like Lagos. 36 is not bad. I don't like when I'm outside in it. I like when I'm running in the car with the AC on, and I can look out in the sunny. That's my kind of vibe.
Perfect.
But yeah, how do I see you guys doing?
Yeah, can't complain.
Love it. Marks, Brent.
All good.
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm ready for the world. It's my day today anyway, so you know
This is your vibe.
this is my kind of vibe. Friday, end of the week,
Again.
and we got another bank holiday.
We do on Monday. I'm very happy about that. I need to sleep.
Which Monday?
This Monday coming up.
Oh,
You didn't even know that,
crept
did
up
you?
on me. No way.
You didn't know there was a bank holiday on Monday?
No way.
Where you been?
It would have sat waiting for us. It would have been
You
little heifers.
you would have been here thinking.
Yeah.
It would have been calling Stephen like, can you imagine? None of them showed up today. No, baby, it's bank holiday. I did something terrible yesterday. I cheated yesterday.
On your partner?
No, I would never. I cheated on my manicurist. And I'm in deep regret.
Oh, the grass ain't greener.
The grass, Mugs, the grass is actually AF over there. But then I keep consoling myself. I'm a half glass full cup of babe. I'm trying to channel that. And I'm like, how else would I have known that they would never see me again if I didn't test it out?
I hear that.
Do you get what I mean? I'm really
show us
upset.
the nose. You got to show us the nose. It's all about
I mean,
you.
they're cute and stuff, but it's just not the treatment that I usually... So my nail tech takes an hour and 30 minutes.
Right.
Sometimes an hour and 40. She takes her time. It's called a Russian manicure. She takes her time, honey. Guys, I went where I went yesterday. I was in and out of there like 30 minutes.
It's express service.
What the hell?
Hey.
I didn't like it. I said, what the hell? Like, show some passion. Like, let me know you care about my fingers. Let me know you actually care about me.
But did
What we
she do a
doing
good
here?
job?
She did an all right job.
Was it the same Russian thing?
You was looking for a therapy session, really.
No, not necessarily. I wanted delicacy. I wanted perfection.
Did you get the same Russian thing, yeah?
Well, it's a variation. That's what I realized. So it's called, the nail treatment is called a biab, right? Because it's about the builder, the kind of gel they use, whatever. But I realized that my nail tech is like differently trained. Like her qualification is out of this world. And I realized that where I went, and I guess other places, they're just trying to get in on this trend. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So they don't really know what actually makes this.
I hear what you're saying.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So I realised that, because we've heard, anyway, to be fair, she actually does like the proper like Russian man. Like, one thing Russians are good for is a manicure, honey. They'll get you right.
Yeah.
So that's what she does. But these people just do an express city version, trying to get people in. But anyways, when I see her, I hope she's not watching this, but when I see her, I'm going to have to lie and say that it was gifted, which is why I went there, because she's going to know that that was not her work. I'm disgusted. I see what men say with the barbers. I'm never cheating again. First and last time.
Serves you right.
Frankly.
You learn a lesson, man.
Serves me right for real. But anyways, all right, let's get... Oh, Brennan, you can say good morning to people.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. All right, that's that. All right, let me do the Spotify comments. Nor Zaire, I think that says, apologies if I got that wrong, says, loved Marx's support to Chambo. I got that wrong, didn't I?
Chamber.
Chambo, I keep calling him Chambo. Sorry, babes. Loved Marx's support to Chambo. This episode was great and very important. Big up you lot and Dr. Amani every single time. I love you guys, XX. Oh, I love when I add X's to this stuff. Cute. Nisi, okay, Nisi says, would you guys ever bring back Dissy for a few episodes to talk through the general election stuff manifestos? That could be a good one, or is he cancelled? Basically, just a little FYI, there's no beef in the TDA alumni. Because that's what we're doing these days. There's no beef in the TDA alumni. So yes, absolutely. Like people are always more than welcome to come here. Like it's not a we all follow each other. Like you know what I mean? We all follow each other on Instagram. We know when you follow people, that's serious business. We all follow each other, like each other's posts, interact with each other, and stuff like that. It's just yeah.
And you'll see more in the new building anyway.
You absolutely will be seeing Dissy more in the new building. So don't you worry about that.
Wait a minute. You're from the land of riches.
Yeah.
I told you that.
Where
we
is
go?
that?
I said you work in the land of riches.
Yes.
Yeah, obviously.
Well, you said you were
from the
African. What was it? African Arab.
I'm Sudanese Egyptian.
riches. Gee, he's Sudanese too.
Sudan-
It's crap.
He's got
What was it?
Sudanese in him.
I know that.
What was it?
Syrian.
Syrian.
Is it
That's
Syrian?
it.
No, he's Syrian, not Sudanese.
That's not even close.
I think it was an
It's the
X.
S.
Lord God. I know Specs is Sudanese.
All right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh,
Specs
really?
is Sudanese, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I love Specs, you know.
Yeah.
I've never
so
met the
bad.
man, but I'm such a fan of Specs.
Yeah. You must have some kind of wealthy friends over there.
I actually do, like,
Nice.
ridiculously wealthy. Like, make you feel uncomfortable.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you after this.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Love that. Always working man. All right, we've got a packed show today. We did tell people that we're going to be talking about the Terrence Howard and Joe Rogan Experience podcast interview. And I hope you guys did watch it. And if you got whatever views you have, I hope you're ready to express that. So we're just going to get straight into our headlines so we can get straight into that. It's a lot.
And if we can do the asking for a friend, is this what would you do section before Max leaves?
Okay,
in
so we'll do that
Manny?
after.
Yeah. After the headlines.
What are you saying?
No, not what you're saying. I don't think we're going to be... I think we'll be talking about what you're saying. I think he's going to leave before. In my head.
Let's just do it as the headlines and then asking for a friend.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right, so our first headline, which is Sunak. He suffered a catastrophic first day of campaigning after his decision to call a general election for the
I thought it
4th
happened to
of
him.
July.
Sorry. What's going to happen to him?
The Prime Minister began the day by infuriating Tory MPs as he was forced to admit that deportation flights to Rwanda will not go ahead before the election, which obviously prompted senior figures to declare the policy as dead. An exodus of Tory MPs saw 5, including 2 ministers, declare that they will not seek re-election, taking the total to 70. These problems were compounded when the first poll taken after the election announcement revealed support for the Tories had fallen even further, while Labour's lead had widened. The Techni UK poll, which is shared with the Independent, put Labour up 1 on 45% and the Tories down 2 at 19%. This is the first time that they have been below 20%, right? Even more concerning will be the apparent rise in support for Reform UK on the right, up to 14%, with the Lib Dems on 12% and Greens on 5%. On the next headline, and messages criticising Boris Johnson and Downing Street's colleagues were raw, in-the-moment expressions and not the reality of government's pandemic response. This is what the Cabinet Secretary said, when talking to the COVID-19 inquiry. Simon Case sent WhatsApp saying that Mr. Johnson cannot lead and calling officials pygmies at the height of the pandemic. At the time, Mr. Case was the Prime Minister's chief advisor. Speaking to the COVID inquiry on Thursday, the UK's top civil servant said that he deeply regretted the messages. Mr. Case's role in the pandemic and subsequent scandals has come under increased scrutiny in the past year. And under questioning, Mr. Case said that they are very raw, in-the-moment human expressions. They're not the whole story, but I recognise that they're part of the story. And our last headline, speaking to the LBC Tonight's show with Andrew Marr, the Shadow Minister, Nick Thomas Simmons repeatedly refused to rule out the possibility of a Labour coalition with the Lib Dems. He said that we are firstly trying to win. That is what our objective is. We're trying to win. The only thing I would say about this, though, is there's obviously a party where we do not share values. They wish to break up the country that we're seeking to govern, and that is the Scottish National Party. There will be no deals before, during, or after the election with the Scottish National Party. When pressed again by Andrew Marr, if he was not ruling out a coalition with the Lib Dems, Mr. Thomas Simmons says that with this, we're not in any sense, anticipating what the British public is going to do. And pressed once more, he then said that what I'm trying to do, though, is to say, look, we're not taking anything for granted, but there are some parties whose values are so remote from ours, you could never envisage working with them in any form. It comes after Rishi Sunak earlier on Thursday said that the Conservatives would not form a coalition with Reform UK.
That's interesting that they are confident enough that it would even get to the point where it's close enough to then say, all right, cool, let's go cool Vegeta.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Why do I say it like that?
Huh?
That's the way you said it. It's fine.
Oh.
All right. That's
All right.
a good headline.
What?
These ones. Madness.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You say you don't know what I'm talking about?
No, I do know what you're talking
Okay, cool.
about. Fusion techniques.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's get into I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. I have a question, but not for topic of the day. I like people like this. Let us know, what's what for what. Basically, I want to do the right thing and properly ask for consent to kiss and have sex with this girl, and I really like, but I don't want to kill the mood. How can I ask for consent and not kill the mood? I don't want to ask, can I kiss you? This feels so wrong at 8:40 in the morning. All right, I don't want to ask, can I kiss you or can we do it? And she gets the ick. I'd especially like to hear Mark's and Esther's opinions and advice on this, yet all your help is greatly appreciated. Thanks for your advice about my friends the other week. I'm not saying your name. Why do you keep putting your government names on here? I could have said that.
It's just polite, isn't it?
Sorry?
It's just polite.
Yeah, man, but do it alias. Start giving us funny names. So, basically, right, okay, because you want to start. I think that the idea...
I was going to come out the gates too fast.
Do you know, I think the idea of... I think people thinking, or maybe guys thinking, actually, that asking for consent
It's sexy.
in the moment... No. Asking for consent is definitely sexy. Thank
What,
you
in
very
the
much.
moment? No, it's not.
No, but that's what I'm saying, though. This idea that you think is not sexy is a myth. It actually is. Because the thing is with a lot of women, like women love to be respected and like to know that you respect them and you respect what they want to do and stuff like that. It's actually sexy in the moment. A guy asking you for consent and not just shoving his tongue down your throat. Trust me.
They also like when you take the lead,
Yeah, but you can still take the lead though. You can still do all of that stuff, but just like asking for consent is asking her that you are on the same page with what you want to do.
Yeah, but you gotta read the room.
Are you alright? So are you a girl?
Can I grab you by your throat? That's
You're gonna
Are you
kill
a
the
girl?
That's
vibe.
not sexy. No girl don't want to
Are
hear.
you a girl?
Can I grab you by your throat? Oh
Are
yes,
you a
please
girl?
grab me. Then we
So wait, so because
Get
he's
me.
not a girl, he hasn't got a perspective.
No, he can't, because again, what he's doing, you're feeding into that narrative of guys thinking that it's not sexy. But I'm the woman who has conversations with my female friends, who knows conversation that goes on in female realm, and you're telling me what you think isn't sexy for us. I would tell you if it gives.
I think there's a spectrum. It's a nuance. Some girls like a dominant man that's just gonna take control and do it.
But you know, like,
And if you have to ask, they're like, "Why are you so polite?" And
But you know,
just-
like,
you're
asking for
breaking the
consent.
mood. You
dead
know
the
what I'm
whole
trying to say?
mood. Yeah.
but asking for consent doesn't mean you still can't take control. All asking for consent does is her understanding that you're in the same place. Because a lot of women will tell you that sometimes they're not there and the guy's dick is out and they're thinking, sorry,
No,
how do
we
we
talk
get
about
there?
a kiss. How do we get to? How do we now
No,
get
it's
to
all,
dick?
no, it's all in the same thing.
Kiss and
Because he said
two
he wants to know
different
whether he
things.
can have sex as well. It's all in the same thing. So sometimes as well, even with, like, sometimes with women as well, a guy will kiss you out of nowhere. Where's this coming from?
That's men that don't read the room.
No,
that's
man,
what
you
Margaret's
got to
saying.
keep
That's what I'm saying.
excuses.
That's all missteps and stuff, innit?
Yeah.
Because really,
It's not
truly,
missteps.
These guys are novices, rookies.
It's not missteps.
there's certain times when you're talking to a brother and you're flirting and whatnot, and you're trying to, you're all in his space, and in your mind you're saying, "This man an idiot. Don't he
Body
understand?
language,
Don't he
vibe.
understand? I'm trying to lips his face off. Like, what's he waiting for? You get what I'm trying to say? there's times when you could be in that position, and there could be times when a man's got it totally wrong and he shoots for it, and you're like, whoa, buddy,
Right.
back up. And obviously, consent and asking would eradicate all of that, but it's gonna mess up the vibe with the moment. You get me? Like
I feel like it's wild that you think it messes up the vibes. I don't know what vibes you lot are sharing, but a guy asking me, "Can I kiss you?" does not mess up the vibes. If I like you and you're saucy and I'm already here with you and like you can and like I've been giving you the same energy back, you asking me, "Can I kiss you?" that is like literally like a 0.1 second interaction.
You're right.
When your tongue is in my mouth, I'm forgetting you. Like this is where we're at now. It does not kill the vibe.
You're right. And there are some ladies that require that as a requirement. There are some ladies that don't.
I think it's a good thing to do. I don't think it will necessarily kill the vibe. I feel like what it shows is that you respect her. Because I've had guys try to kiss me and I'm thinking, wow, where did we
Yeah.
where did that come from?
When the right energies align, it's a feeling. You can feel it.
That's the thing. And so that's why I feel like with the feeling, like I honestly I feel like the only way it could ever kill the mood is if she was never there with you. Like you guys have said, it's a misstep. So she'd be like, no, because we weren't, like, that's not what's happening here. But if it's a girl that's feeling you, like, you've been giving each other the same vibe, you've been flirting, like, you've been both touchy.
Yeah, but sometimes
trust me, it's fine, man.
Girl math just does not math. So a guy will be in a room thinking we're on the same vibe. And then you'll be like, oh, this guy tried to kiss me out of nowhere. But in the man's head, the math has been adding up to the conclusion of I'm about to lift your face off.
I know guys think I like them and you'd be shocked.
Right, but then sometimes if a guy's trying to lift your face off, sometimes it might be, have I actually given this guy enough for him to feed off of that and try and kiss my face?
I honestly, I don't see how asking for consent is not sexy. I see that as you respecting me, and I would actually really appreciate that. Yeah. Than you just making moves and whatever. Obviously, there's times where
never asked a gal not for consent.
Can I ask you a question? Do you find it sexy? If a man
I do.
You find it sexy? So that's a frequency. That's a mode.
I do. It wouldn't give me the ick.
That polite stuff.
Oh, I love it.
Girls love
did
that.
you see a gentleman? Oh, honey.
Yeah, but let me tell you straight. Some girls hate that shit.
And that's wild.
Can I never asked a guy to kiss her in her life. Can I
Here
kiss
you
you?
go.
Unless she's got a man or something.
Maybe just...
Lord God.
Do you know something? Men always say that women are in Disneyland. In the Disney worlds and the films and rom-com and stuff, they actually be asking, can I kiss you? It's very sexy.
Disney's messed up everybody's head. That don't really, it don't go down like that.
I don't understand how you are telling me.
Behind closed doors, Shrek is choking out Princess Fiona, spitting in her mouth. Don't get it twisted. You're talking about, excuse me, Princess Fiona, can I kiss you now? He's slapping her.
Can I spit in your mouth?
He's choking her. She's loving it. What are you talking about?
I don't know, man. I just think that. Anyway, to be fair,
anything like that's not even kinky or anything like that. That's just normal stuff. But it's like if you was in your if you like a little smack on the ass and that's your thing, you wanting to just. You get me? You don't want to be talking about, oh baby, can I smack you? You're gonna be like, what are you talking about?
I feel like there's certain things that like. Okay, firstly, I feel like people should have conversations about the kind of things you like in the bedroom and whatnot, so that there's no confusion when you're being slapped up and tossed up and down,
Lord God,
from pillar to post, and now you're all confused. Right?
Where's the mystery, man? Where's the mystery though?
I've had this be conversations before because sometimes some guys do things and it's like,
how did we get here?
First of all, you can't be checking people too hard because I got asthma, so I don't think it's going on here.
When's consent cool? When does it make sense?
Consent is always cool.
No, sorry, I mean,
right? Because we signed.
Whoa.
I'm saying,
thank you very much.
I'm saying that when's it cool to ask for it? Like, because not messing up the mood.
Don't do that.
Huh?
I'm just telling Babiel not to do that, pal.
Don't clip me up. I don't care.
I think as a man, because we're physically stronger than women. It can be intimidating when you're with someone new and you haven't set the boundaries of what they like, what you might like, whatever. Don't let the ego get involved. If a lady then pulls back and says, "I don't like that,"
yeah, of course. But I'm saying, what situations when is it not unsexy to ask for consent? If that makes sense, when asking. Because obviously you're saying like...
So we're saying when is asking for consent not sexy?
No, I'm saying...
I was going to say when she don't like you. You're asking for shit.
I'm trying to figure something out. Because obviously I'm saying if you really should read the room, energies, vibes, and you should pick up on it and you don't know. Because when you are flowing, you kind of know what are going on. And so there's missteps. But I'm saying So if I'm saying like asking for a kiss can spell it, but when can asking for consent not spoil the vibe, if that makes sense? Like when's a good time to ask for consent? In what scenario?
I think it should. Sorry, I was gonna say I think it should be more like a set the scene kind of consent, if that makes sense. Like, are you good? How do you feel? Are you comfortable?
Exactly.
Like,
all of that is so sexy, you know.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
It
what
doesn't
about-
have to be
I love a
necessarily like,
checking in.
I'm going to kiss you now. Can I
Yeah,
hold your
but what
hand?
I'm saying, I feel
Like,
like
can I
there's
put
sexy
my
ways to
arm
do
around
it.
you? Dead.
There's sexy ways to do it.
Yeah.
What about
100%.
can I come in you? No.
How did we get here?
No. That's a good time to ask for consent, right? You got to get the lay of the land. You got to know what the rules are, innit? Like, can
Definitely.
I come in you?
Ain't trying to be a father.
Can I come in you? No. Because
What the hell was that accent? You're so annoying.
Safe sex people.
Always safe sex. Thank you very much.
it's not always a no. Sometimes it's yes.
9 months later, baby.
Literally 9 months later.
Oh shit.
Listen, I feel like I honestly feel like it's about how it is that you ask and how you go by. I do think not to take it there, but a lot of men used to always be asking for receipts when women claim things happened that shouldn't have happened. So for people that always wanted receipts, I would have thought you would be marching front row like Pastor Toby on Oxford Street, wanting consent to be asked for. That's what I'm saying. I don't think it takes away the sexiness of it. If the person's feeling you and you're feeling them and whatever. I feel like it's always better to be safe than sorry. Because the worst thing you can do, because I did that a few times and it's very awkward for everybody. Not for me, because I didn't want you lips in me. So I don't feel a type of way. I'm glad I stood my ground. But when a guy tries to lean in for a kiss, you're like, whoa, buddy.
But what was the?
We'll go
I'm
with
just
that.
curious. What was the body language before that happened? Were you
I
guys
don't
sitting
know.
close? Were you guys? Was it intimate? Was
Listen,
there a
nothing
romance?
was intimate on my
in the
side.
air? So you're telling me you was dry?
Nothing
You
was
was dry
intimate.
like toast, and the
Ah,
guy
do you
just
know
tried to
what it
lick
is,
your
yeah?
face. That's what you're trying to tell me.
I'm a lovely girl. I'm a lovely, lovely woman, right? And so sometimes I'm just nice to guys. And for some, excuse me. What was that? I'm not lovely. No, something your friend now.
No.
I'm a lovely girl, and sometimes I'm just nice to guys, and for some reason they can fancy them.
Wow.
And I'm like,
It's
So I
given-
talked to someone yesterday. That's actually a proper problem for women, isn't it? Like they're saying like you can't really. It's hard
You
to
can't be
communicate.
nice to
It's hard
men
to
these
communicate
days.
with
What?
men. You can't
No,
laugh
listen.
and giggle with them.
You can't.
do nothing.
What
'cause there's-
guys can't to women? Or
No, women
women can't to
girls.
guys.
It's the same in the other direction. What are you talking about? If a man is nice to a lady,
Yeah.
you're flirting. If a man is polite, you're flirting. If
It's
you
true
say
though,
hello,
yeah.
good morning, how your makeup look nice today, you're flirt. He likes me. He wants her to know.
Yeah, I guess it's a problem both ways. But at least the women not trying to lips you out of nowhere. The hell?
Have you
Keep your
been to a
lips
nightclub in the UK? You see when a girl get them free mimosas in her.
Oh, that's a
Lick up
that's
your
a bonus brunch.
That's a bottomless brunch, honey. You never met brunch demon. What?
Brunch demon.
When they're, bruv,
Girls
feet
got
are hanging
mixed
off the edge of their high heels, grabbing floor, clawing the floor, they're walking up to you.
Yeah, girls after brunch are crazy.
Oh, it's
Yo,
Crazy, go straight to the coochie.
man them get it too. I'm telling you now. Man them get it too. Wow.
That and wine, honey. Oh, child. Fornicating. Anyways, personally, I don't think. I think there's a way to ask it. I don't think it should be like, because you read here, can we do it? I think that's just so wow. Don't ask that. But I think there's ways to ask.
He's
And
asking.
feel the
It's
vibe.
a proper science, isn't it?
So, Brent?
He's asking.
When you're talking to her and you start getting close and it's getting to that point where you think it might be
Yeah.
time to kiss.
Just be like, are you comfortable?
No, just
are you-
ask
are
her
you
a
alright
question,
with
and when
this?
she's halfway through, she's talking. Just put your fingers on her lips like this. And then just move in and just lips her. She's gonna know what I'm going. You get me?
Either that, you're gonna get a lick.
Bro! Because I'm a German people. Get your flipping finger off my lip. What do you think this is?
Your
You won't
dirty
say that,
hand.
but you'll just be confused. Just be like,
Nah, I'll be fuming. I'll be like, what the hell?
Did you wash your hands, sir?
I'll be like, what the
Your
hell?
hands all in my face.
Can you
What's wrong with
imagine?
you?
I think there's ways to ask. I feel like, yeah, just ask, like, is she, because women like that though. Like, women really like you checking in, like, are you comfortable? Are you okay? Is this fine? Da, 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 da. Like, I feel like it's in the same way. So if you say, like, are you comfortable with this? Or da, 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 whatever, you will know.
I agree with you.
But I do rate you though, highly for thinking about consent. I think it's a very, very important thing to think about. Yeah. So
Can we apply it in the reciprocal, please?
women ask for consent.
Please.
I absolutely think women should always ask
Consent
for
to
consent
talk
as well.
to us, consent to be in our space, consent to sit on our tables without asking.
First of all, y'all be the ones inviting people to tables, so
We don't. No. We've been
Actually,
inviting
so-
some girls to tables. Some.
fair.
Not
I have
all of
shame.
y'all.
I
It's
would
not a
never go.
community
I would
invite.
never. The Yoruba girl in me, I would never go to a table I'm not invited to. That's impossible.
It happens all the time.
That's embarrassing. That's impossible.
But you know what it is? The man them need to do better as well. If that makes sense.
Do you know what's
some
mad? I
man
didn't wanna
move
say it.
crazy. Now some man move crazy. So I was just away at the weekend and I spin around and I see certain gal sitting on man's table or man's like at the beach. I'm like, who the fuck brought these Johns? Like, what the hell are we
Where
doing
did you
here?
come from?
I'm
Who
saying
are
you, man, we need quality control.
Quality
You're just-
control.
you're
The
sick in your
factory is
skull.
not factorying.
You get what I'm
What's
saying?
going on here?
That's so
You know what
funny.
I'm saying? This ain't a free for all. You get what I'm trying to
I
say?
hear it.
All are welcome.
I hear it.
Yeah, I think it's a great thing that you're asking for. You're thinking about asking for consent. I definitely think that there's a way to do it. But also as well, I feel like when you guys are not in those like moments, kind of gauge the conversation and just ask her like where she is. You people don't know if people fancy you or not. Like ask her like if she's feeling you. Do you know what I mean? So you know that where you guys are at. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
I have a theory. I genuinely, I think guys can tell within 10, 15 minutes of being within a woman's space whether they like you or not.
Whether a woman likes you or not.
100%.
But you know what it is? No, they can't.
I think
I
you
disagree based on the fact that I've been threatened with lip-sync that I did not ask for.
can. Okay, well,
Do you know what I mean? Because some guys can't read it.
some guys can't. I'm not saying, I don't want to say 100% of the time,
Yeah.
but I would say me personally anyway.
That's if they want you to know though as well though, because women
Yeah.
are good at,
Yeah.
women are good at hiding
Yeah.
stuff.
I'm strict, child.
Women have turned around and let me know that after the fact or after a certain period of time that they're interested in the man, and I'm saying, rah, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
like, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Because
That's
all the
my
signs
story.
weren't there. But again, it's like what you're saying. If we've met each other, we've spoke, however we've done it, we've interacted, we've got along with each other, then we've decided to meet up and go out. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, and then we've decided to turn up, drink, get intoxicated with each other, whatever we're doing, like be in each other's close personal space and that. We're vibing. I'm liking your sense of humor, you're liking mine. Why would she have a problem? Once you've got to all that part, why would she have a problem with you kissing her once she's like doing all that?
Sometimes I'm not. Like,
It's
sometimes
like-
I'm having a good
No,
time.
it's like shooting your shot. If the date ain't going well, or like if things ain't clicking like that,
You can sense it.
you get what I'm trying to say? But if you're still forward enough to try and go for that move, but you don't know how things are going, then maybe you might feel like you need to ask for consent. But
Can I
I'm
be
saying
honest, though?
when all them boxes are being ticked and you're like going through the night and you're enjoying yourself and it's the end of the night, I don't know, you're dropping her off and she's all up in your girl soul.
Yeah, exactly. It's a body language
No,
thing.
but I'll be honest with you though. Sometimes, I'm just having a great time on a date. Like everything you said sounds like a great time, but none of that means that I want to lips you. I may or may not want to, because again, I can have a great time, but I actually might not be attracted to you in that way. So I don't want to lips you.
He's got to worry about his own source then, because I can only speak for myself. Because if we go and we have that great time, you want to lips me. I'm telling you, you want to lips me.
He's talking the truth.
You know, people that go like body count's going up, fam.
No, trust me. If we go out on a date and a time is had and we have it, body count is going up, fam. Like
Esther, are you talking on a first date vibes? Like a guy who's trying to like jump in early, like off the first date. Yeah, that's a mismatch. Like he's not really looking.
Listen, sometimes
he's not trying to really get to know you. He's gone on that date thinking, I want to smash. Like that's his intention. His intention is to get intimate. You feel me? If a guy has tried to jump in that quick, he's got to a point of the date where he's like, let me figure this out immediately. She's either going to react the way I want to, or I'm bouncing. And
I hear you.
either way, to him, it's like, whatever. I either save my time or I won.
But people say that they don't kiss on first dates and stuff like that.
I don't kiss on first dates.
You don't kiss on bad first dates.
Yeah, because of
I don't kiss on good. I don't kiss on some good ones either.
Along.
I don't kiss on some good ones either. I know where your lips have been.
Some good ones. So then again, it's down to the man and his source and what he's working with. You get what I'm trying to say? That because I'm saying like, good like, what good date didn't end in a kiss?
Right, whip around the room.
How good was it?
Quick advice, please.
How good was it? Personally, I don't think asking for consent is unsexy, and I don't think it kills the mood. So I would say that you ask for consent. Just be like, are you comfortable? Like, ask her stuff like that. Even during as well. Even when she's consented at the start, just ask her. Like, women find stuff like that very, very attractive, and trust me, it will get the juices flowing in the right places.
I'm a type of man. I'm a type of man. I don't think I could do it.
No, wow. You need to start like. You need to rewind that.
I'm just saying. I'm like more proactive. You know what I'm trying to say? I'm gonna be on the front foot. I'm not gonna tell her I want to kiss you so bad. And then see what kind of.
But that's in a way asking for. That's a genius way of asking for consent.
That's cool. Exactly. Just see what kind of energy I get back.
Because you would
If
get
she's
a
like,
reaction.
oh no.
Or if she's like, Okay. But if she's like, I want to kiss you like 2, that's asking for consent. Because, do you mean that's the consent?
Yeah,
you have to be creative with it sometimes.
Yeah, I can do that.
It doesn't have to be like a tick survey monkey kind of situation.
Yeah, just tell her the things you want to do to her. See how it's perceived.
Yeah, if you guys are texting though, like and reply, quick, and you say that, and she goes quiet for a bit, it's a no, big man. Even if she comes back and says something ate her phone and she had to recover it. It's done. That's a no. So what's your?
Nah, consent is always important.
Amen to that.
100%. I think I agree with Marks when he says like there's ways to do it without killing the vibe.
Yeah.
And yeah, some man got the sauce, some don't. Some guys just gonna kill the vibe by asking in a really blunt fashion. Some ladies don't like that. Some ladies like the mystery. They want to keep that romance, intimacy alive. And when it turns into a survey monkey, that's dead.
It's not it, man.
You feel me? But consent is always number one.
Amen. Amen, bro.
Listen, man, sex before marriage is haram.
Astaghfirullah. When it comes down to it, really, truly.
But if you want to live in sin, playboy, then consent, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, ask for consent, like,
It's
you know,
Friday,
like, consent, man.
It's Juma. How are we talking about these things?
You know what I'm saying?
Brent?
Yeah, I reckon if it is he's typing in that manner, he definitely needs to move in the spirit in which he normally
Moves
walks
in.
Yeah.
He sounds like a consent kind of guy. Living your truth.
Yeah.
King. All right, big up you though. Thank you for writing to us. We appreciate it. Let's get into our What You Saying topic of the day.
All right. Time for our topic of the day.
Brent's been waiting on this one.
I'm just going to hand it over to Brent, you know.
You might as well, because this is Brent's segment.
I don't know
Brent.
what you're doing.
Oh, what do you mean?
Exec producer. Emmanuel's job is to make sure he conducts this particular room. We've missed him for the entire last 2 weeks. Now he's handed over to me.
It's because of your passion. It's because of your passion for us to watch this.
I just asked you to watch it.
All right, cool.
And I said I wanted to talk about this in the intro. That was the topic of the day.
All right, guys, cool. What was you guys' thoughts about that particular episode?
Well, what do you think about him remembering being in the stomach for 6 months, isn't it?
First of all, are you a believer, Emmanuel? Hot take.
In what?
Just as you hear the question.
I'm a believer, yeah.
All right. You see? Yesterday he wasn't.
No, not in Terrence Howard.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
What are you believing in?
In just life.
That's what I'm referring to. After seeing it, because yesterday you were hella skeptic.
Yeah, I'm still the same.
All right, cool.
Yeah. Because it's just certain things that to me just don't make sense. And just certain things that he just said that were just wrong.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
All right. So from the top, the womb rattled you to the bit
No,
side.
not really. Like, I understand where he's come from. I don't think that actually happened, right?
Oh, really?
No, I don't think he remembers being in the womb. Like, even hearing that, like...
It sounds mad.
Exactly.
How?
You know what I'm saying?
Like...
But I feel like he's had visions of certain things. Because I remember, like, when I was young, I used to think to myself, like, is it a situation where, for example, if, God forbid, I was to die, I would then wake up, you know what I'm saying? Like, in, like, starting life almost, you know what I'm saying? Like, almost like I'm kind of living out a dream. And then when you then die, you now start the real life, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Almost like we've done all of this before. You know what I'm saying? I used to think that, like, when I was in, like, primary school, you know what I'm saying? But, so I understand that, but to me, that's still a vision. I'm not remembering anything as such, you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how I'm seeing it.
It's all that projecting and stuff, and because you can't relate to his experiences, you're saying that it didn't happen, which is not fair. I think the question would be whether is he telling the truth or not, because you wasn't there, you don't know what he felt. Everybody's different. I've said some stuff sometimes to my mum, and my mum's like, you don't remember that, and I'm like, I do remember that. She said it's impossible you remember that. You was too little. Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say? And I'm saying, what are you talking about? I remember.
I just told you.
I just told you, innit? Yeah. And everybody's thing's different. Everybody's thing goes back different. So for someone to turn around and tell me, oh, I remember when I was 6 months old, and I'm going to turn around and say, no, you don't, because I don't. That doesn't. That's not a good base for argument.
You're 100% right.
You know what I'm trying to say?
But look at what he said after. He said, I'm going to prove it to you. And what did he do?
This talks about his son.
His son. And what did he do with his son? He just shined a torch over his Mrs. belly, right? And showed out how his son responded to the light. What the hell does that show about remembering?
And then he did, and then he said that how his son responded when he took the light away, innit?
That's normal.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is the baby is actively interacting with the line. He's saying so the baby is conscious of what's going on, of the music, of the line. He's just saying he remembers that.
Yeah,
because some people might think that the baby
remembering though.
No, but it's proof of consciousness. That's
we
what
know
that's the point.
That's what I'm saying.
No,
Like,
but not necessarily though.
You know, trust me.
How can you know?
When you have your first baby, trust me.
No, but
like,
people,
there's just certain things.
not everybody thinks that a baby that's 5 months old in the stomach is actually aware of the surroundings, what's going on
But they
at the
respond to
time.
it.
But what it was though, like but the baby was responding to it, and then when it wasn't there anymore, the baby was basically asking for it.
Yes, like you listen to like a woman who's had the babies, right?
Yeah.
And they'll tell you that certain times they may get worried or this, that, and the third, because at certain times in the day, a child might do certain things in the womb. It's just a normal thing. But he's just said it in such a way where it seems like, oh, this is some amazing scientific discovery. There's nothing that you've discovered there. Nothing.
I don't know if
I think it's cap.
All right, cool. Can you just center?
Of course I can.
I think it's cap. I quick Googled Googled baby's memories. When your baby's only a few days old, his memory usually lasts up to 2 days, and then after 5 months old, it can last for up to 14 days. You're telling me this guy's a grown man? He remembers the womb, not even actually like his first days in the world.
You're not made Brent reverse.
Come on, man.
Question. I like your take on this so far, only because you've questioned his projection, and it could literally be possible. Like I told Esther when she talks about she's aware when she's sleeping, like baffling to me. Absolutely baffling. But then she will tell you, this is how I feel when it is I'm asleep.
Yeah.
I can remember everything, right?
Yeah, it doesn't matter what you think or what you experience. I'm telling you what I experience. Because you can't relate, you're going to tell me it's not true.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
you did, but yeah.
people who say they remember their previous life, what do you say about them, Emmanuel? Because a lot of people say that, right? You know that, right?
Yeah, a lot of people do.
There's that little boy that was a 2-year-old who saw Princess Diana and said that was me when I was a princess. And the parents were like, what are you talking about? He saw a picture of Princess Diana. He's saying that was me when I was a princess. You get me? They're like, what are you talking about? As a 2-year-old boy. And I think they left it. And then a few years later, I think when he was 5 or something like that, saw a picture of her again because he's done it again. So that was me when I was a princess. I was a princess until the sirens came. Something. Then it stopped or something like that. So,
That's deep.
what? It is.
Whoa.
Well, that took a turn.
bunch of coincidences.
Back to the question I asked you, man.
Put that baby in therapy, boy. Don't need it.
Oh no, but I mean, I'm open to that that idea that we've been there before. You know what I'm saying? But
all right, so if you're open to the idea that we've been here before, and one can possibly access that particular feeling of a time before birth, why are you puzzled about this?
because it happened in a different lifetime, so you're remembering. Like you have to tap into a different dimension. You're not existing in the same.
This is so
world.
interesting for me.
It's different because one is
I
a
can hear
spiritual
how
thing.
you're saying it's different, but I've just told you on a linear timeline.
Yeah.
The birth in this lifetime comes after the previous the life from the previous lifetime, and just saying, all right, I could understand how that works.
It's almost like it's almost like someone saying to me, "Well, I remember myself being a footballer, right, in a previous lifetime. Okay, cool. How come you can't remember yourself playing football at the age of 1? They happen in 2 different dimensions. You know what I'm saying? Like you're remembering something in a different dimension. I have to now ask myself, can you tap into that different dimension? It's a different world. There's no proof of nothing. But in this particular world where the laws of physics are such, right? You are not playing football at 1 year old, or you know what I'm saying? Like whatever the example is, you're not remembering certain things in the womb because we can test these things. If it's possible, okay, fine, it's possible. That's what you're saying. But according to most people on the planet, it's not possible. You know what I'm saying? I just can't fathom it.
I think I find it. I keep telling you guys I'm compromised, right? I find it easy to be open-minded about the things that I don't experience, right? Because I believe in the spiritual realm.
Yeah.
I believe in angels, demons. I believe in God. Do you understand? And I also have met people whose brain functions in a magical way that I can never relate to. So if somebody tells me that their first memory is of themselves in the womb, I'm gonna laugh straight away. Then I'm gonna be like, hey, wait a minute, why am I laughing? Just because I can't remember that, because I can't remember anything before I was 6 years old. But yet I'm thinking you said something before where you can remember much earlier than that.
Yeah.
Am I supposed to now say that he's chatting rubbish because he's able to access those memories and I'm not?
No, it's, again, like...
All right, so
I'm definitely a believer in anything's possible.
So let's get back on track. So when it is you heard this, you're like, oh crap, everything else needs to be taken with the pinch of salt.
No, not at all.
All right, but this is when it is you're like, oh, this is probably Terrence the actor.
No, I was just listening to him. I was thinking,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't disregard people like that, you know what I'm saying? But I do require empirical evidence for certain things.
One thing we have to think about is, all this stuff that he's doing, all this intelligence, and obviously you don't want to take him seriously because he's an actor, but anybody can have intelligence and stuff like that, yeah. And I'm trying to say that, do you not think they stopped making smart people in the 1800s? Like,
Not cool.
do you get what I'm trying to say? Yeah. When these people are innovating and going through science and discovering things and whatnot, and then people are discovering things, putting papers out, and people are learning on it, working on it, changing it. Like all the people that like Einstein, all these man, they learned from somebody from before. These are all people. These papers and stuff that you talk about got written in 1920 and all these things. You know what I'm trying to say? That 'cause that was ages ago.
Yeah.
So what? You don't think there's nobody of that level of intelligence in 2024?
No, they're here, but they're building upon that. You know what I'm saying?
This is what I'm trying to say. So, and that's it is building upon it because there's certain things that he was saying was right, but they've missed certain things. And you look at it as different ways and whatnot. It's easier to understand. So to just look at it and say, oh, it's not possible, someone can't have that. It's like, how do you think we got here in the first place? When people was telling them that the world was round, they was being looked at in the same way. You know what I'm trying to say? When people are bringing these theories of whatever type of science it is, whatnot, when until they're being questioned and stress tested, right? The people that's always coming first are being looked at the same way. So. I think when everything that he's saying, you have to look at it with open eyes and not just dismiss. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Because
100%.
how do you think we got here in the first place?
I agree with you, but we can't accept. You see what I'm saying?
But we have just accepted though. So and we have just accepted. There's a lot.
Like what?
Stop.
Yeah,
This is great. This is great. Have you ever taken any hallucinogenics?
No.
Have you?
You give me them chocolates.
Did you eat it?
Yeah.
Did it work?
I didn't go to like that one at Everland. I was just
Just at home. Just chilling.
Yeah. How about you, Mr. Semo?
On accident one time.
Okay. And how your brain processed things, was it different than when it is that you weren't on those particular hallucinogens?
Yeah, I generally like my imagination and my sensitivity to things goes up when I'm in that space.
All right, now I heard testimonies from people who've done ayahuasca and all those that kind of stuff, right? And how they try to describe what they see and how they feel and what happens to them at a spiritual level. I can't relate to it, and it's always kind of difficult for them to even use the words in our plane to even try to convey it to the person who's asking them, Emmanuel. So I do believe that Terrence Howard has taken a lot of that stuff.
Okay.
Do you understand? So how my brain is limited because I haven't been able to access the full spectrum, the full gamut of what we are or what our brain can access. I believe we are talking from a place of complete darkness until it is that, like, you know, certain things happen and we consume certain things or we are given certain visitations. And he has been flipping visited. Because as he went on, he said he dreamed and then some entity took him to this palace, right? So if I'm hearing him say this stuff, the whole womb stuff is not wild for me.
That's light.
It's light.
But a lot of these things could be visions.
This is what I'm saying. Where do you?
100% it could be.
Yeah, where do you draw the line between reality and imagination?
So in my mind, I don't think we can draw any line in this conversation. We can't.
Because they ain't straight.
If not, we created straight lines.
I'm not even gonna lie. That part, I agree with so much stuff that he says, and without ever having to be a genius or being sensible. And I think there's just logical things that just make sense when you look at them, when you break down and logical. You see what it is, with everything, with nature, with the human body, with science, they're so aligned. You get what I'm trying to say? They're so aligned and they're so intricate. That's why I don't believe in no Big Bang nonsense to me. You get what I'm trying to say? That I think there's stupidness as well. So I'm already there with him again already. That you think one day we just clicked and we're just here like this for some reason. All this stuff. If you look at plants, if you look at
Darwin theory,
just everything. Yeah, there's just too much going on for it to be a thing. And then the fact that we imitate nature and we copy these things, and that's where it all comes from. All the stuff that we learned are all natural things anyway. Yeah, the fact that you can't find no examples of straight lines in nature is a real life thing. They don't exist. They're all man-made. You know what I'm trying to say? So then when you're putting all your things and you're putting your man-made things on them, it's not. I understand what he's saying. It's not right. This is what you are doing. This is what you're taking. It's not right. You can shake your head, but you can't show any, like, God. If you believe in God, whatever, then whether it be science, just say God did not make any. There's no examples of no straight lines nowhere.
Yeah, but didn't he say God himself can't do a straight line?
I'm saying not that he can't, but he didn't.
But
mountains,
do you know the thing is,
trees, waters, anything that was created naturally that man didn't touch. There is no examples of straight lines. They're not there. They don't exist.
But when I heard it, I just thought to myself, who said straight lines exist?
We can see them.
They will say
but the thing is,
good morning. Hold up.
Morning.
Yo, good morning, guys.
He's like Rob.
No, say your name, please.
Okay, it's David.
Morning, David. How are you?
Yeah, I'm well, thank you. I guess it's day one of being a science correspondent.
Love that. What's up? What's
So
in
it's
your
cool.
mind?
I've been. Let's see. I met Brent in October, and then we had some conversations at different points. Living as a scientist is a bit weird when, let's see, as you start choosing your A-level subjects, and then kids at school are like, oh, either that's hard, or everything is hard. For me, finance is hard. So shout out for the fundraising that you're doing with CDA, the crowdsourcing.
Thank you very much.
That's important. But yeah, just dropping into this conversation here about like straight lines, or who said that there are straight lines in nature. I need to slow down because I can see that I'm moving fast. It's this weird thing that like they'll point out that, let's see, like a certain crack or a ravine or some sort of stick has a level of straightness to it, or that if you look at a microscope, you'll see straightness in. I'm looking at like a branch on a nettle, and it looks reasonably straight, but then what's the ruler, I guess. But
David, remember I told you when it is you're speaking, it's not me you're speaking to, right? You have to be able to talk in a manner that everybody can understand it.
Yeah, because David, I'm lost. David, I'm lost.
Cool. So I guess I started off there with like the let's see, the nature inspiration of looking at the world around, and then I guess seeing God in that, and then that being described as science, and then that going into like knowledge generation, and then pulling it away from the people to then say, all right, cool, this is what we are saying everything is. But what do we feel about Terrence's thing? Because he did his Oxford talk a few years ago. And that was hilarious to listen to, I found, because it was, wow, this guy is really off on something that none of us know what he's talking about. Like, truly, none of us know what he's talking about like the square root of 2 being another number that opens up everything else. But I haven't used the calculator I haven't owned a calculator for a long time. So then just to type in the numbers and then play with it doesn't happen. But he's been doing that for like years. So then you end up in like a whole other exploration. But the fun part of what I'm trying to offer today is, out of you guys, Esther, Marks, Brent, did you see the solar flares? Who else is in the studio today, man?
E-Man and our lovely guest, Semo.
No, I didn't see the solar flares, no.
Cool. So,
I saw videos.
Some videos of it.
Yeah, we've seen videos, we've seen photos. We might have friends that have been to like Finland or Norway or those areas to try and see these things, the Northern Lights. Cool. So I guess it's one of these things that like that shouldn't ordinarily be visible from like our area of the earth, like the globe of it. And what I've seen recently, so like you know how we look at the weather on Earth, like the different areas for their temperatures.
Yeah.
Like the equator's hotter, the Sahara is burning hot. The Sahara used to be a desert a few thousand years ago. It used to be a forest. The sun is also tracked, or I guess like humans are tracking the sun and the temperature of the sun, or like the different activities happening on the sun. So every so often, because it's like a giant ball of like burning gas and nuclear reactions, so like the nuclear bomb is like trying to release the energy of the sun.
You haven't landed once.
David.
No, but
David,
we're not landing yet. We're not landing yet.
I want you
We're
to
not
mute
landing yet.
this, mute it, and then when we continue talking, there may be a specific question that I ask of you, yeah? But
Thank you.
We're gonna get back into the Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Even the 1x1 stuff, yeah.
Oh man.
There's no, oh man, I don't understand why you just.
No,
I don't
man.
understand why in every other equation you account for the one, apart from when there's just one of them together. And I understand whatever rules you said, but logically, yeah, it don't make sense. If you're starting the 1 times table and it's just one of them, you get what I'm trying to say? It's literally like what you said. If you're saying one time is once. You know what I'm trying to say? That's so. If you're saying it's just one of them, then that's fine. When you plural it and you're saying times the additions, you got to account for the 2 units that is there. And 1 and times 1 is multiple. It's multiplication is adding. It's like I said to you, if you can
that's
divide
addition,
it,
though.
That made no sense at all.
That's addition, not multiplication.
no, but
It
you're
is
adding,
saying that
you're
there is
adding, you're adding
one
to something,
version
though.
of one.
Multiplication.
That's it.
Multiplication is a form of adding.
No, it's not.
No,
It
to be
is.
fair, multiplication is just adding the same thing multiple times.
Yeah, it's a form of
But-
addition.
but-
It
but
is.
That
But
makes
you've
no
got to
sense.
the- you've got to the
So
wrong-
there's one E-man, yeah? There's one E-man. And then by description, I'm saying a multiplication of you once
It's
and
gonna
once
produce-
alone is
yeah.
going to produce how many E-mans?
No, but this is what I'm saying to you. Like, I think basically the fundamental thing is, at a certain level, when anything's multiplied by 1, yeah, you have to just leave it as it equals whatever the thing is, because it's just a multiplying identifier. That's it.
Even when
But-
you've got visual indicators, when you're talking about, because you're still saying one E-man, you're not thinking, if there's one number, if the number's 1, there should be 1. It should be 1. Then under it should be 1 times 2, then 1 times 3. The top one should be 1. If you're saying 1 times 1, initially, there's not one E-man there, there's 2 of them there already. There's 1 in this column and there's 1 in this column.
The way that I've always seen multiplication is that whatever you are times in the original thing by is almost like a description of it.
That's exactly it. It's an
That's
identifier.
what
it is.
it's an identifier.
And you got learnt that and you got taught that.
Because it's fact.
Okay, so in
Mark,
reciprocal,
watch this.
There's things
Watch
in
this.
IDs, me I'll put feces and theorems and stuff like that. They can do these stuff, yeah, off ideas, you know. And then there's
Yes.
whole industries that they think that of ideas, you know. That's not proven, you know. It's just theories. That
That's not true.
if you do this and this and this and this, then it's that. How can you say it's not true?
That doesn't happen with maths. Maths has
Maths
to
is
be
maths. Maths and physics
It's a
is
universal
maths,
language. Like the other day, right? Even just now, right? You ordered something from Greg's, right? Cool. If you said like you normally do, oh, you want something from Greg's? Cool. Everyone said, yeah, I want something. You're gonna be like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I remember there's 5 of us here. Yeah, cool. I'm gonna get 5 sausage rolls. 1 times 5 sausage rolls. You're not gonna buy 6 of them. You know why? Because 6 are gonna come and 1's gonna be on the table. You know what I'm saying? You recognize simply 5 times the 1 for each person, it's going to be 5. But when we start thinking about the other stuff, we get lost in something that's simple.
But you're just not accounting for the unit. If you ask me if I've got 1 sausage roll here and times it by another sausage roll, why are you not still calling it 1 sausage roll? There's 2.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
No,
not what
you're
it,
getting
that's
caught up in
not
the
how it
language
works.
of it then.
Yeah.
That's
But
not
this
how
is
it
my
works.
point.
No, but
Logically, you're doing it wrong.
Let me
No.
play devil's advocate. Yeah?
So
So
go
in
on.
the same logic, yeah, you take that same 1 sausage roll and you divide it by 1. What are you left with?
Half a sausage roll is
That makes no sense because you literally have the 1 sausage roll and
no, you
you
can't
are
divide it.
splitting it with 1 person. There's only going to be 1 roll for the 1 person.
It's perfect.
Do you get it?
No, but you wouldn't divide it by 1. You could divide it by what goes into it.
No, but it's the same. If you divide it by 1, it's the same as
That's not dividing it. If you've got one thing and you divide it, you can't divide it. You don't need to divide it. If I've got one bottle of water, how can I divide it by 1? If there's one, but you just give it to them whole.
But that's the same thing. If you
That's what
if
I'm
you
saying.
have one bottle of
That's what I'm
water and
saying.
you multiply it by
Yeah.
1, you're literally multiplying
But
it
if
by
it's-
itself.
Yeah, which
So
is
you can
actually-
add one to it, but you can't multiply one to it.
No, but adding and multiplying is different.
And multiplication is a form of addition.
No, it's not.
How? If you're, it's adding bare times, bro.
No, multiplying is the. How do you explain multiplication? Like, what's the best way to explain it? It's like creating a copy of something, right? So if you are creating it, you're 1 of 1, right? There's only 1 marks. If I create a 1 of 1 copy of you, I'm timesing you by 2 because there's now 2 of you. That means you have been multiplied by 2. If there's only 1 of you, that's the same as multiplying you by 1. There's no difference. It's exactly the same thing.
All right. So basically, this 1 times 1 conundrum, he dropped that early doors. This is before he came into his final form. So we shouldn't be
start talking about periodic tables.
Yeah. This was
crazy.
no. I hear you saying that this is, but you didn't know about this time ago.
About what time ago?
Terrence Howard dropping this on Twitter time ago.
Oh no, I thought you meant early on.
I'm not talking about in the video. No.
Okay.
This one, the square root is what he dropped on this video. Square root of 2,
But
right?
he mentioned it in the video as well.
What did he mention?
The 1 times 1.
Yeah, but that was not. He didn't go into it.
I know, but he still kind of mentioned it.
Let me give you the timeline.
Okay,
The
go
1
on.
times 1 was not explored in this video.
Okay.
We should not be talking about it. But we can if you were to basically say this is why I can't listen to him going forward.
Yeah, and because that's what he
hear that.
believes now. He still believes 1 times 1 is 2.
Did he mention it
I'm asking.
in the video?
I
We
think he did. I think
are
he did.
discussing. Don't what?
What, in the Joe Rogan video?
He didn't explore this. No.
He didn't
No, he didn't
explore
say
it, but he
it was a
mentioned
passing
it.
comment.
The one
You
I
mentioned
watched,
it.
he was talking
Yeah.
about the periodic table and everything.
Yeah, please.
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
want to. I
Alright,
want to
cool,
have a
okay,
little bit of
cool.
time
Okay,
with
cool.
him.
Cool,
Yeah, get
cool,
me.
cool.
All right, cool. So in your mind, because he said that, I have to basically be really, really careful as to what he's feeding me because he started off rocky, right, Manuel?
Started off wrong.
Cool.
Started off
And
wrong. The
Marx
foundations
thinks,
of
Marx
everything.
thinks, hey, nah, I can hear him. Now, bear in mind, Marx isn't the only person that says the same thing, right? There are other people in this world who believe that particular thing, yes? Cool. Let's move on from there. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
So the other thing that you said, when you heard it, you're like, nah, that's wrong. What is it?
Straight lines.
Talk to me.
So like it's like he's brought to the table something that he thinks people believe. I don't think anyone who thinks about it thinks anything straight. Everyone knows that when you look at a molecular level, it's not. Like no one's ever said this. So like you're saying it as if, oh, they created, they did this, and who's the they? Like, what are we talking about here? It's just stuff people say when they don't know what they're talking about.
All right.
I don't understand. What do you mean?
No one said anything is straight. No one said, oh, this is a perfect straight line. No one ever believes that.
When they show you
when they
that,
were-
Could I offer something? Could I offer something quick?
Yes, please.
So I think the helpful thing is like, have you heard of string theory?
Yes.
Yeah, so like you might be looking at a straight piece or something, but then as soon as you zoom into it further, or look at it on a smaller scale, it's always got different like twists and turns and undulations. And I think that's what Terrence is trying to get to. That okay, cool. So we're recording audio for this podcast, right? And you know how the waveform comes out on the screen?
Yeah.
Like that signal is like the volume and then but yeah, that can be modeled as like either sine or cos, like 2 different curves repeating functions. And then I guess that changes what it is you're looking at, because you're looking at it as like representation of another. And I think that's what Terrence is trying to nail down, to then say that we've decided that we're looking at things according to X, Y, Z. But then if you flip those to be, not straight, things like straight axes that we drew out to make coordinates, then you end up with different maths, which is fair. It's like adding a whole like multiplier description. And I guess that thing of like, what is multiplication if it's not if it's not addition? Then it's like describing any of the sets of numbers that you are using with something else to add it a relation to. So it's like one set of one, but it could be like a third of one.
All right.
And then
I'm
you just
going
add
to
that
tag
third
back
to
in.
every number.
I'm going to tag back in. Thank you very much so far, David. Like, mute it again for a little while. Emmanuel, you just responded to Demi's comment. you think that Terrence Howard said he discovered string theory?
No, I don't think he
All right,
said.
get out of
he
that
said
particular back and forth. That's not what's happening. That's not
but
what
forget
happened.
that. We're here, innit, bro?
No, but you've said something in the chat that lets me know where your mind is at.
No, it's not that.
Don't
it's
engage
more...
in the chat.
Okay, cool.
Don't.
All right, let's focus here.
Please.
Okay, come on.
So he's saying off the back of these particular quote unquote straight lines, because he showed the flow of life. You saw that part, right?
Yes.
And you saw how it is that he's now said, oh, they've taken this instead of looking at this in the manner in which it is quote unquote the universe or God intended, right?
Okay.
So off the back of using these particular methods to now apply to life, you're only going to think in that particular 2D format. Did you understand that part?
Yeah.
Max, did you understand that part?
Yeah.
I understood that.
Okay.
Do you understand? And he's saying you have to look at it like it was intended. And then he showed us it's curvy. And if it is you applied that understanding, you're going to be able to do more than human beings can do currently.
Okay.
And that's what I took from it.
But that's been known for years.
Because he
Fibonacci
also showed
sequence, the divine ratio.
he also showed that
that's not new.
He didn't discover any of this. He's not saying he discovered any of this. And he showed us the previous scientists
who did. Yeah, he cited their names, where the studies come from. The thing I said, he's not moving like he reinvented the wheel. Like,
yes.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like,
he might have just been staging his conversation about the periodic table and wavelengths and how things correlate. That's probably what he was doing. But I don't think any of that is like some massive discovery.
No, and even in the new quote unquote new periodic table that he showed or he talked about, he showed references that other people have basically done it.
And he's even saying that more people are trying to use it now.
I just don't. When I was listening and watching the periodic table thing, I just thought this is just another way of doing the old thing.
No,
not really. No,
it's not.
What he's basically trying to say is that every light, sound, everything has a different frequency, and those frequencies are based on wavelengths, you know, hertz, whatever. And there is resonance between certain stages across the periodic table, and it's not represented in the classic periodic table.
But
and how those things react to each other.
Yeah. I understood that difference there, but at the same time, when he was grouping a lot of the elements, right, they seemed to be, and he was talking about, if you look at the properties of this one and this one, that's all kind of showed in the columns of Mendeleev's periodic table. You know what I'm saying? Like you're telling me that this is similar to this and this is similar to this. Yeah, I know, because it's in that periodic table.
All right, so
You know
I've just read another comment in the chat saying that he discovered this particular thing in the womb. No, he said that he was taken to a palace, and in this palace there was a flower of life. Is it flower of life?
Yeah.
And he was taught how to read that particular flower of life. Do you understand? So this person's saying that in the womb. This is what's crazy to me, right? Because I watched it.
This guy was smoking something mad. He was smoking something brazy. Because what? He met a flower in the womb.
No,
but he's saying the proof of it is the patterns and the shapes that he's got, because he hasn't. Just like what he said, he hasn't manipulated or changed it. All his version of things work and fit into it exactly. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Right.
And he's saying the proof that it happened to him is the fact that he's done it, because. Where did he didn't discover this, like he didn't make it up, someone's told him this. You get me? He's come, that's why he's got the shapes, what they look like, whatever, and he's come and he's done them, and the fact that they work and now he's patterned them is the proof that it happened, because where did he get it from?
The thing is, he's used these principles to start doing stuff, and it's not working.
And it's working. Yeah.
It's working.
I didn't make, man told
What's
me
he
to
done? What's he done? What's he used it for?
Well, the thing that I saw that I was kind of excited about was these little... they look like drones, but like propeller things that they come together and then they can do things and move in ways in which it is like I'm not sure if you've heard about the Tic Tac in the UFO phenomena thing, right. Where it can be in the air, in the gaseous state, and then could go into the water and it not change any sort of propulsion or like how if I'm here, I could do this. If I go in the water, I can't move as fast as possible.
Right.
But this Tic Tac could go and same speed.
I've seen it. Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like no state. No state could basically change the way it wants to basically move.
Yeah.
So he's saying, I beg you, introduce me to Elon. That thing that he has a problem with the belts. I got the solution for that. And he's asking Joe Rogan, let me sit down with him and we can fix that up.
You better sign the wickedest NDA, boy.
And the thing is, this guy he said he had 97 patents. Now, I've been on Reddit since then because people like Emmanuel exist everywhere, right?
Scientists, yeah.
Scientists. Is that what you call yourself? A scientist, right?
I mean, I have a degree to shirt, but it's all right.
And on Reddit, obviously, once you hear something on Joe Rogan, especially when you're claiming that the entirety of how it is that we look at science or math might be jaded, might be wrong,
right.
You're going to have a lot of people smarter than me looking to basically debunk it. And that's what they've been trying to do on Reddit. That's what they've been trying to do. First of all, they said, nah, he doesn't have enough, he doesn't have any patents whatsoever. There's a joint one that he has. That was debunked. Then they said he had 11. That was debunked. And this person is going, edit. And at the end, he became a believer. He became a believer at the end.
Wow.
So I don't care about any of that, to be honest, because I'm sure that some of those people in that particular Reddit room don't even believe in spiritual stuff anyway. But I do. Do you understand? I actually believe that there are entities that are currently in our universe, could it be in a different dimension right now, and they can affect this particular reality. I believe that. Do you understand? And they might not believe that. So again, I'm already compromised. So what I'm hearing, he's been taken into a palace. He's been shown a particular diagram. This diagram was the flower of life. Now basically, this same diagram was found by man on some wall in Egypt some way back when, and then they started reading it in the manner in which it is that now formed or formulated this particular method of looking at this, right? And this particular entity is there teaching him something else. Cool. I'm straight away thinking, all right, this sounds eerily familiar to entities that talk to human beings when it is that they're on hallucinogenics, ayahuasca. That it speaks to that spiritual communication, right?
Yeah.
And I believe those particular entities are they used to be from heaven. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. And they were kicked out of heaven. They came and they taught man how to read the stars. They taught man alchemy. They taught man all of that kind of stuff, right? Knowledge that we didn't have. We were never supposed to have until it is God wanted us to have it, right? So why have they stopped doing it? They haven't. They've been doing it across time to different people.
Are they doing it for our benefit or?
I don't think so. I think it's all connected to the end times, man. This whole idea that once it is, and let me be very clear, the technology in which it is that he is talking about on that particular video, I believe we've been having that technology from way back when. Do you understand? All those particular contractors, those black ops, all of them, they have all of this technology because it's been shared to them by these mother effing same people I'm talking about.
So is this the reason why they're not taking them serious? Because we know already?
Yes, this is what I'm saying. Right now, we're in this age of this, what's it called? Disclosure. Okay. Is it disclosure? I don't know if it's disclosure. It's not disclosure. It's something else. But everything is going to be coming out bit by bit by bit by bit. It's not a coincidence that right now, this whole exposure of Hollywood, it's happening. It's distracting us from something, right? I fully believe that. COVID was it distracting from something. I fully believe that. In my mind, there is going to be like a new world order, one type of world thinking very soon. It's all leaning that way in my head. So him talking about this at this time, shaking the table. This is all to.
He created virtual reality.
I know that's what he told us. You know what I'm saying? But.
You keep looking at him like Terrence Howard, isn't it? The problem is that you keep looking at him like an actor.
It's not even that, you know.
What do you mean? They went on Google, they showed you could check it.
No, but he said, I don't know.
He had the patent to the technology. Yeah, he's proved that he's had the patent. And then when he goes and check inside it and see who's used the technology, he's also proved it. I've got one of them Oculus in my yard. All these companies have used his patent to make out this industry. What do you mean that's what he said? If you Google it, his name's still there.
So if you like fact, that's what it's fact.
What do you want? So giving you receipts. If people give you receipts and you're still questioning it, that kind of logic and that kind of
That's dangerous.
You know what I'm trying to say? Then we can't have a conversation. We can't have a proper conversation because you already put the barrier up. You're looking at things that he's showing you, and you're still saying you don't believe it. Where do we go from here?
Okay, watch this. Yeah, maybe this is my misunderstanding. In the new stuff that they're doing, right? These people that stole it from him, are they citing his particular pattern?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, cool.
And that's like I said, the Reddit people, they've been going crazy. All the more intelligent folk, they've been going crazy. But yes, 100% yes.
All right.
But that doesn't mean that everything that he said was legit.
No,
like I said,
it's not legit.
He could, cool.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that everything he said was legit.
I know, 100%.
Cool. But the fact that one thing that he doesn't say is legit doesn't mean you could discount everything else that he said.
This is what I'm saying to you. And this is not what I'm doing, you know what I'm saying? But it will definitely make me think, okay, cool, I need to listen more to what you're saying and really interrogate this idea if you're telling me 1 times 1 is 2. Because that is something that we know from early, you know what I'm saying? And then you want to build on complex things. And
but you're not looking into why you know it.
It's nothing to do with that.
Mags, you always tell us that with Candice Owens, why it is that you can listen to her is because you would just sift the crap from the stuff that makes sense.
Yeah.
Please apply the same.
But I'm doing the same thing here.
But I haven't heard you say anything that you agree with. I haven't heard you say anything that you agree with.
No, but you said something. I'm pretty sure I was like, okay, cool, yeah, something.
I just have to force this fact into your head.
But why do I have to agree with him though?
So out of everything he said, there's not a single thing where you can see where he's coming from, or you can. If you apply that logic, it would make perfect sense.
Okay, do you know what it is? It's kind of like. It's kind of like you being exceptional at one particular thing, right? But there's like 9 other things that you're very bad at, right? To me, it's like I want to focus on the exceptional thing, but the other things is something that most people just get right. And so it's hard for me to just look past that. So when he's saying certain things, and he's like, I'm just hearing certain things that just pick out to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, again, the number thing. When he mentioned something like about light, the speed of light, it's constant. And it's not constant though, because it changes speed in different mediums. And like, we knew all of these things. So why are you saying as if scientists are saying that's not true?
And they've been scientifically proven.
That's what I'm saying to you.
So your foundation's already rocked.
Exactly.
That's why it's hard to believe him. Do you get it? It's not that man's a skeptic or doesn't believe in these things or spirituality or, like things that get proven eventually.
Was he using that to refer to somebody else? He wasn't talking about the speed of light or questioning what the speed of light was. Obviously, he's talking about people saying that it's a constant and it moves and the rest is there. That was the whole point of them measuring it and doing it in straight lines, doing everything in straight lines. That's the point that he was talking to, and not compensating for the curves. No,
but we've always said that light operates in either in 2 models. There's been 2 models, as waves and photons. So that's been there for the longest while.
Whether you believe, it all boils down to whether you're prepared to look at things from a different point of view or not and believe and understand it. Because what the whole point that he's trying to say is, a lot of these things that was teaching things and he putting these places down and telling you what the basis of these sciences and these equations and all these things are, he's saying they are wrong. They got it wrong. They missed this and they missed that and they missed that. So you talking about telling me what you know as fact, it doesn't matter because what he's saying is the fact that you know as fact is wrong and you've been taught it wrong. So you using that we know it as a fact as an argument is not really an argument. What you need to do is break down and decipher the things that he's saying and the things that you've been taught and then work out which one you think makes more sense. You can't just say we know it's wrong because everybody knows it's wrong, because that's the same stuff that you got taught. Everybody got taught that, and that's the point that he's making. Everything that you've been taught is wrong.
No, but this again, this is what I was saying. Like maths.
Do you understand what he's saying?
I understand.
Maths
Yeah.
isn't wrong, though.
But the entire foundation of science is you come with a theory.
You can't say everybody knows maths and science. Everybody knows. He's saying what everybody knows to be is wrong.
Yeah, but
you can't do that
the
with
entire
maths.
foundation of maths and science is that if you come with a theory, you then have a hypothesis behind the theory, and then you prove the theory by testing it.
Precisely.
So
there's bare things they can't test.
The weirdest thing that's happening.
They've been able to recreate gravity. They ain't been able to recreate gravity in a lab and test that. So you haven't proven that, but we live by it.
They've clocked gravity.
So you're lying.
They have already clocked gravity.
Isaac Newton clocked gravity. Then they
Clocked
put,
it.
they put the maths behind it.
No, that's the fractions of what they're going by. It hasn't been recreated. You're saying like you get a bigger object and a smaller object and the thing gravity. They haven't recreated that process in anything in a lab somewhere to prove that a bigger object things with a smaller object.
When I say they've clocked gravity, they've clocked gravity. There are scientists. They are scientists, not in the normal consumer reality. I'm telling you, behind the bloody veil.
Yeah.
They've already clocked it. That's why they're
Clocked
making
what, Brett?
vehicles.
Tell us what you're talking about. Clocked what, though?
Reverse engineered gravity. So they have anti-gravity technology.
Okay.
Anti-gravity technology. And the only way
That's
they're
not
able
hard to believe, though. That's like
this is
gravity
what
is
I'm-
maths. Like
Wait,
it's literally a gravitational
what do you-
pull. It's a
what
magnet.
What do you think I've just said?
You said anti-gravity?
Yeah, but
Someone does
anti-gravity can easily be debunked by maths. Like
No.
you just literally apply the reverse maths to it.
Tell me something. Can you decide to levitate right now?
They have in NASA, they have these anti-gravity containment units where they train, like astronauts how to live in space.
Yes.
It's been done.
Can you do it now?
I don't know how to do it.
Not in that particular.
No, I
not in
don't
that
know how
unit.
to do it. But if I,
Not
if
in
I
the
had-
unit.
Yeah, but I'm saying if
And
I
have you seen
understood,
any scientists
right?
in consumer reality that whilst they're here, they can come in and say, all right, cool, I'm going to make this particular thing just levitate.
Of course not.
That I'm telling you, they have done that.
So you're telling me there's a
I am
person
telling
there's
you.
a person sitting in the room right now with Terrence Howard and they're making objects levitate
Right now?
right now.
How do you mean?
That's what you're saying. You're saying like you're telling
One thing
me
I
that
will
there's
say,
people.
yeah.
No.
Sorry
you
to just cut you
misunderstood me.
because listen, yeah. If just go off the basis that we still thought the world was flat, yeah, and we made it all the way through history, 2024, and we thought the world was flat, yeah, and with all the technology that we've done, we've still got the internet, yeah, and then Terrence Howard went on Joe Rogan's show and told everybody that the world is round. He'll be met with the same way that E-Man's talking about him, like, so. We're living through discoveries like that. We don't, especially science breakthroughs and stuff like that. Like they already done that. It happened in 1900 and they're going through things like that. And people was met with a lot of disdain and a lot of things. But you gotta look at things. You gotta be open minded and go through the process and try and work it out. You can't just be dismissive because you don't know and you don't understand
agree.
something. You know what I'm trying to say?
No,
we
I
could be
agree.
potentially living through history. There could be a different and better way of doing things. There should be a better way of doing things. And even the advancements in certain things, especially in space and stuff like that. I say stuff all the time. It should be way further along. There's too many things that they can't do.
Listen, you're
and
right.
it could be because they're doing it wrong.
No,
Like,
you're
it
so,
really
you're
could
so
be.
right, but you have to understand all these things were theories until they were proven.
That's it.
You feel me?
Exactly.
If I told you,
There's
if
things
I
that
told you in the
there's things that they
1800s,
go by
yeah,
that they haven't
that you could
proven. The
stand in
theories
Australia,
they stand by, they haven't
If
proven.
I
I
told
told
you in
backwards, it's already been proven. I'm telling you right now, it's been proven. It just hasn't
I'm
been
not
bled
denying
into
it.
the
Okay.
wider public. I'm telling you.
I'm not denying it. I don't know.
Precisely,
I'm one of them guys that will tell you when I don't know. I don't know.
No,
Like,
Brett,
honestly,
there's a bunch of different things like that has been proven as well. Like I remember there's some documentation with the FBI trying to
let
prove,
me
telekinesis and stuff.
clarify to what's your name?
Semo.
Is it really Semo?
That's
It's
what
not, is it?
my
Alright,
mum
cool.
calls me
Let me call you
Semo.
Semo.
My mum
Cool,
calls me
cool.
Semo.
All right.
It's my Sudanese nickname.
When I say that thing about gravity, I'm talking about having an object not have gravity have any impact on it. Like that. That's what I'm talking about.
So no-
I'm not talking about, well, the fact that it is that we can fly, it means that there's anti-gravity going on. No, there's not. Not with that flipping plane.
Right.
That's propulsion and whatnot, right?
Right.
I'm talking about a solid object. Making you levitate so that gravity has no impact on you whatsoever. Or you can control how much gravity has an impact on you with doing something.
So you're talking about an object that literally just defies any physical law.
I am telling you, they literally have this science. Hence me saying the Tic Tacs that they have going, having no state affected because they're like, all right, there's some sort of field around it where within that particular bubble, forget about time. Forget about time because
So can I ask you a question real quick? Just a quick, sorry to like derail you, but you're telling me that technology or whatever you want to call
Yes.
it is scienceless. Is that what you're basically saying?
I'm not saying.
I'm asking it as it's almost like a rhetorical question.
Science is just I guess, a practice used to try to explain things that you don't understand, right?
No, I think
What is science?
science, in my, I guess, objective opinion, is the actual like physical things that happen behind everything.
You mean working out what happens? It's a discipline where you apply to try to find things out that
It
you don't
depends how
understand.
it depends how you look at
Knowledge of
logic. Like for me, it's like for me, science is very much the chicken and the egg. Which one came first, right?
I don't know what you mean.
Because without the science, bro, I have no idea. You know, you told me that, I'll say the chicken. Because how are you gonna get an egg without a chicken?
Yeah, he said the same thing. You're
Right.
converted now.
Am I converted?
That's what he said.
I still don't know what all of this means.
All right, there was one example. You haven't watched the video, have you?
I've watched parts of it, just the snippets online.
Fair,
I haven't
fair.
watched the full video.
Did you watch the part where he talked about Saturn, Emmanuel?
Yes, I did.
Did you find that fascinating?
Yeah, I found it fascinating.
What did you find fascinating about that particular?
I found it cool that obviously he was able to simulate certain things, innit? But at the same time,
No, don't gloss over it. Wasn't there was it a hexagon?
A hexagon, yeah, at the top.
Do you realize that there is a hexagon on the top of Saturn right now?
I don't doubt any of that.
No, did you Google it? I had to Google this stuff because whilst he was doing what he was
that.
doing, I see what he was saying. I'm like, wait, this can't be. So I went to check. Like, it is.
No, but
It is.
I think we've all known that these shapes exist in nature. You know what I'm saying?
Did you know that
No, what?
the Saturn stuff?
What about it?
Saturn and the hexagon and to put Saturn.
No.
Did you watch it?
Yeah.
And he said we all know that. I didn't know that.
No, we didn't know that.
I didn't.
All know what, though? What would I say that we all know? That there's a
That
hexagon on
shapes
Saturn.
exist in nature.
Yeah, of course they
Yeah,
do.
but this is specific. Why?
This is a hating. I've got to go, but I don't even know that Terrence Howard is a genius.
He's on to something.
He's a modern day Albert Einstein, and
No,
history
that's too far.
history will tell. What?
We need the maths first.
Yeah.
Albert, he's plagiarized a lot of people's work, you know.
He built on it.
He plagiarized a lot of people's work and he missed stuff.
Right.
Even you talk about these laws of physics stuff, these things were made by a man and put in place by a man. I'm just saying tested and whatnot. If they use the wrong parameters, you can get the wrong results in any test. If you use the wrong parameters, you know what I'm trying to say? And I'm not saying that he's 100% right, because how do you know? But if you need a different way of looking at things, trying things and doing things, and then it will get you different results. If the different results that it gets you are better, yeah, and make more sense, then I don't understand the big fight and the pushback. You just got to be prepared to look at things and try them from a different way, because at one point in time, everybody who came with these innovative ideas would have been looked at how you're looking at my man now. Do you know what I'm trying to say? To just dismiss it and say it's crazy and it's this and it's that.
I don't think it should be dismissed, but I think everything requires solid evidence. Otherwise,
exactly
anyone can come out. I come out tomorrow and be like, yo, like
And what
I've
he's
got a
saying
shoe
is, and
that
that's why
ties its own laces.
And that's why he's patterned his things,
And
because
he
he's
showed you the
saying if you
evidence.
sit down and try things, this is the way you lot think things should be done. But if you do them my way, you're going to see different results, better results. And that's why he patterned all these things, because the proof is in the pudding. And that's what he's saying. He's not just sitting down and saying this. If he's saying like, I want to be stress tested by the greatest minds in the world, come and sit down with me and prove to me what I'm saying is wrong, because I'm going to prove to you
He
what
better be
I'm
right,
saying is
boy.
right.
He better be right, 'cause, boy,
if
if
he's
he's
wrong,
not-
fair play to him. But if you're not going to give him the chance or give him the shot, then what you're doing don't make no sense.
And that's fine. Like we should definitely give him a chance and this and the third, right? But you have to understand that in the same thing you just said about fiddling with the numbers. That's what you can do in simulations. You know what I'm saying? And this is why those things could operate in the way he's saying. So you have to actually put it out in real life so you can actually see it. And with regards to the stuff about Einstein and this, that, and the third, people are not tweaking numbers. Like, you have to put in certain things in this particular model, and then in real life you have to see it. Without the discovery of like special relativity and electromagnetism, all these type of things, you wouldn't have anything you see around you. That is proof. That's proof. Every single thing we have, us speaking through this mic, this is proof. So like, we can't just say, they, whoever they are, right, just came together and mixed stuff up. No, this is independent of that.
No.
Maths is
Understand, you mentioned in the example of the microphone.
Yeah.
I mean, we live in a world where inventions have been made that we can see math works the way we've been using it. Mm-hmm. And I'm telling you, there are people and there are institutions who are making other things that can do wilder things that we don't know about using the math that they...
And that's good.
And I'm telling you, he's saying, bear in mind, this flow of life can be read in a different way.
Yeah.
I am telling you that what he's saying, he's showing us behind the veil right now. He's not recreating anything.
Okay.
He's showing us what other institutions are actually doing right now with the information he's now sharing.
Okay.
Do you understand? And that's why I'm thinking something's going to happen to him soon, because he's literally telling everybody, he's telling the sheep, he's telling the sleeping what the awake are literally doing and using. Right? He's talking about space travel and the things that science has basically told us about certain things like the black hole and certain other things. I can't remember exactly everything that he said, right?
But the things where if this math that we are using can't explain it, we would just call it a particular thing, right? And invent something that way.
Yeah.
He said, hey, no, it's impossible. And if it is that you used this particular math, you'll be able to see that this is this.
Yeah.
Do you understand? I can
And
get
I'm
that.
fine with that.
I live in a world where we are lied to every single day.
But Brent, what you're saying, yeah, is a beautiful thing because I feel like that's what happens in science and normal discovery. But when you go back and you say that the fundamentals, like basic arithmetic, for example, and those things are wrong, I have a problem.
No. I don't think he said it's wrong. He's saying we like if there's 100% of a pie,
Yeah.
right, and eating that pie will fill us with happiness,
Yeah.
right, and allow us to feel a particular way, right.
Yeah.
He's saying we're just eating 1/5 of it.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
I hear you.
And I'm going to show you how to eat the entirety of
yeah.
it. Do you understand? So when you eat that pie, you might be filled. Math is saying, you're content a little bit, but he's saying, I'm going to give you all of this. Do you understand? And I don't think he's discovering any of this. I fully believe, this is my hot take. They've been knowing all of this stuff. They've been knowing all this stuff.
I wouldn't say, the only thing I would say is,
I'm not talking about the 1 × 1 equals, that for
no,
me
of
is
course not.
material.
Okay, but I'm more so saying, I guess the only thing I would disagree with is more so I don't think they know like everything. I still think there's loads of room for building upon that next thing. So, for example, if we're still here in 500 years, like all of this stuff that Terrence Howard is talking about, if it does prove to be correct, will be something that somebody else will be able to say, cool, let's build upon this this particular thing. Because I feel like knowledge is infinite, you know what I'm saying? But it doesn't go against maths.
I'm not.
I know
I'm not
you're not saying
disputing
that. I
math.
just have to put it in there because it doesn't matter. Go on.
I'm not disputing math. It's a language to communicate and to build and to make sense of the world, right?
Yeah.
He is saying we're using a percentage of that particular math, right? This third dimension, right?
Yeah.
If I asked you about the hallucinogenics,
Sorry, Ben, he said there's no 2D. You remember him saying that?
I don't know. I thought he's been saying that we are living in 2D. I thought that's what he was saying.
Is that what he said?
No, this is how I've been
How you
taking it.
interpret it.
We're
Okay.
living in 2D.
I thought he said there's no such thing as 2D. Yeah, something like that. And I like again when I hear that, and I want to really embrace his overall idea, that just pinches my ears.
I hear you,
know
but
what I
that
mean?
doesn't mess me up. So basically, I guess he showed an example of the square. He said, "Look at this. What does it look like? Square." Now, when you do that, what is that? Joe Rogan did that. That's how I'm gauging what you're saying. That we're seeing the world in 2D, but this is how it really is. That's
The only way I can understand what you're saying, Brent, is that there is a whole separate level of maths and logic that we do not have access to.
Commoners, yeah.
Okay, cool. So
Yeah.
so that makes sense to me. Do you feel me? There's a set of rules that we are not privy to. Fine. To say that the current set of rules is not like completely applicable to everything, I don't think is the right way to explain it. I can tell that Emmanuel's also a logical man. I'm very logical. Everything I do is very mathematical. So if you can't apply maths to it, it doesn't exist. That's how I see things. So if you're telling me that there's a whole other realm of maths, better teach me the maths now.
Lovely.
I'm trying to understand your maths.
Use math to explain God.
Yeah, but that is a whole different... You're diving down a very philosophical route there.
Bear in mind, for me, this is philosophical. For me, it is
then
all...
that's the question. You have to. Okay, so I'm a man of faith, right?
Yes.
I believe in God. So when it comes to believing in God and faith is like, I believe I will wake up tomorrow. The maths behind it, you could put an insurance policy on whether I might die today, and then that will give you. Do you understand? But my faith says I will wake up tomorrow. My faith says the world will still exist tomorrow. I will still stand on the floor because gravity will be here. That is faith. I can't prove it, but that is my belief and understanding.
Do you believe in jinn?
In jinn?
Jinn exists.
Yeah, of course.
Use math to explain that. Because
you can't. And I agree with you that there is a level of maths that we don't have access to.
Can't jinn have an effect on our reality that math basically controls?
Yeah, 100%. And I'm an open thinker.
That's what I'm saying.
Listen, I believe you and I understand how you think. And honestly, there was a time when I even thought to myself, you know what? There's probably a color that we can't fucking see. There's probably a sound that we can't hear. Do you feel me? Like, I don't think that we have stretched to the extent of discovery in our lifetimes, in our generation. There's so much more to come. But it all needs mathematical
100%.
proof. It has to.
Who is saying it doesn't?
I'm saying that the current system that we have, what he's explaining, he's saying, oh, don't worry about it. Like, you guys don't have access to the maths that I've got. So when you're ready, come and sit with me and I'll teach you. Okay, great,
No.
Thanks for that.
That's because you didn't watch it. He referenced everything he was saying. He referenced it to previous people who were saying the same thing and showing models of the same thing.
Mathematically backed though, right?
Yeah, all of it is math.
Okay,
but
cool.
They just applied a different understanding of the flow of life to the math.
Cool.
Do you understand?
I can get with that.
But we're agreeing. We're in agreement.
We're in agreement.
Go on, Emmanuel. Sorry. Is there somebody on the call?
Yeah, Black Rob wants to talk.
I don't think he wants to.
No, he was there. He was talking. He was saying, "Am I on mute? Am I on mute?"
Well, he's hello,
Come
Black
back, Black
Rob.
Rob.
He's not here now.
Yeah.
Oh, is he typing? Is he mute?
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
Oh,
yeah,
no. Black Rob, call back. I may need to engage your phone. It's engaged now. Call back. Go on, Emmanuel.
Yeah, see, in the chat, maths is the human construct. You see, like, morning, Black Rob.
Morning, guys. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think with the Terrence Howard thing, I think the powers that be will play their hand eventually, because like with anything, whenever there's like new knowledge that is actually true, they either try to shut the person down or they try to steal it and use it for nefarious uses. Like remember like Nikola Tesla, when he made the light bulb, he made the light bulb that could work for like 100,000 hours.
Yes.
Yep.
And then the lobbyists were like, we can't sell this if it's too good. So they made it like worth like they basically destroyed it and they turned it into like the 10-hour light bulb, or I don't know, 100-hour light bulb that we have now.
Yeah.
And then like you look at stuff like if you go back to COVID, like all the anti-vaxxers were shut down. But then when you look at flat earthers, then people allow them to say what they want because they know it's not true. So if it was true, they'd be shutting them down. So therefore, we just need to wait a little while, see how the powers that be react to Terrence Howard's information, and that will kind of prove whether it's true or not. If they shut him down, or
if him end up dead, you already know.
Yeah, if he ends up dead, then it's probably true.
On a Dr. Sebi thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Dr. Sebi's another one, isn't it? If they let him say what he wants to say, free reign, then they don't see it as a threat. If he ends up dead, or if they steal it from him, or the other play that they do is make him sound crazy, which he's doing a good job of himself, to be honest, with the way he presents himself. But that's another way to discredit someone, isn't it? Just make him look crazy, then still the information. But yeah, I also agree with Brent that there's always like a 50-year gap between like what the military industrial complex and the powers that be have information on and what we get. Like I think the internet was around in the 60s and 70s, right, or something like that, and then it came to us in like the 90s, late 90s, 2000s.
There's always going to be stuff like that, but that's a lot of that is economics, though. That's the reason why a lot of the time we don't get certain things. Yeah, 100%.
Until you can make money from it, then what's the point? That's how the world sees it. The powers that be that control the flow of everything. They're like, yeah, if it makes us money, we're gonna do it. If it takes money out of our pocket, then no, bun that.
Exactly. So, but then also it's like, if you're talking about the spiritual aspect, Brent, you also have to be. I'm always a bit weary because, like, you know, without getting all biblical, there's always passages about how like false prophets will come with new knowledge, and then it's like that whole kind of. There's knowledge that we don't have access to because we'll destroy ourselves if we have access to it. Not that. So like by God not giving it to us, he's actually doing us a favor because he knows that we're just going to misuse it. So if we get access to it prematurely, we'll mess ourselves up, which is like, and then you get information about stuff like, you know, Oppenheimer and then all those World War II like scientists that were messing with LSD and then getting access to like, you know, LSD, people say LSD allowed you to access other realms and stuff like that. And then they got knowledge of things that they shouldn't have. And that's how they start getting new scientific breakthroughs. So sometimes I think the knowledge that they get through like accessing like hallucinogens may be from the darker side, because it's knowledge that maybe we were supposed to get access to at a later date, but they jump-started the process because they were doing what like Adam did and Eve, which was eating the forbidden fruit, getting the knowledge before they were supposed to get it, and then using what they were going to get anyway later on, but earlier for nefarious uses. So maybe we were supposed to get access to like nuclear fission, but it wasn't. But instead of because we got it through Oppenheimer, it became a bomb rather than maybe clean energy, for example. That's just the idea. So I think maybe we should get access to this stuff, but we're doing it in the wrong way, so we're going to end up using it the wrong way.
Yeah. Okay. I hear you. Makes sense.
Yeah, so that's my theory. But yeah, just watch what happens with Terrence Howard over the next couple of years, months, and that will kind of tell us whether there's legitimacy to it. How the how the media and the powers that be treat him.
I mean, at the end of the day, like if he keeps doing all of this stuff, hopefully somebody will actually apply the maths to help. You know what I'm saying? Instead of him being
already
killed.
Happening, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm sure it's already happening. I think we need to protect that man at all costs right now.
Yeah, but that's the prime example was the VR stuff. He said that the VR was supposed to be used for like, he had all these wonderful and weird ways that it could be used for good. And he said that the patterns were just used to make like glasses. And he said the example that he said was something like, imagine having like a nail and you want to, or something, having like a nail that you want to hammer into a wall and then you use a guitar, it's like, or something like that. I use the bad analogy, but he's saying that they've got the technology, but they're using it for such primitive things when the real application is way bigger. But because they're just capitalist organizations, all they can think of is like glasses. I've got VR stuff and you're making glasses with it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, makes sense.
So yeah, anyway, that was just my 2 cents. And also the alien stuff, before I get on, I keep going on about Blue Beam project. The project Blue Beam is a everyone look up Project Blue Beam. It's like a thing that came out in like 60s or 70s about how the powers that be will have enough access to technology where they will be able to create a false flag second coming, so that and they'll first say that there's aliens, then they'll say that they'll use AI to like and all that type of stuff to like have like a fake kind of second coming with like holograms and all that stuff. They'll have the technology to basically make a fake second coming, and then people will think it's a second coming, and then they'll start following false idols. And you see the technology is getting close enough to be able to do that with like, you know, like holograms of celebrities, Neuralink, so you can start feeding information straight into people's heads.
Have you seen that?
And then also
the Neuralink. Did you see that?
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you.
So
I'm gonna show you all a video of what the Neuralink is. It is absolutely fascinating. But if you see it and you still be talking about, oh my goodness, the end is not there, or we've just stumbled upon this particular technology.
Yeah, share that to me, man.
I'm gonna show everybody just now because I bookmarked it.
And also, Brent.
Yo.
One thing, you said something about how there's like anti-gravity stuff. You said it with like quite conviction. So therefore, you must have read some stuff. Can you send links in the Discord of that articles?
I've been telling people for the longest time, subscribe to Y Files on YouTube.
Okay.
Y Files. WHYFILES. There's a guy who literally goes through all of the conspiracy theories that him and his team can find, and either debunks it or basically says, "Hey, this I got no evidence to debunk this yet." Do you understand? Every single one of it, and he shows videos, pictures, articles, blah 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 blah. It is so comprehensive, but it's so enjoyable at the same time. All of this information like can just be found there. But I'm gonna put the link up, and then people can check it out.
Yeah. All right. Cool. All right. Nice one. All right. Cheers, guys.
Later.
Thanks, man.
Right.
I think he doesn't know what to do when it is that you don't talk it. When this dog is like, oh man, this for me it's exciting only because I've been following the paranormal stuff that's happening around the world. Do you understand? And I don't think it's a coincidence. I don't think that particular earthquakes or unrest within a society is just coincidence. I really don't. This whole Palestine-Israel mashup, I don't think any of this is a coincidence. So I keep telling you, I'm compromised. So it's easy for me to listen to him, not understand everything, but the bits that I do, because it resonates with something that I had seen somewhere else. I'm like, all right, literally we're in these particular times that people seem to call the last days and whatnot. That whole red heifer in Israel, that for me was a blind that came from, you know what that is, the red heifers?
Oh, tell me.
All right, cool. So apparently, right, some of the Jews believe that once Jesus is only going to come when it is they sacrifice unblemished red cows on the Temple Mount.
Or the Temple of Solomon.
I don't know.
So what I understood, obviously this is written in the Quran as well, and the Book of Revelations, I believe, is that the end of the world comes when the Jews regain control of Palestine and they rebuild the Temple of Solomon, and where there's an iconic mosque, I can't remember the name of the mosque, and that will open the doors to the end of the world, Armageddon. I need to read up on it. I don't want to misquote anything. But
And in order for them to basically do that, they need to get rid of that same thing. But it's in the possession of Muslims right now.
yeah.
So even in doing that, that's going to cause a big...
You know what? As much as I am like religious and stuff, the comedy in me just like...
Yeah, the fair.
Can you imagine, yeah? All of this happens. Everything's done by the book. They get there. So I remember when they said year 2000, strike of midnight, the world's going to end. And then everyone was like...
That's a bit different.
You know what I'm saying? No, I know. I'm letting my comedic like thoughts just run away. Can you just imagine like, man, then put the flag down, like everything done, and it's there like,
What it tells
we murdered all these kids for nothing.
What it tells me, I like how you're a well-rounded individual because we ain't even talked about your career yet, which is great. What it tells me is that there are wicked people looking to control humanity, and we are seeing them planning and plotting. Right? Even if it's all comedy, those particular people believe it.
No, really and truly, it's not funny. It's not funny, and I'll be honest. In a selfish way, I'm glad that I may not see it in my generation, but the next generation, boy. I have to pray for them hard because I'm telling you now, things that are about to happen in the next 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, it's going to be crazy. And I just feel like the rest of the world is too shook to do anything about it. Even, like the actual people that are within power are too scared to spoil the balance of what they consider reasonable peace. Because once their missiles start flying, and this is why I kind of have to rate the guys that are kind of in the middle, the Irans and all them, man, because they're like, nah. Let that off, boy. Let's see if they're really about it. But, the powers that really can influence it, UK have just proved that they ain't on piss. America trying to stay within a capitalist bubble and they don't want to spoil, the fruits of their labor. The rest of the world is just spectating. Yeah. But they're all kind of seeing this massive world implosion slowly unravel, whether it is religiously driven or whether it's, I don't know, little like borderline feuds or I don't know, but we're watching the implosion of the human race very slowly.
Right, amazing. That was nice and spirited.
Oh, before we go though, Brent.
Yes.
What do you think about the whole thing about the simians, 48 chromosomes, and how because we definitely can't leave that part. Right, where you're talking.
What, it speaks about black people?
No, where he's talking about how human beings basically we must have been engineered.
Oh yeah, that's the Anunnaki.
Yes,
that's where he kind of aligned up with what's that fella's name?
Sitchin.
I don't know who Sitchin is. It's a black guy who goes all over the place talking about
Carson.
Billy Carson. Yeah. So, question: what were you asking me?
Yeah, what do you think about that?
I fully believe that that's what happened. I've been saying that.
Oh, so you believe that we're created by Anunnaki?
I told you that. You're nodding your head because I haven't even finished.
I always do that though. I'm acknowledging you.
No, that was a very, very patronizing.
It's not, man. Go on.
I've been on this particular show when I've said that when it is that the fallen angels came to Earth, they were gene splicing. When they were gene splicing, different creations that God did not create were created. Okay. Right? So the idea that these scientists nowadays talk about different types of humanoids or whatever. I just see it as, that's the gene splicing going on.
So how do you ascertain whether this
the Anunnaki, I'm seeing it as the fallen angels. They're literally the flipping Nephilim and whatnot. That's how I see it.
So God didn't make us. The Anunnaki did.
No, I don't know which is... Yeah. Okay, because remember, the flood had removed all of the abominations that God did not flipping create and all were... This is... Like I said, I've been doing a lot of YouTube watching. Do you understand? And it's from Christian preachers who are now saying, all right, I'm hearing a whole set about aliens and hearing a lot about demons and this and next. Let me show you what this means in the Bible. But I can't use this particular Bible because this one has been changed. So let me go back to the original and show you what was talked about in these lost scrolls and blah, 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 blah. That's how they're making the connection. I've been watching a whole set. So I formulated my particular understanding off the back of this. Why I'm saying what I'm saying is we are currently seeing human beings trying to clone things and try to mix tigers with lions to make ligers, and we're seeing the evidence of it, right? And in my head, the technology of us being able to do that has been given to us by these particular fallen angels, because they've been doing that from the very beginning of time. Do you understand? Now, if you watch the Y-Files, you will see that it's not just something that happened back in the day. It's something that you have like a... There used to be, I don't know if it's a prison or a lab that's on some island off of New York, wherever it is, where certain animals keep getting washed up, and they show the pictures of these animals where you can see the gene splicing left, right, and center. Some of them have humanoid type features inside. So this is stuff is currently going on, and you could understand the mind of a wicked man.
That's crazy.
The mind of a wicked man.
Just a whale with human ears.
A what?
Just a whale with human ears just wash up on the show. I'd be like, what is going on here?
Absolutely crazy. 100%
That's
crazy.
mad.
Yeah, but why do you think this is wild to think that man could go and look to meddle about with things that he was never or she was never supposed to meddle about with? We know that they do this, and they do it for wickedness.
Do you think that that's definitely someone meddling? You hear about the pregnant jellyfish?
Mm-mm.
You heard about the pregnant jellyfish? There's a jellyfish in complete isolation, no male mate, and it's been going around on the news. It's viral right now. Like they found it's pregnant. Originally, they thought it was impregnated by a shark, but it has self-impregnated itself. There's two theories behind it. A lot of people who are very obviously spiritual, religious, are thinking it's a God-sent human intervention to show that God is still a thing. You know, kind of similar to how like the Virgin Mary became pregnant, right? And then others are saying that there is like a scientific kind of process where if a species feels like it's about to go extinct, it's able to reproduce within itself an exact clone of itself. So they're quite anxious to see how it comes out. But that's happening right now. That's happening today.
Fantastic, well-rounded man. Like I said, I want to get onto the basic stuff that you probably love more talking about.
Oh, I'm a neek. Like I'm a proper nerd. I love shit like this. Like this is the kind, like the reason why I wanted to come on podcast is because my DJ side doesn't show how like I'm actually really smart. That was amazing. Modest way to say it. Like I'm quite smart.
Good. Yeah. So no, Emmanuel. The whole reset happened in the flood, and this is what I believe. Not many people don't believe in that bollocks, right? And then it started again through Noah.
Ooh, what's that again? When you say that, what exactly? Obviously, I know you mean like human population, but like what started again? Because Noah came from before the flood, right?
Yep.
Was Noah, obviously, you say you don't really know, but did Noah have 46 chromosomes like us?
He wasn't touched by the rest of them, and his family wasn't touched by the rest of them.
Okay, cool. Because basically, one
of the wives that may be on the thing could have had a little jiggy. bear in mind, this is what I've been hearing.
All right.
I've been viewing. I wasn't there. Do you understand?
Allegedly.
I wasn't there. Do you understand? I was not there. So I'm just deciding what makes sense and what am I willing to basically grasp onto to say this is not going to be my new form belief to make this life interesting for me. Do you understand? Because I need a way to explain things that I haven't been given explanations for.
Right,
this whole aliens and this Dianex, I don't want to believe that it is... Well, first of all, mainstream media is telling us it doesn't exist. And I think that's utter bollocks.
I think we've realised mainstream media isn't
Thank you
reliable.
very much. 100%. But I see mainstream media as just the baseline of society. And I'm not just talking about the media publications. I'm talking about whichever educators have decided to basically say this is going to be what this is. Because one point in time, the world was flat. And all of the people who we were looking to for...
teaching that the world was flat.
The world was flat. Do you understand?
Facts, right.
So I love the way y'all approach things with a skeptical mind. You should always do that. Always do that. That's why I commend you, both of you all. But when it is certain things are said to you, and then I ask the question, how do you use math to explain this particular thing that has an effect on this particular reality of ours? You're like, I don't know. I love the fact that we don't know, but there must be some answer to it.
But you see, when you said that though, about potentially jinn being able to influence this physical reality, like to me, maths explains things to us, right? And therefore allows us to predict certain things. If jinn can influence this reality and we're saying, okay, cool, now we can levitate, we can do all this type of stuff, that basically implies that maths that we can control the jinn to make sure they behave in a particular way.
You're talking about two completely different worlds.
Exactly.
You're talking about a spiritual and like a completely different world to the physical world.
Exactly.
Physical, maths and science.
Exactly.
Spiritual doesn't necessarily have to apply maths or science. So when you're talking about things that are outside of that world and how you feel about them.
See, what you're saying is a beautiful thing. I don't see math and science as dirty words. I see it as the language that we've decided to use to explain our reality.
Yes.
Facts.
So I believe that in that same understanding of language, we can have things that we have not used, the tools that we have not used to explain and predict the spiritual world. But
100%.
we don't have it.
Yeah. But this is it. So then how can I sit in front of you? Let's say I'm a pastor in a church and I've had some divine intervention. How do I sit in front of the people that attend my church and convince them away from faith? Let's take faith out of it for a second. That I have had this spiritual intervention and it is something real and I have had some kind of premonition that something's about to happen in the next 5 years, right? Maybe on a final destination thing, like I know the world's going to end in 5 years. How, without using maths, just using my experience in a completely unrelatable way to your normal everyday life, can I convince you?
No, I'm in agreement with you. You can't, based on what it is that we've been given as tools to use it. Hence, people basically ridiculing us when it is we talk about faith and spiritual stuff.
So then, the bottom question for me is, in terms of just living a regular, normal life, and obviously not completely debunking these theories, but is ignorance bliss?
No, not for me. For me, I've been born with a curious mind. I've been born to try to make sense of the things I don't understand.
But there are people
I'm plagued with that.
I think that you find it interesting. There are people that find it terrifying.
I
That will jump
that's
off a
true.
bridge
100%.
if their reality gets shaken or rocked or completely destabilized off of these ideas, if that can't be proven.
And why do you think that is? Is it because of conditioning right from the very beginning?
Oh, 100%.
And this
it's because
is
there is a global structure, just like you said, from schooling that is created even down to Western media that keeps us contained. And the second that we puncture that containment, it's like, so you're telling me everything was a lie. The world isn't flat. The world ain't flat. I'm about to dive off that bitch. You telling me I can't dive off that bitch? No, I'm telling you, a lot of people, their entire reality will crumble.
Yep.
They won't have any idea what to do with themselves.
Yeah, there's some people who currently believe that all of the pictures that we're seeing from space and whatnot, it's all manufactured.
But that's why I know I was joking earlier about, you know, like the Temple of Solomon and the you know, like the historical like understanding of how the world will end. But if it doesn't go that way, I'm telling you, a lot of people are just gonna top themselves. They're like, what?
Even in the world ending, I'm not sure if it's as some people see it. It just might be this is the new now.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
What we knew before is now ending. And what is going to come
So
is...
all I'm saying is this, Brent, when the boat comes, I'm jumping on the boat. Me, the lions, the tigers, the bears, everything. We're all on the boat. I'm taking selfies. We're sailing off into the distance. Like, I'm good.
Love it. Whenever you come back to the UK and you have some time, you should pull up, you know.
Definitely, man. I'm always,
there's more to you than what we haven't even talked about.
Thank you.
All right.
Is it headlines and then...
Yep.
All right. The stuff that he does in his day to day. Let's do that. Let's do that. Because I want to ask some questions about Dubai.
All right.
I say Dubai.
I've never been there. So
That's a very London thing.
Dubai.
You know, that's a very London thing.
Dubai.
Dubai.
That's
in Dubai.
That's 2 words.
All right. So our next headline. A man has been charged with assisting Russian intelligence after being arrested by UK counter-terror police. So Howard Michael Phillips, who's 64 from Harlow in Essex, was arrested in central London and is due at Westminster Magistrates Court on Thursday afternoon. Investigators have also searched addresses in Hertfordshire and Essex. There's not believed to be any threat to the wider public. This is what the Met Police have said. Mr. Phillips was arrested under new National Security Act powers, which means that people can be detained without a warrant if police reasonably suspect that they are involved in foreign power threat activity. Police haven't disclosed any details about the activities that he is alleged to have engaged in. The charge covers actions which, in their words, materially assist a foreign intelligence service in carrying out UK-related activities. Next headline, and the demonstration that took place at the University of Oxford's administration offices in Wellington Square before police moved in to dispel protests. So Students refused to move until they had spoken with Oxford's Vice-Chancellor, Professor Irene Tracy, demanding that the institution change its policies relating to the Israel-Gaza conflict. Several students were arrested by the police. Oxford University student paper Terrence reported, as officers also looked down the building with 14 student protesters still inside. Sorry, they locked down the building. The protests were part of Oxford's Actions for Palestine ongoing demonstration over the university's investment in companies that are linked to Israel. And activists have been encamped in front of Pitt Rivers Museum for some weeks now in response to that particular war. And our last headline, some sad news, and emergency services have said that at least 4 people have died and dozens of others have been injured following a building collapse in Majorca. Local media said that the top terrace of the Medusa Beach Club, which is a restaurant in Palma, had collapsed. Several people are still believed to be trapped at the site. They said that emergency services were called shortly after 8 p.m. in the building, and the cause of the collapse is at present unknown. Footage posted on social media shows crowds gathered outside the restaurant as emergency services search through the wreckage. Palma de Mallorca is a popular area with tourists on the Mediterranean island. Sad news, man.
That's sad.
Mm-hmm. And that's it for our headlines. Time to pay the bills.
All right, let's get into our interview. Okay, you guys are already familiar with our guests. You've been a great guest so far.
I think
definitely have to. Every time you're back, definitely stop by.
I appreciate you.
Right. We've got DJ Semo with us.
I'm glad that you say my name right because a lot of people say my name wrong.
You know what's so funny?
Mad.
So this morning, when I said you might as well introduce yourself because we were in that segment.
You weren't sure.
In the intro. No, the Nigerian in me
Semo!
was going to say Semo. So when you said it, I said, well, look at God. Why do you do it?
I'm telling you. Some people, some places, like I just accept it. Like a lot of my security that work at the venues I play at in Dubai, Nigerians, they go, Semo. And every time I walk in, they do the same thing. They say, Semo.
Wow.
My guys, I'm telling you.
That is so funny. Yeah. Anyone doesn't know, Semo is semolina. I think it's one of the worst things.
Think so?
I hate it, man. I just think it's so... I've had this as a kid and it's just...
Very grainy.
Torture. It's not it. No. All right. So before we get into the interview and find out all about you, because you're very, very interesting, actually.
Thank you.
We have a game that we play with our guests.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, absolutely. That reaction is absolutely right.
Cool.
So it's a general knowledge questions, but also... Actually, it's going to be fun because it's just 2 of us. So you've got to go like you're flipping in what's the show, deal or no deal.
I'm terrible at trivia. Okay, general knowledge.
So yes, general knowledge and then also like this or that.
Okay.
Do you mean like... I don't know.
Yeah.
Conspiracy or no conspiracy, that kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. We do have a scoreboard we are keeping score.
Okay.
I'm definitely
so no pressure. That's fine. Great.
No pressure whatsoever. You're also doing this over 140 beat.
Over 140 beat. Am I Kano? What is this? When did this become?
And you got 1 minute.
And I got 1 minute. Oh, right. Okay.
Is that all the rules? I think that's all the rules.
Yes.
That's all the rules. So no pressure.
Yeah.
Babes.
Big
If
up
you're,
Jay,
sure,
man.
if you're not sure about something, just say pass.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
Increase
All
your
right.
chances.
So, exactly. All right.
He's going to do well, you know.
I think you're going to do well. I'm
do
pretty
well.
sure.
I hope I do well. Lord
But
God.
are you a hater? What do you say?
I
He
said pressure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no pressure.
Oh, gosh.
All right.
Go for it.
You ready?
Go.
All right.
My side?
That's
Okay. You go.
Okay, cool.
140 beat.
You're a DJ. You should be used to this.
3,
All right.
2, 1.
Music or love?
On the first one. Pass.
Music.
Okay, Jagged Edge has how many members?
4.
Kyrie Irving plays for what NBA team?
Oh, gosh. They're currently in the Western Finals.
Maybe you can pass.
Pass, sorry.
Digital or analog?
Digital.
Negro is a famous speech in what country?
Jamaica.
What city is known as the second capital of the UK?
Rishi or Stammer?
Which British actor had the star role in Queen and Slim?
Pass.
Which comedian is known for stand-ups Delirious and Raw?
Eddie Murphy.
TikTok or Instagram?
Instagram.
What European country has a population of 67 million?
European country. Jesus. France.
What is the capital city of Denmark?
Stock. No, it's is that it?
Yeah.
We done? That wasn't too bad. Can I finish the question?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, definitely can. Maybe get it right though. Otherwise, I shouldn't have.
I've actually played Denmark so many times. It's not Stockholm, that's Sweden. Is it Oslo? No, that's right. Forget it, guys. Let's move on.
Yeah, you're funny because the first one, music or love.
No, but do you know what it is?
So, wait, do you have a girlfriend?
I do, yes.
I hope she's watching this. Man picked music, you know. That's ridiculous. She said love.
How they said music is
in
love.
Every lifetime, there's that scene. That's a PC. That's a political. Back us up against the wall kind of answer. He said,
do you know what it is? If you like, my friends could answer that question for you, right? I'm not just a DJ because I want it to be in the lifestyle or because I enjoy standing up in front of hundreds of people or whatever.
Yeah.
Like music has been my compass through life.
Okay, fair.
Throughout my ups, downs, lefts, rights, I could play you a song for every emotion I've ever had.
Oh, really?
I have over 1,000 playlists. Some of them have got really quirky names.
That's lit. Like what? What's the quirkiest name?
My favorite playlist, don't think I'm a creep, but it's called Ecstasy.
Why do I think you're a creep?
Because it's very sexy music.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, so it's like I've got like dancehall coffee shop. I imagine myself sitting in a coffee shop in Jamaica and the kind of music I would hear in a coffee shop in Jamaica.
Do you do mixes like that?
This is something that I've always been criticized for. I don't actually make many mixes. You have to come and hear me live. I've always been like that. So even the mixes I have like on SoundCloud or Mixcloud, there'll be live recordings rather than curated playlists.
So what genres of music do you play?
I play a lot of different types of music, but I think the ones I'm most recognized for in 2024 at least would be Amapiano, Afrobeats, dancehall, R&B, hip hop.
Okay. How did you get started with music? With DJing, sorry.
DJing kind of found me. It was actually my older brother that was trying to be a DJ. I say trying, he sucked. Sorry, bro. Like he was rubbish. But my parents had bought him a pair of turntables. And like this is back. I'm kind of old, innit? I may not look old, but I am actually really old.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Are you comfortable saying your age?
Yeah, of course.
How old are you?
I'm 35. Yeah.
You did not look 35.
Girl, you better put them eyebrows down, girl. Them eyebrows going.
You definitely moisturize. I love that for you.
Yeah, you know, skincare routines on fame.
Amen. You wear SPF.
Of
Living
course. How can you live a life with my SPF?
Where's the damn horn?
Out here looking like
what a
spoiled
king.
milk. What's going on?
Thank you very much. You look like a cooked prawn. We don't have that. I love it.
But back in those days, it was vinyls, turntables, needles on records, all of that. So my older brother and his friends used to like get together and just have like DJ mashups or whatever, or jam sessions, right?
Yeah.
And he'd got those decks for doing well in his GCSEs, which was a great achievement for my older brother.
Did you ask for them?
My parents had promised them to him. If you do well in your GCSEs, we're going to buy you some turntables. And he was
lit.
like, amazing.
Your parents are lit, boy.
My parents are lit. They're very lit. I can't lie. Big up mum and dad.
Love that. Big up auntie and uncle.
So basically, he hated me touching his decks. As an older brother, he was like, don't touch my stuff.
Yeah.
And it's expensive. It's very dear to him. You know, he really took
and he
care
earned
of it.
it.
He used to cover it with a cloth.
He
earned it, right? Being the younger brother, as my God-given right to be an absolute
annoying
prick when I want to be, my brother goes to university and his decks are there just idle.
Yeah.
I'm only younger than my brother. So the year after I've graduated, I wanted a break from education. I was like, I've done everything. I've achieved everything. You guys, you know, I gave you the results you wanted, whatever. I got accepted to every uni I wanted to go to. I need a break. Yeah. Took a year out. In that year out, I actually wanted to play professional basketball.
Okay.
I used to be, I don't play anymore, but I used to be really good at basketball.
Yeah.
Sat my SATs to go to America, passed them with flying colors, but couldn't get a sponsorship to go to the States. As you know, like to go college in the States.
They have to like draft you and all that stuff.
No, you either get a sponsorship, like they'll give you what they call like a academic or a athletics scholarship. Yeah. Where they'll pay for your time in the States, or you got to pay for it. So although I got accepted to these colleges, I didn't have the money to go, and I wasn't about to go, hey, mum, dad, give me 40 bags to go bounce a ball. My parents are Sudanese, like traditional Sudanese. They would have said, 40
read your books.
You're funny. Literally. Just laughed at me. So anyway, I took a year out. I thought, whatever, let me just enjoy being, you know, like at home and without education. Let me get a job, make some money, maybe travel. I don't know, whatever. Ended up stealing my brother's decks, put them in my bedroom. And I learn things very quickly.
Sick.
If I'm interested in it, give me 2 weeks and I'll be very good at it. I'm one of those kind of people.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened. I became incredibly good at DJing. I didn't think I was good at DJing until my DJ friends came over and we would chill, like have little like jam sessions, whatever. And they were like, bro, you know, you're actually really good at DJing. And I was just like, whatever, man, I'm going to be a basketball player. What are you talking about? I'm about to be the next Michael Jordan. Obviously, hoop dreams are dissolving every day at this point. Anyway, my boy, big up my boy DJ Philly. He now lives in the Philippines. He basically set me up. He told me he wanted me to come DJ for his girlfriend's birthday party.
Yeah.
At the time, I'm living in Southampton. I used to go to college in Winchester, so I had a lot of friends in Winchester. He was like, we've hired this bar in Winchester. We're doing a little garden party. Come through, bring your records. We got decks there already. Spin for a little bit. It would be a pleasure. I was like, no, why not? Cool. I'm not doing anything. So I went through, bought my record collection, jumped on the decks. First thing I realized is these DJs that I was playing next to, who'd been playing for years, suck. Like, they are ass. Like, they are so bad. Like, they ass. Like, and I was like, "Oh, you guys aren't very good." Obviously, these are internal thoughts. I'm you guys aren't very good. Anyway,
they would have jumped you.
No, they wouldn't.
Imagine a newbie. You're not even a newbie. You're technically just here on a favor, and you're telling us we're shit.
Listen,
get him out.
Yeah,
these manners do this. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I played, killed it, did my thing, had a great time because I love music so much. I actually really enjoy playing my favorite songs. So end of the event comes. He comes over to me and he goes, "Yeah, I kind of lied to you. Like, this isn't my party." I was like, "Okay, whose party is it?" He was like, "That guy over there, it's his girlfriend's party, and he's the biggest promoter in Winchester.
Sick.
And he wants to talk to you." I was just like, "What?"
What's your friend's name again? That's a good friend.
DJ Philly, he's a great friend.
That's a great friend.
We've been through the mud together. That's
amazing.
Guy.
That's really, really kind.
Yeah. So long story short, the guy comes up to me and goes, "Bro, you are excellent at DJing." I was like, "I'm about to be a basketball player. What are you talking about?" Anyway.
I'm just trying to raise the funds.
I'm trying to raise the funds. You got some money for me? So I was playing for free. So anyway, he goes, "I run a Thursday night in Winchester. I'd love for you to come be a resident." I was like, "Really?"
Oh, a resident, that's sick.
I just about got my driver's license. So I was like, "Okay, cool." Winchester's about 25-minute drive from Southampton.
Yeah.
I went from just about being old enough to go clubbing to jumping queues and, being like a headline DJ in a local nightclub.
That's it.
And even when they came to talk to me about getting paid, like, these are times where, all your friends are getting jobs in Topshop and Republic and whatever, and they're getting £5.35 an hour. Yeah, that's how bad it was back in the day. And they were like, "Yeah, cool, we'll give you like £50 a night." And I was like, "What, to play music?" Like,
that's something I love. Yeah.
Something I love. I was like, "I've gone clear." I thought I was the man, and £50 that's nothing nowadays.
Yeah, but back then,
that was peace. So I was just enjoying the journey. Obviously, I'm on a gap year now. I've deferred my entry. I'd been accepted to Brunel.
Sick.
And I didn't know what was about to happen. I ended up throwing a few events during this gap year. First one I did, 800 people turned up.
Oh, sick.
And I went back home with a shoebox full of cash with my partner at the time, who I'd done the event with. My dad thought I was a drug dealer.
In African household, because where are you spending this money? And then you're putting a shoebox under your bed.
Yeah, well, I think we made like £11,000 as 18-year-olds in a day.
No way.
Yeah, and my dad was just like, "Where'd you get
family
this
meeting
from?" Family meeting, right? I went and I bought iPhone 1. It had just come out. I went queued up.
That's so wow. What the hell was the first iPhone?
iPhone 1, 2008, I believe. 2008.
iPhone 1. I don't know what that looks like.
Yeah, silverback with the Apple logo and a very small camera on the back.
Is that iPod?
It looked like an iPod.
iPod Touch?
It did look like an iPod Touch, and it was just a phone with a button on the front.
That's crazy.
And I bought a MacBook Pro. And I was like, I need it for uni anyway, but I bought it all in cash. So even at the store, they looked at me like I was nuts.
They definitely thought you were a drug dealer.
These times I still thought I was going to be a basketball player. So I picked.
Oh, you were still holding on.
Listen, my parents were so mad at me because in that gap year of me trying to be a basketball player, I had a full scholarship to go Brunel, and I lost it because if you defer your entry, if you don't accept, you lose that. Right? Yeah. I'd given up a full scholarship to try to go play basketball. My parents were pissed. I'd been accepted to every university. I like applied to mechanical engineering and product design engineering. Coming from an African family, they don't believe in creative things. Like, it's not a thing. It's not a career, right? They're like, it's a hobby. Even up until maybe like 2 years ago, my dad was telling me, "Oh, it's just a hobby, Semo. Like, when are you going to actually start doing something?"
2 years ago?
Up until 2 years ago.
Uncle, please. Like,
I've been DJing for 15 years.
I'm international now.
Literally, right? So, yeah, but I sit down with them and I show them videos and stuff, and now they kind of like they got past it now.
Yeah.
But yeah, those were the raw beginnings of me becoming a DJ. Like, moved to Brunel, had to kind of restart because I was now this boy from off ends in London, no cousins, brothers, sisters, didn't know a single soul at the university. Knew I was good at DJing because I'd grown confidence over the year I was playing in my gap year. but now I had to compete with the London market, which is a very different thing.
How did you find that? Do you think they were shit as well?
I knew I was better than most of the DJs, but it was hard to come in with. I would never come in with that kind of energy. I was similar in basketball. I knew I could play, but it was like if you come in, you have to come in humble. But that's been detrimental to me in many scenarios. I'm slightly different now. Now when I walk in a room, I don't minimize myself.
Amen to that.
Like it, lump it. I just
That's
don't
your business,
care.
yeah.
Take your emotions and do something about it.
Absolutely.
I'm not here to make you feel.
Because people, I feel like if you if you quote unquote humble yourself, and you people will little bore you. People will add to it.
Yeah. And
so you have to walk in with that confidence of knowing who you are and and how great you are at what you do.
Yeah, but it bothers people that I'm really sure of myself.
Oh yeah,
100%.
It really bothers people. I've had.
I live that life every day, child.
Oh man,
it's difficult for us. Damn.
And it's like it's difficult as well. You know, being from where I'm from and looking how I look, and you know, like a lot of people feel I'm very ambiguous, and you know, where like in the UK we have this really toxic habit of judging a book by its cover, and obviously within the black community, there's and even within the Sudanese community, even deeper, there's so many shades of black.
Yeah.
And people won't accept you unless they are accepting of your shade of black.
Unless you look how they've assumed that you should look.
Right. I've worked with the biggest promoters in this scene. Yeah. Most of them have treated me really unkindly.
Really?
Yeah, just because of how I look. 100%.
Well, because they don't think you're black.
They just think I'm appropriating the culture. They just think I'm an intruder.
You're Sudanese.
I'm Sudanese, born in Sudan. Like, it doesn't get blacker, but because of my mix and how I look and their face value of how they perceive me to be, and you know, we've even got these crazy things where like they'll say, "Oh yeah, but he's Somali and he's not even black." In our own London, make it make sense.
That's wild.
So East Africans, we've always kind of had this like, I wouldn't even say a chip on our shoulder, but we've always felt sensitive in certain spaces and communities because
rightfully so
because we don't feel accepted and we feel like we have to earn it.
Yeah.
Why do I have to earn it? Why can't I just be myself?
People don't know the history of certain things, and people didn't like it when I said it before on the show. But there was a time where certain people, East Africans, said, "I'm not black." They went out their way to say, "No, I'm not black. I'm Somali or I'm this. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So sometimes some of that gets lost in translation.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? But I feel like nowadays, anyway, most people do say, you know what, we're African, we're black.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
there is a long history behind it, and obviously, you know, coming all the way back to the Mansa Musa walking the Silk Roads, and you know the origins of Moorish people, and the original princess of Africa from Sudan, who you know stopped the Roman invasion. Like, there's so much history, but I just feel like we're so much better united. We do so much more amazing things when we work together. One thing I loved about Brunel is there was so many different cultures within the black community. At the time when I joined Brunel University, it had the biggest ACS in the country.
Yeah, I heard Brunel was lit.
And they hugged me, boy. I'm a product of 2008 Brunel.
Oh, that's beautiful.
It was such a beautiful.
That's
There were moments where it was toxic, just like every other union.
Everywhere, yeah.
You know, we invented the Brunel Uncovered, which was like Brunel Uncovered was basically like a Facebook page that would just air out everyone's dirty laundry, and then Kingston had a version, and DM.
They was like having I think they call it like the confessions page
confessions
now.
Yeah. Like that. So there was toxicity within the community, but in general, the way we watered and nurtured each other was great. It was amazing. But because there wasn't a Sudanese community, I found myself stuck between the West African community and the West Indian community, who weirdly either got along really well or hated each other.
Yeah.
Because ACS was very West African.
Yeah.
Didn't represent West Indian culture very well. While I was there, they ended up launching a whole separate society just to represent West Indian like culture. But because I had lived a big portion of my life in Bristol, Bristol being a very Caribbean city, used to be what historically was one of the original slave ports where they would ship slaves over to the Caribbean, and then they eventually came back and settled in Bristol. Which is why there's such a massive community of Jamaicans specifically. And that's why there was so much revolutions and stuff in Bristol when the Black Lives Matter protests were happening during the pandemic, when they turned over like the Colston statue and stuff like that. My earliest influence of black culture were West Indian. So when I started collecting music, it was mainly dancehall.
Okay.
Like, I love dancehall. Like, dancehall's my thing. I didn't really start to embrace the African side until, because in my household it's always been Sudan. We speak Arabic in my house. You know, like, it's a very Muslim household, very Sudanese. the food we eat is very African. But outside, most of my friends were West Indian, Caribbean.
Okay.
And they were very welcoming. So I kind of soaked in their culture.
Yeah.
Everything. Food, language, like mannerisms. So by the time I went to Brunel University, I was very much like...
You're Jamaican adjacent.
Jamaican adjacent, right? But luckily for me, in the sense of my DJing skills that were developing and the music that I like to play, Bashment in London was like the thing.
It was really it.
Before Funky House popped off and before it became cool to play Afro beats, Bashment was the thing. I used to wait for the Bashment section.
That was not my time. That was my drink time. That was my toilet time.
What, you didn't like Bashment?
You know, I'm an Afro beats babe, like through and through. Like I grew up in Nigeria.
Right, okay.
So even when I came here, people are not really like listening to Afro beat. Like I always knew what the latest song was, who was the newest artist. Like I've always been very, very proudly Nigerian, and that I'd never heard Bashment in Nigeria. They didn't play that.
Wow.
Now they play. Actually, when I went this time, they played like a couple of songs, like the bait ones.
Yeah.
But I'd never heard Bashment. I didn't know what this was, and then
it's given Dubai.
And I was very naive. And then when I started to know, learn things, become a child, slowly child of the world and whatnot, and I'm understanding what the lyrics are. I said, this is vulgar.
It's it can be very vulgar. I'm not gonna lie. It can. I mean, a lot of it is very vulgar.
Yeah. So it just wasn't. My ears didn't know what this was.
Yeah.
And it didn't appeal to me. Like in Nigeria, you hear hip hop, you hear R&B, you hear rap, you hear all these things, but I'd never heard Caribbean music. It just was not it. Obviously, everyone is Bob Marley in that One Love, but that's where it starts and stops.
Yeah. I think as dancehall became more and more vulgar, I would say after like the Gaza and Gully feuds, I tuned out a little bit.
Yeah.
I did tune out a little bit. This was also the time where funky house, you might call it African dance music is what they call it now. It covers the whole
Afrofusion.
Afrofusion. It kind of covers the spectrum of anything that's kind of like 115 BPM and up.
Yeah.
So you could consider funky house as an African dance genre. That took over. Like funky house became the thing. I remember all of the raves back in the day, the roadblocks and the uni jams and the uni house and all this. These were massive link ups. 2,000, 3,000 students from around the country would come together and party, and the promoters did a great job of putting these great events on.
Yeah.
And I was kind of trying to, I don't know, amalgamate within that ecosystem, but there wasn't much love coming my way. Like the promoters from Brunel, they would put me on a lineup as they saw me getting more popular. Yeah. But a lot of people thought I had just started DJing. Okay. Literally like that year that I got to uni, they didn't realize I'm traveling back to Southampton.
Yeah, because I've got bookings, mate.
Every 4 weeks.
Yeah.
With 1,200 kids coming to watch me DJ. Like I was making so much money in my first year. I had a clothing line. I had a completely self-contained business that my peers had no idea about. I had a little safe in my room, just stashed full of cash.
Good, did not tell people that.
Right? So what I ended up doing, because the local club wouldn't give me any DJ sets, the local promoters didn't rate me, probably because they were like, who's this weird? Is he white? Is he Hispanic? What is he?
Where is this boy from?
Does he even know what our music sounds like?
Yeah.
I used to play house parties. I played over 30 house parties in my first year at university, to the point where the university contacted me at the end of the year and actually banned me from getting accommodation on the campus.
Your parents must be thinking, this boy, I sent you to school.
Yeah, literally.
Just stressing them out.
Literally, but I then had to pay a fine to get into second year. They were like, if you don't pay the fine, you ain't coming back to uni. And remember, I'd gone from being a potential scholarship.
You did get a scholarship.
I went from being a potential full ride to paying for my own education
and then getting fined on top of it.
What a life!
Do you remember how much the fine was?
I think it was like £250. It wasn't huge. But
no, it's huge enough because the one that they take on tuition.
Yeah,
it's huge enough.
So anyway, by the second year, I actually had built a really good following. Like people were like, we only want to go where Semo's at.
Lit. Yeah,
so then the local DJs started to pay attention.
Had to then pay attention
and
to
they started to give me like warm-up sets, whatever. By the end of my second year, I'd started doing like small parties, but they would all sell out. By the end of my second year, I took over a massive venue in Uxbridge, like Brunel's in Uxbridge, which at the time was called Liquid and Envy.
I've heard of Liquid and Envy.
You know Liquid and Envy, right? And I launched an events company called Ice Cream Parties. And first event, Semo's Beach Party, 1,500 tickets, gone.
Sick.
Yeah, it was crazy. And I didn't do that by myself. I had a lot of people that I worked with. I had a lot of people that really like helped me, nourished me, and I got a lot of support from like the ACS community. That's how it all started.
That's lit, you know.
Yeah, man.
But how did you navigate, or how do you still face that, the whole, I guess, the race thing, the people thinking
100%.
ambiguous and stuff?
It is a factor of why I left London.
Really?
It is a factor, 100%. Yeah.
But how like, if you don't mind, go into a bit more. Like when you say you're Sudanese, are you like? I think you also said you're half Egyptian as well, isn't it?
Yeah. So my dad's side is fully Egyptian. My mum's side is mixed, but that's where the Sudanese side comes from. So her dad was like typical Sudanese.
Okay.
And then her mum is mixed Egyptian, I believe, Turkish.
Is it like Arab Sudanese or Black Sudanese?
It's hard to differentiate because you can have a family. Like if I showed you pictures of my brothers, you may not even believe they're my brothers.
Okay.
Like, my brothers are like a lot darker than me, Afro hair, and they would look more typically Sudanese. When you meet a spectrum of people from Sudan, you literally can have like I have a set of cousins who are like relatively dark skinned, and then they have a white sibling, or like someone as fair as I am, right? It can be that, like the DNA pool can be that varied. But yeah, in the north it is mixed. You get people that are mixed, Sudanese, Nigerian, Sudanese, Kenyan, Sudanese, Egyptian, like me. So for us, it's weird because in Sudan we don't typically note it. It's not something that is noted, and we don't typically define it. It's not like if I meet my Sudanese brother who's more dark skinned than me, I'm like, yeah, you're Sudanese, but you're Sudanese this. It's like, you're just Sudanese. We don't care. Enter Semo arriving in the UK as an Arabic speaking.
We were worrying about the wrong things over here, you know.
Honestly, the UK, I love it, but I hate it at the same time. I had a rough childhood.
Really?
Rough. Arabic speaking, not a word of
age did you come here?
English. I came here when I was 4.5.
Oh, so that's like, kids are mean at that age.
In the 90s, early 90s, like where I didn't even understand what bullying was until I realized I was being bullied.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean? And it was like, I was a very timid child until I wasn't. I remember it's crazy. I was speaking to my dad about this last night. I remember the turning point where I was just like, actually, no.
This is stupid.
It's not happening anymore. And I was always athletic, so I was never like weak.
Okay.
And I ended up just standing up to the bullies. And then from that day, I remember that day was just a massive turning point in my life where I was just like, you can't take me for idiot.
Do you remember how old you were?
I was in year 9. I remember it. I remember it like it was yesterday, literally.
That's really big.
But yeah, that's where I started to really take control of my life, my actions. I had a lot of accountability. I stopped giving myself this victim escape of this is happening to me rather than these are the choices I've made. So fast forwarding back to the DJ career and building this brand in Uxbridge, within 2 years, I turned it into a 6-figure business. And I was doing events all over the country and abroad. So I launched events in Ibiza. I had an event called Ibiza Meltdown. I did events.
I heard of that.
Yeah. We worked with some of the biggest promoters in London.
Yeah.
We managed to achieve really great things. Right before the lockdown, our last event was with Pop Smoke. So yeah, like we'd achieved some really amazing things. So by the time the pandemic came, I was already very content with my career.
Beautiful, yeah.
2015, I got discovered by Mo Stuck.
Okay.
Loved my DJing, didn't know him from anywhere. He literally came to perform at one of my events. I get a call from his manager the next day. He's like, we're looking for a DJ to come on the road with us. And we fuck with you heavy. We think you're dope. Why don't you come with us to Retch 32's got a show at Kentish Forum. Come, let's see how you gel with Mo. And if it works for you, then we're touring from next week. So went down, performed with them, and yeah, we were ended up touring for the next 4 years after the pandemic. So yeah.
Do you still are you still any artist DJ at the moment?
Not well. I'm still Mo's DJ. Obviously, he's not doing as much shows and stuff at the moment. He's not really putting out music as much as he used to. But that's still my guy. Like whenever he's ready to jump back on tour, I'm still there for him.
That's lit, man. That's so fun. Do you still want to be a basketball player?
Hey, these 35-year-old knees. Let me tell you something. They're not the same. They are not the same. But I still play every week. In Dubai, they have loads of like runs. The facilities are amazing.
46-degree heat.
No, they play indoors. They play indoors.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, AC's a thing out there. Don't get twisted.
Oh, I know, but
Yeah,
I'm just thinking. In my mind, basketball, like it's basketball courts. I think outside. No one thinks of. When I think inside basketball courts, I think of like your PE courts in school.
No.
They were grimy. I don't want to be in there.
No. Listen, Dubai. That's one thing that they have. They have facilities.
I thought hot countries do, man. All the hot countries, they have to because.
Even America. Have you ever been to America?
I haven't been to America, no.
Listen, America, they have, because obviously there's so much money behind sports.
Yeah.
And there's a system, like if you're really good, they'll take you to like, you know, certain colleges or universities, whatever. Their facilities in America, we went to play in a tournament in Indiana when I was 16. Their facilities are nuts, like unbelievable. Unbelievable.
They love basketball. They invest in that though. They invest in sports in America, to be fair.
Yeah. Because there's so much money behind it. You know?
What made you move to Dubai? And how long have you been living in Dubai for?
I've been in Dubai now for 7 months.
Okay.
Yeah, so I left last October.
That's well, you were new there talking about you really hate the UK. You were just here the other day.
No, I'm new. But it was a very conscious, calculated decision. At the time that I left to go Dubai, a lot of people questioned my decision because I'd recovered really well from the pandemic. I was doing regular events in London. I was DJing all over Europe. I was being flown here, there, and everywhere.
So they're thinking,
why would you leave?
Yeah.
So
why did you leave? Sorry.
So I believe in divine interventions.
Okay.
So the pandemic was rough, really, really tough time. Coming out of it, I didn't feel the same. I kind of had lost my groove a little bit.
Okay, yeah.
I went for a really bad breakup. Things just weren't going my way. And I had to kind of figure out what I wanted to do with my life. I'd never been to Dubai before. So for the first time in my life, I'd been flown out to Dubai for my cousin's wedding, August 2022. My parents, for some reason, had always been telling me, Semo, like, you need to go see Dubai. They'd been to Dubai loads of times. Like, go see Dubai. In my head, I'm like, a Muslim country, like, what are they going to be doing there? Like, how they don't party. There's nothing there for me. But whatever, one of my favorite cousins, I'm never going to miss the wedding. So let me go. Yeah. Went to Dubai, enjoyed the wedding. Didn't get to see that much, but I went to go visit my boy, Tino, who lives in Dubai now. He was performing at a venue.
The DJ as well?
He's a host.
Okay.
He's a host. So he used to do uni raves, Hertfordshire University. Okay. So we were like neighbors. Okay. We support each other heavy. So I just locked in with him. I was like, what's up, bro? Like, you know, what's this Dubai thing all about? I was like, cool. Didn't think anything of it. By the time I came back home, wasn't convinced, right? Look at God. Mostat gets a call. We want you to come perform in Dubai in November. So August, I come back in August. November, I'm going back to Dubai again. We go to perform one of the biggest nightclubs, Soho Gardens in Dubai, right? And I'm like, I just can't stay away from this place. What's going on? So we go, we perform. My eyes are wide open at this point. Hospitality, treatment, tech, the way that they look after you and how they respect your art form and how they pay you. We were only there for 48 hours. The hotel room by itself, I was like, what is this life? I've never seen anything like it. Like, I'm walking out onto my balcony and there's a horse racetrack outside my room. There is a window between my my bathroom into a suite and there's a hot tub in the bathroom. You know, like a tab on my room. Like, it was just like a lifestyle I'd never really like imagined. And we've toured, like we've stayed at some of the best hotels in Europe. Dubai was a different level, right?
Different level, yeah.
I've come back. I'm like, okay, I see you, Dubai. I see what's going on here. But still, I'm doing well in London. Like, my momentum is gathering. Like, I'm doing all right. I've got some YouTube things that I want to do, some live recorded things I want to do. So I'm really executing my plan.
Yeah.
Someone hears me play in London. A lovely lady by the name of Shana. I owe her a lot. She's heard me play in a club in Camden. She's like, bro, you're fucking sick. Like, Dubai would eat you alive. Have you ever been to Dubai? I was like, oh, it's funny. Like, I literally played there like a month ago.
Yeah.
This is in January 2023. She's like, listen, I know certain people in Dubai. I'm about to sell the shit out of you. You're coming. Like, just be ready. When I give you the call, just be ready.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, whatever. Cool. So I've carried on with my life, whatever. February, I get the call. We want you to come and headline one of our events in Dubai. It's called Catch My Vibe every Friday.
Headline. Big up Shana.
Yeah, for real.
She sold the hell out of you, boy.
She went out on a limb for me, and the event was still relatively new. It is now the biggest Friday night in Dubai. It's like a UK event. You'll catch the best UK DJs there. And she was like, but you need to pay for your own flight. So it's still a gamble, right? I'm thinking, oh, fuck's sake, I'll pay for my own flight. All right, cool. Paid for my flight, got there, met the promoters the day before the event. So it's like a group of them, right? And they didn't really know about me. They'd seen my stuff online. They knew I was legit, but they were like, this is our baby. You better not fuck this up.
Yeah.
You feel me? So I'm super confident. Like I used to get shy when I jump on the deck. Standing up in front of hundreds, sometimes thousands. I think the biggest crowd I've ever stood in front of was like 80,000 people.
80, wow.
You literally shake. You don't want to make a mistake, right?
I can imagine.
Yeah. So Dubai, I felt the nerves because I knew the opportunity in front of me, but I was also like, I'm about to show you lot what I want, kind of thing. So they're like, yeah, just don't fuck up our dance, kind of thing, giving me sideways energy. Shana's there like they have no idea what's about to happen. So she's
Shana,
like,
man.
yo, Shana.
Is Shana a black or white woman?
Name. She is Turkish, I believe. Turkish, yeah. Essex
beautiful.
girl. Lovely girl, man. So, boom, walked in the dance, shelled it,
Sick.
murdered the dance, like ceiling
it.
sweating kind of thing. You know them
Not
dances.
the
You know them
ceiling
dances.
sweating.
You know them dances. That's why. You know that you've come out of them dances before where it's just a sweat box.
Just saw them in there.
People standing on tables. People standing
That's
on
lit.
everything. Anything that could be stood on, people were standing on. And the most amazing thing I saw that night as well, and this is something I don't really see from my corner of Africa,
Yeah.
there was Sudanese ballers in the building. Like from my country.
Is it ballers? Because obviously you're a basketball player. Are you mean ballers how I mean a baller? Or you mean ballers like you mean in basketball terms?
I'm talking make it
They
rain.
got money, okay.
Make it rain.
I
And
want
they're
the same
in the
part.
building and they're running bottle show after bottle show after bottle show after bottle show. So I'm playing like music from my country. We got our own kind of Afro beats.
Yeah.
And I'm bigging up my hometown, like da 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 da.
They're having a time.
I was having a time. I just felt like I belonged there. You feel me?
Yeah.
I've got the UK crowd, I've got my African crowd, and I felt at home for the first time. It was just like I'm playing whatever I want and it's connecting. And end of the night, I recorded this whole thing on a 360 camera. No one even knew it was there. It was just stuck in the corner.
Okay.
Promoters would come up to me. I even posted this on my Instagram page. Come up to me and they were like, "Bro, that's the best set we've heard in this club."
That's
And I know that ruffled some of the DJs up the wrong way.
100%. What have you ever heard? And I've had the residency here for 20 years.
You know what I'm saying? So at the time, there was only one other DJ in Dubai I'm lying. Like from London, from where I'm from, like what I would consider my community in London, there's only one other DJ that was really doing it in Dubai. There's a massive community of DJs from Newcastle that have been killing it for a long time. And props to them because they've shown me a lot of love since I come out. But I saw an opportunity there. I was like, the style that we play, the way that we call it juggling. Like the way the DJs play in London, we play a song for like maybe 30, 40 seconds and we switch it. It's called, that's the technical term is juggling. The way that we juggle is a style very significant to London and wasn't something very present in Dubai at the time. I saw an opportunity there. The day that I wake up after that event, I get a phone call from Shana, first of all, like, bro, what the fuck?
Thank you for not embarrassing me.
Thank you for not embarrassing me. I put my neck on the line for you, but you showed out and you fucked it up. Thank you. Secondly, I've just got a phone call from Five. And that's like the biggest hotel chain in Dubai.
Yeah.
They want you to extend your flight and they're going to give you a penthouse suite for a week if you come and play at their club. Are you mad?
If
If
Shana, I'm outside.
I'm
Where are
already
you, girl?
there. I'm already there, please. My laptop's already set up. What are you talking about? They gave me this beautiful room. Me and my manager stayed in this room, 2-bedroom apartment with an infinity pool, all private, just for us, right? You could probably, you could throw a party in this room. We actually forgot a party.
I bet you did.
Don't worry about that, sweetheart, you know? So anyway, I stayed for an extra week. Within that, people heard about what I'd done and had seen the footage online. I'd posted a lot of footage very quickly.
Good.
So I had an extra week there. I thought, let me really explore this place. Went to every club, met every promoter, and I got calls from Blue, which is one of the biggest clubs in Dubai. Massive, massive club. Like Kanye West was there in November. That's how big it is. I ended up performing there on the Sunday. I got called back to Lekki, performed there again on the Friday, and I got called to play a club called Mansion, which is underneath 5 JVC, and I played there on the Saturday. So I went for one set, and then I ended up playing 4.
That's lit.
Then I realized how much they pay. At this point, I didn't actually know how much DJs get paid in Dubai. They pay well. So I'd covered all my expenses just from the DJ bookings I had got. I'd got given a £3,000 room for a week. Like, nuts.
Yeah.
My experience was amazing. By the time I came back to London and it was raining the day I got back, I was like,
what about London? London's got a London,
for
bro.
real, man.
I was like, I need to go.
Yeah.
I need to go. I don't like even though I'm recovering well from the pandemic, all the large format venues I used to work with have closed. The large format venues that I sent proposals to, all the Box Parks, the Cocos, had all rejected my proposals. Even with the resume that I brought to the table, I had worked, but like in the last 3 years before the pandemic, I had worked with Megan Thee Stallion, Tory Lanez, I'd worked with Skepta, I had worked with Pop Smoke, as I mentioned, Krypton, Conan, Mostak, some of the biggest names in the industry. I'd done events from here to Dubai, from here to Ibiza. You know, we took 600 people to Ibiza and shelled it. None of these venues would let me come and do an event.
That's crazy.
Not one of them. And again, this comes back to what I was talking about before. There's a lot of gatekeeping, a lot of favoritism in London. And I don't want to hide behind that excuse. Again, I thought it was a divine intervention.
I was going to say, I feel like it feels like divine intervention, because I believe in stuff like that where things that you should so obviously get, you don't get it, but it's because that's not your story.
Right.
And because if you get it, it's going to distract you from what the bigger purpose of what you need to be focusing on.
Right.
And I mean, there's still definitely gatekeep. Not gatekeep, but there's definitely still favoritism and a lot of politics.
You know it.
Across all industries in this flipping Britain, London.
You know it.
But yeah.
I felt I would be better off starting fresh, because honestly, even when I made the decision to move to Dubai, it's not like I suddenly got contracts to DJ like every day in Dubai. You know, I had a warm reception from a few of the promoters, but it's not like they gave me 20 bookings. Like I landed with one confirmed booking, you know, and immediately had to start paying high rent, because when you don't have an Emirates ID, everything's a little bit more expensive. You know, it cost me a lot to get to Dubai, but I just believed in it. I just really believed in it. I thought, let me try my luck. Worst that's going to happen is I'm coming back.
Come back, yeah. And that's okay.
I'm going to come back. Boy, it started off amazing. Not going to lie to you. It was almost like a pinch me moment. Like within 2-3 weeks, I found myself with like 3-4 weekly residencies. I was very blessed. And
That's
like,
lit.
I was just grateful, just thanking God, like tearful moments, you know, where I had come feeling rejected by the place that I'm from.
Where you're from, yeah.
And feeling accepted by a place that doesn't even know me.
Yeah.
But also being around so many Sudanese, there's so much Sudanese people in Dubai. And then a culture that is so different to London. And I'm not talking about people, I'm talking about government and how they structure the country.
Yeah.
In Dubai, an Arabic culture, I'm going to speak a little bit of Arabic for you guys. عندنا حاجة اسمها احترام. Ihtiram, basically what I just said is that we have something like...
I can ask Imani if you need to translate.
It's
Basically.
on a foundational level means respect, right? It means like dignity and respect, right?
Yeah.
And they have it in such a high level that you don't want to disrespect yourself or your family.
Oh, word, yeah, I get you.
You feel me?
Yeah.
And how they navigate life and their decisions and how they treat each other is very much based on that. And it's like almost like a class system. And to be a high class citizen, you have to operate in a very respectful manner. You know, and you know you're in an environment where the richest people wear the same outfit every single day. They all wear candoras and abayas, and you might see a little Birkin or something to show the level of wealth they have.
They dress how they dress, yeah.
So modest. And I found myself in this place, and obviously there's so many UK expats and American expats. So, you know, there is our culture there. And I just felt so welcome, so accepted. As I started to settle into it, there were trials and tribulations. There's like a lot of things that you have to kind of learn when you're moving to another country.
Yeah.
But in general, yeah, they just accepted me. Like they took me as like one of their own, and it's been an amazing journey so far.
It's a sick story.
But it's a completely like opposite of what you hear or what you see online.
Yeah.
And it's like, again, this is the issue I find with online culture, like UK online culture and Twitter, and like people will just run with whatever they hear. They're not going to go and figure it out or prove it for themselves.
Why would you do something so silly?
Exactly. I'm sure that there's people that have spoken absolute wickedness on my name over the years. And then there's people that have met me and been like, bro, you're not
what I thought you were. I've heard
what
you
people have said you're like. And I'm like, but you've never even spoken to me. You don't even know what I'm like.
Word.
So it's very similar with Dubai, right? A lot of people are like, oh yeah, you go to Dubai and shake your ass and you got to get paid by a sultan or a sheikh, and he's
to be
just
fair,
gonna
though, like,
gonna shit on your chest and you've made it in life.
Well,
I'm telling you now, yeah. Think about where we live. Think about the London that we live in. Think about the London that we live in. The things that probably happen every day behind closed
but
doors.
like Dubai's got that PR people shit in your face.
It's just PR. I promise you, it's just PR. I promise you, you land in Dubai. There is not an express taxi for the shit on your chest.
Maybe because the thing is, witnesses have come forward.
Witnesses have come. Okay, so let's. I don't want to I don't want to say. I was gonna say that shit ain't happened.
but definitely Dubai definitely has a bad PR in terms of like, that's where you
press.
go in terms of like it's got a bad PR for going there and doing unwholesome things to get some money.
But let me tell you the truth here. The people that would go there to do unwholesome things, they're not there for the right reasons. If I pull back the curtain, a lot of people don't want to pull back the curtain of Dubai. Do you know why? Because it's like you're gonna think I'm reaching, but Dubai, the way that I see it, it's like Wakanda. Like you're walking into this place, which is the infrastructure is incredible. The opportunities are endless.
Yeah.
And the people that have taken the risk to move there have a mindset to win.
Yeah.
And when you meet them, you feel infinitely inspired.
Yeah.
All of the expats that I know in Dubai are on job.
Yeah.
They're all working hard, from the teachers all the way to whatever you might be doing. The Bitcoiners, the DJs, the event organizers, everyone is on job. And there's just a level of respect that they have for being there. Nobody wants to lose it. And you can get kicked out of Dubai real quick. I'm saying, you can
We've seen people get kicked out.
Yes, Dubai is not for if you're coming there just to do Yahoo and try and make a quick buck, you ain't gonna last.
No,
and that's something that people that live there like about it, because they're like, you need to be serious to be here.
To be here.
But what comes with it is lifestyle, money, safety. Oh, safety. What?
Yeah.
I've heard, and I feel that's amazing. Like leaving your car there, leaving the keys inside, going wherever you want to go in, and then coming back and it's just right there. That is lit.
It's deeper.
Here you're assisting in the car.
It's deeper than your personal
You
possessions.
out.
It's like, imagine going out to a club. Would you go out to a club in London by yourself?
No, of course I wouldn't.
Okay.
And you know what's crazy? Because I go on solo trips, and sometimes when I put on my Instagram and I ask people for like recommendations of where to go, I get Dubai all the time. People are like, you could actually, and because obviously going on a solo trip, I have to think about it as a black. I think about it as a woman. I think about it as a black person. I think about it as a black woman. Do you get what I mean? So these are things I have to think about.
Yeah.
And I always get people be like Dubai, and from other black women who are like, no, like
And
you
I
can
guarantee
solo
you-
travel there and you're safe. You don't have to worry about nothing. You are fine, sis.
I guarantee you, there are women who have been there.
Been there.
Yes,
yeah,
they have.
Exactly.
Yes,
But
so
a
they
lot
felt
of
it.
a lot of women that haven't been there, even from the black community, would say, I don't know.
Yeah.
You feel me? They'd feel like, oh, but what did it? I've had this question where women have asked me, but how did they treat black women in Dubai? I'm like, a lot of Emiratis are black. Like the actual natives that live in Dubai are black Arabs. But
Yeah, but you know what? Though, with that, then there's that conversation that Iman was saying earlier about, do people, if you don't see yourself as African or you don't like Africans, whether we're both the same skin color or not, it's not going to make a difference.
Exactly.
So
Do you know what I mean?
So the prejudice that exists, I'm not gonna like sit here and sell you a fairy tale dream. The prejudice that exists within, let's call it the Arab community, exists in Sudan. It exists in most Arab communities. It's mainly a system of class. It's not so much your skin
classism
color.
thing.
I'm telling you, like, it's not really about skin color. It's more about class. It's about what you do, how much you earn, what status your family is, blah 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 blah. In Dubai, they love you guys being there. They love any expat from the UK, anyone visiting from the UK. They love our culture, they love our education, they love our money, and they know that we know how to kind of like behave to a decent standard. There are people that come to Dubai, like I said, and just do up Yahoo, but they get kicked out, and they're not the ones that they want to stay in the country. Which is why
You say Yahoo, you mean Yahoo? how I would mean it fraud, right?
No.
Oh, no.
I'm talking
I thought
like.
you meant that.
what
I thought Yahoo boys.
No. I meant like they come and they just do cowboy. Like they're just out there just going mad. Just literally, some of them getting into fights, some of them doing,
Oh, okay.
like
That's so interesting.
just wicked things, like trying to just take advantage of the freedom and the space that they kind of offered.
Okay.
They're afforded, should I say. There are a lot of F boys in Dubai though, don't get twisted. There's a lot of fraud boys in Dubai. A lot of people come to Dubai to spend their money.
Was picked up.
You know what I'm saying? But
You twisted your head when he was speaking on the race relations.
Me?
Part. Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say, do you feel like that's maybe because the way you was raised and how you see things, being from Sudan, your community, right? And thinking, you know what, cool. I don't see any difference because within my household or my extended family, like we have different shades and it's all the same. Because the reality is, like in a lot of North African countries, you're seeing that divide between black, like especially those who come from West Africa, for example.
Yeah.
And the Arabs from the north.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You go to Mauritania, slavery's still there.
Yeah,
To this day, as we're speaking, they're black slaves.
Yeah.
Libya, you know what I'm saying?
I think this is why Sudan is so misunderstood. Because we're not quite black, but we're not quite Arab. Arab, well, I need you guys to understand it from the reciprocal. They don't see us as Arabic.
Yeah, I know.
So when I go to the Arabic side, we're not Arab enough. When I go to the black side, we're not black enough. So we just ended up being self-contained and just like, well, we're Sudanese. Like, fuck with us, don't fuck with us. We love our culture. We are the kindest people in the world. If you have any, I don't know if you have any Sudanese friends, but we're just really lovely people. So we don't seek approval.
Yeah.
We don't seek acceptance. We shine bright and we don't really care if people can see it or not. What we would love is if we were treated the way we like to treat people, but that's not often the case.
Yeah.
But we do understand our neighboring countries, say like in Egypt, there will be that divide because it's more of an Arabian country.
Exactly.
Algeria, Tunisia, you know,
Libya,
you're going to get
Mauritania.
more of that. Even in Morocco, where you've got the original Berber people, they are darker skinned. But they're not divided because they see each other as one. But I can imagine even the darker skinned Berbers may have something to say to a dark skinned West African.
Exactly.
If is that a racism? Is that a prejudice? I don't know how to define it, but ultimately that's an internal issue that they have. We don't have it in Sudan. It's not like that. It's not like that.
But what would you say to somebody that says, well, look at the very fact that we have a South Sudan?
But it was a peaceful departure. If it wasn't a peaceful departure, then I would agree with you. But the fact that when they said, okay, you know what, we want to take South Sudan, you know, run our own government, like there wasn't a war when that happened. It was the newest country to be created in the world.
Yeah.
And you have Sudan, you have South Sudan. I have a lot of South Sudanese friends. One of my favorite basketball players when I was growing up, and I went to his camps in Kent, Wildeng from Brixton. Like there's from my generation at least, because I can't speak for generations before me, there is a community love. Once I see Sudan, I'm like, yo, my brother, my sister. You feel me? We don't like to divide each other.
That's wholesome, man.
Yeah, man. So me going to Dubai and the experiences that I've had, and then obviously I'm very observant. I'm the kind of I'm like a fly on the wall. When I'm in the room, I really like to analyze and read what's happening and the situations and people's body languages, and I'll pick up on everything, even like a little head nod, like I'll pick up on all of that. And
so I looked at you when you said that.
Because I was gonna come back to it. I'm glad that Brent came back to it, but I was gonna come back to it. But yeah, so when I'm around different people, different races, I get a lot of the surprised look when I say I'm Sudanese. They can't believe I'm African. They're like, well, what does that mean? Like, how can someone that looks like you be from Africa? You feel me? Because I'm not like a Chinese man that lives in Jamaica. Do you get it? Like, I'm actually a Sudanese.
I'm sure they're there.
No, there's a lot of Chinese people in Jamaica. They run a lot of the nightlife industry, but that's obviously an immigration of a Chinese culture that went there. It's a bit different in Sudan. But yeah, man, I really enjoyed just being embraced by them. And I felt to myself for a while, first of all, this anxiety that I used to have when I was living in London has just come off my chest completely.
Listen.
You know what I'm talking about, innit?
Of course I do. I was in Lagos 3 weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
And honestly, there is I feel like when you live here, you don't realize it until you're out of it. Then you realize how light your shoulders are.
Yep. Honestly.
It's a thing.
And there's so many angles of how light that is. And I'm sure your experience will be completely different to my experience. But several things for me. First of all, there was that, oh my God, I don't have to fight for acceptance thing. I felt free in my career. I can do what I want. I can play music how I want. And I can be myself for once in an Arabic speaking country. Amazing. There is not one singular African kind of community that dominates in Dubai. You have your Nigerians, you've got your Ghanaians, you've got your Sudanese, you've got Ethiopians, Somalians. There's a bit of everything. Yeah. And we're just equal.
Everyone's just there.
There's no gatekeepers in that sense. You feel me? There's a lot of gatekeeping in the UK industry when it comes to music, when it comes to events. Oh my God.
When it comes to life, man. They're just gatekeeping shit.
Yeah, facts. But then also, it's just the safety. I have to come back to the safety. I've seen so much. As you get older, you're thinking, living in London, that eventually you're going to stop seeing certain things. Right before I went to Dubai, I think I saw one of the worst violent nights out in London. Guys getting run over. Someone dropped a gun underneath a car. I'm standing right. My brethren's car's been crashed into. written off. We're stuck in the crime scene, dodging cars, trying to run people over. I'm just like, is this
What
GTA?
the hell?
This is real life GTA.
And she's giving GTA.
Police have pulled up, tasered people in front of us. I'm like, I can't believe I'm actually living this. Is this real? And I'm 35.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I got to bring my kids up in this environment. And that, I'd already decided to move at that point, but obviously it was like an experiment.
It's just like, it's just making you realize, I definitely made the right decision.
Right.
Every
So
point.
I really, really value the choice that I made. I hope I live there for a long time. I really do. If I didn't stay in Dubai, my eyes are so open now. I don't think I'll come back to London to live. I don't think I'll come back. I don't think so.
Good question there about the safety of Dubai, because I feel like with Dubai, the Dubai people typically see is the Dubai that people majority go to, but there's another side of Dubai.
Right.
I've heard.
Yeah.
Like I've had a friend who's
Beautiful.
been there. No,
You're talking about the dark side.
I'm talking about the dark. It's
You're
beautiful.
talking
It's
about the dark
dark.
side. I just feel like people always want to shine light on like really negative things.
Yeah, but
it
I feel
makes
like
better
it's-
news. It's more interesting.
I don't
to
think
talk
it's. I don't
about.
think it's necessarily that. I think that with Dubai is someone that's really, really romanticized, and like the PR for how great Dubai is. Apart from obviously, shitting people's faces and that. Forget that part. But in terms of a place,
In the 7 months
it's
I've been there, I don't know
really
anyone that's been shut on.
good. You're running around with the right circles.
I mean,
Some people can't say the same.
I'm telling you.
But like Dubai is very romanticized. Like
Right.
Dubai is the place people want to go to. Like the PR for Dubai, if we really think about it, has been great. Where people would say that the realities of it outside of when you go to visit, outside of when you go to have fun, and outside of the constructed part of it,
Yeah.
there's like the poverty, there's the prostitution, there's all this stuff that happens.
Yeah.
Have you visited that part of Dubai? Have you
I've
explored
seen-
Dubai
I have
beyond?
Seen it. Yeah, I've seen it. And I try not to judge as I get older.
Okay.
I try not to be a judgmental person. So, for example, in the sense of the poverty,
Yeah.
a lot of the people that let's call it the working community, a lot of them fly over from India. India's a 2-hour flight.
Okay.
You need to understand the conditions they're coming from.
Okay.
So where a lot of people feel like they're being exploited, they're being underpaid, they're not being looked after, where they are from, they had even less. Not justifying the situation. I still
But
feel
it's
like
like,
they should get a little bit more.
Yeah.
But they're in a safe country where they're probably getting paid 10 times more than what they were making where they're coming from. And they have certain, I guess, like, I don't know, I wouldn't even call them luxuries, but certain things that they wouldn't have back home.
Yeah.
A lot of them are there sending money back home. They're working and they're sending money back home.
Yeah.
Their incomes are not high. Some of them are making £1,000 a month. And that is quite a low income in Dubai. And then they're sending half of that home.
Yeah.
And then they're left with, 2,500 dirhams to live for the month. Pay rent, food, travel. That's not much in Dubai. But there are ways that they can do that, share an accommodation, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yes, and I was just going to say, whatever I say is not to justify, it's just to give you the
just
alternate
context.
perspective.
Yeah.
When it comes to like the prostitution, you put money in any environment, there's going to be people that are going to try and get a lick from it. And the prostitution is mainly controlled, I would say, by men that are, not even paying women. They're flying women over, they're booking them accommodation, and they're splitting profits. It's a business model for a lot of people out there. And the women that do it love it. Like, it's not like they're under duress. They love their lifestyle. Like, I've met a few of them and they're lovely people. They're actually really nice people. It's just they've chosen to go down that route. They make a lot of money, not justifying it. I'm just telling you what I've learned, right? So I wouldn't address it as the dark side of Dubai, because you put money in any situation and there's going to be evil. There's going to be things that happen that any government, like you go to Soho on a Friday, Saturday, I will show you that you probably find prostitutes in Soho. I've seen them with my own eyes. It exists in every city. And it's there for the aristocrats and the people that have stupid money to spend.
Yeah.
So is that unique to Dubai? No.
Because you know what it is? I think, because I've got a friend who really loves like Dubai. Like, she's been a few times. And then the last time she went, she decided to actually just go outside of... Now people say that when you go to... It's like LA. LA has this thing of, oh my gosh, that's where all the famous people are, that's where all actors are, da-da-da-da. But when you go and visit it in person, it's like a lot of like homelessness. Like, it's not as portrayed on TV. It's not as glam as on TV. And so with Dubai, it's kind of like... I've heard that it's like that, where it's the way it's portrayed nice and da-da-da. But when you go there and you see the realities of it, like, the realities of it was so shocking for her. She's not going back. It's put her off. Because she feels a way that, like, there's this section where it's like rich, it's wealth and it's nice things and flashy things and shiny things. But then the reality is that there's like kind of like locals, immigrants or whatever who are just really, really down bad, and it's just a complete opposite of how the other side are living kind of thing. Like it put her off. So I do think with Dubai, like, it gets a lot of good PR in terms of, again, just it's nice, it's glam, it's whatever, it's shiny. But then there's obviously that reality to it as well. But
I feel like one place I really want to visit is Accra in Ghana. I've still not been to Ghana. I've always wanted to go to Ghana.
Yeah.
And it's, from what I've been told, really beautiful. It's started to become incredibly like well built up, great, like amazing, almost like touristy, like parts of it where you can come and stay and have a great time, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm sure if you go 5 minutes down the road, there are people that are getting paid very little to come and maintain that and sustain it. And that is just the poverty gap. Within certain cities, you're going to have high poverty gaps.
Yeah.
In London, it's less because I guess that's one thing that the government is kind of getting right. We have minimum wages and we have certain like protections against working and how you can work in the UK. They don't have that in Dubai. It's not like that. And that's not me to criticize them. It's just that our standard is not the global standard.
Yeah.
You'll learn very quickly in Dubai, there's certain things that we have grown up expecting.
Yeah.
Certain kind of assurances that make us feel, again, like contained and reassured that life is going to go well. They're not standards in Dubai, you know. Yeah. Like in certain countries where it's really about making money and living like a good, decent life, you need to earn it.
Yeah.
And if you really want it, you're going to put the work in to do it. And that's just how it goes.
I definitely want to visit those. It's on my list of places to visit. But,
Definitely visit.
I feel like I'd have a great time when I visit, but
some big
I'm not like
promoters
dying for it. But
some big promoters from the UK are going to start doing events in Dubai this year. I'm not going to say who, but yeah, there's going to be some big
with
events.
exclusive, child.
Oh,
Love it.
yeah. So you're going to start to see more UK people go to Dubai. But I don't think it's not that easy to settle in Dubai. This is one thing I need to because a lot of people have asked me or Semo, like, how do I get out there? Like, what do I do?
Yeah.
How much will I get paid? You know,
when you say settle, you mean like in the industry, or do you mean just to move out there and
go
live there?
live there? Like a lot of people want to come and live in Dubai. Like I get messages by the day, and it's not that easy. It's really not that easy. Like even if you work in a really highly paid industry, finding opportunities in Dubai can be very difficult. If you get a quick opportunity, often it's a really crap job. Like the job, the job is not good, or they're going to work you to the ground. They're going to give you something that is just not sustainable in the long term.
Yeah.
Main people to go out there like teachers,
I had a friend teacher, she moved out there. She's back now, but she moved out. She actually moved out there.
And teachers get paid well. Obviously, it's about the same cost of living as London.
Okay.
However, someone's tweeted this and literally watched from Dubai now. I moved with my husband and 2 children last year. The PR matches the reality. It really is an incredible place for families. Exactly. I've met UK families out there. Black UK families, like kids, like all expats from the UK having the best time. I've met lawyers. But yeah, like I said, the main people I meet are like teachers, realtors, people in recruiting, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And on a baseline, teachers are getting paid, I think, like 15,000 dirhams on a baseline, which is about £3,000 a month. Most of them get accommodation. Some of them get allowances for travel and food.
Yeah.
So from the perspective of you want to live in a sunny country, that's safe, that's tax-free, get paid way more than what you get paid here. Yeah. And I'm not going to lie, it's like waking up in a holiday resort, like every single day. Like I could go to the beach. Within 10 minutes, I'm at the beach, you know? That's a
so
weird
funny,
thing to think.
Dubai gives me like, you know, like say you're watching like The Simpsons or something, and they've just created this town. That's what it gives me. Like, like it's just a
even living there, that's how it feels.
But that's basically what it is.
That's how it feels. Even living there, that's how it feels. I promise you.
So funny.
One thing I love about Dubai, well, depending on how bad the traffic is, but you can get from one end of Dubai to the other in literally 25 minutes, like 25, 30 minutes. Like London, now that I've only been back here for like 5 days, my brother lives in Streatham. Getting it took me an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Hour and a half. I felt like I was going to die. I was like, I've never traveled so much in my life.
Like
what is this? Why is this taking so long? Literally, yeah. In Dubai, you can get anywhere, but the public transport's rubbish. Like you have to take taxi or drive.
But the train's reliable though.
They've got what's it called? Like a monorail.
Yeah,
monorail kind of thing. It runs in a straight line. Dubai is built in a straight line.
There you go. Straight lines exist.
Where's Mark? You need him.
If you zoom in, you'll realize it is a Fibonacci show. It's actually twirling round and round really quickly. But yeah, no, it literally just goes down one of the main roads, Sheikh Zayed roads. It goes from one end to the other, and then once you get there, you probably get taxi to wherever.
What's your dream country to DJ in?
Ooh.
Okay, actually, where's someone that was on your list that you've already done, and where's someone that you want to do?
On my list that I've already done is Germany.
Nice.
The music culture in Germany is rich. It's beautiful. And they love Afrobeats, they love Amapiano, they love dancehall, they love all the...
I don't want
Have you
to
ever
put
been to
them as
Berlin?
people that did.
Berlin, Munich, I played in Landshut,
I've been told not to solo travel to Germany.
even Austria.
Yeah.
Have you been told
Germany's
not to
really
solo
nice,
travel? That's crazy.
Yeah, I've had some black people that haven't had great experiences there.
Yeah, I love Germany. I played in Austria as well. Vienna was great. I haven't played a solo gig in Paris. I've played gigs with Mo Stack in Paris, but I've not played a solo gig in Paris yet. I really want to play Paris. I love their music style. They've got like their own. It's almost like a soca like Afro beats. I don't even know. Like it's not Afro trap. It's way faster. It's like a bouillon kind of hybrid. And I want to play in Rotterdam or Amsterdam. They have a whole culture up there as well, and they've got Rotterdam Carnival as well. So there's a big Caribbean culture up there. But yeah, I want to play like Trinidad Carnival. I want to play.
Brent's from there. He might cook you up.
I want to play in a really popping club in like New York because I love hip hop R&B. Like I'm always going to be a hip hop R&B baby.
Have you ever played in America?
No, I haven't. I haven't played in America, which is crazy. I've been offered to play in America a few times, but just the logistics didn't make sense. I got offered to play in Ghana last year, but again, the logistics didn't make sense.
When you say logistics, does that mean like? What does that mean in DJ?
What they're offering to pay you is not worth. It's not worth the trip. If that makes sense.
Because you're probably going to cancel out gigs, lose money while you're gone.
Exactly. I got offered to play at Cannes Music Festival this year. Yeah, and they will pay in relative to a UK fee. They were paying really well. But I said to them, the money I will lose to come, it's not enough.
It's not enough,
And they were like, rah. Like, okay, say no more, maybe another time. I was like, cool.
That's right. This is something to kill a Rowland, to be fair. So.
Yeah, I think in Dubai, the main thing is like once you kind of got momentum, you want to keep it. Like it's really important to try and like keep up your momentum. I think if you're someone that's doing well in business in Dubai, like I know concierge services that are killing it, you can't disappear for 10, 15 days. You will be replaced. It's just how it goes.
Fast moving like that.
Fast moving. Money don't stop in Dubai. It does not stop. It's all about now. There's an app in Dubai called Kareem. I don't know if you guys have heard of Kareem. Kareem is kind of like Uber Eats, but it can do anything. You want a pedicure here in the studio, 10 minutes, they'll be here.
That is lit. That's the kind of life I want to live.
Dubai will spoil you like that though.
That's
like
lit.
Anything you need in Dubai, you can get it like within half an hour. Literally.
That's such a dangerous life. It doesn't feel.
We think we're winning
because
we've got Amazon Prime and get it by tomorrow. No, they got something called Noon. If you order something, it can be here within 15 minutes. If I wanted a new phone case, I can get it within 15 minutes. I ain't got to leave my house. If I want my house clean, from top to bottom, I can get it clean for £20 within an hour.
Dope.
And if you have a preference for being shat on your chest,
baby, how'd you know? How'd you know?
So,
within 24 hours, you can have a Birkin bag.
What kind of shit would you like? Would you like our premium package?
Oh my god!
Would you like it hard or would you like it running?
Ew.
That's disgusting.
That's crazy.
you have is it 3 questions or 2 questions?
3. It's always 3. So let's ask you. We've got some questions for you.
Let's do it.
I know the first one actually. What is your? Okay, tell us something that people are usually surprised to learn about you. Well, he's African.
Yeah,
To be fair.
I'm Sudanese. Yeah.
You have to do something
Would that
else.
be it?
Esther chose that one for you.
I chose that one, so you got to
No, that is probably the main one. That's the main one. I'm Sudanese and I'm 35.
Yeah.
Everyone always says, I don't know why people fix on this number though. Everyone thinks I'm 26. Why 26? I don't know.
You look young.
Everyone says 26 though, specifically 26. I don't know, man. I need to look into the number 26. It must mean something.
Maybe. Who knows? What is your biggest life lesson?
Ooh, trusting people too much.
As in, don't do it or do it?
Don't do it. I don't say that from a skeptical, like, oh my God, I had a trauma. Don't ever trust anyone again. No, like, that's not realistic. But I was a very trusting person from a very young age.
Yeah.
You know, there are event brands that are very successful in London that exist because of my conception of them, and people took those ideas and did it without me. and are running off that success. I've made careers in this city just by being over trusting. Like I'm really great with ideas. I come up with ideas. Like my girlfriend will tell you, I have ideas every minute. I write them all down in my phone.
Don't tell me where you put them ideas.
You go on my phone, lock, girl. What you gonna do? You gonna try to steal my phone?
You haven't met Nigerians. What's the passcode?
But yeah, I'd say don't trust people too quick. Cool. Take your time to get to know people.
I guess the curious guy in me. What can't you name drop any? Seen as they did you dirty.
You know?
I thought this might come up on the show, but I decided not to name drop.
You could fine. You can tell me afterwards. I don't mind.
I
need to know.
I'll definitely tell you after.
Okay, tell us after when the cameras are. Sorry, guys.
And the thing is, I feel no shame to tell people my story.
Okay,
Remember, I was a guy that moved to London I didn't know anyone here. So at a young age, while I was here trying to build my career, when these injustices were happening, I didn't want to seem like the crybaby. So I just kept it to myself. My inner circle saw what it was and knew what it was, and kind of like, you know, they kind of stood up for me, and, you know, in their circles blacklisted these people. But ultimately, the outer London that is very much, you know, follow fashion, they didn't care and they wouldn't know the story. So in that essence, if an event is popping, you're going to go. Like, they don't care the history behind it. You know,
and some of these brands are well known.
Oh, very well known.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
No, I love me some tea, Chow. Another word and ready coming to meet me in the studio. And then if you could meet yourself, so basically we get our guests to leave questions for each other.
Right.
So the last guest left you a question and it says, if you could meet yourself at 50 years old, what would you ask you?
If I could meet myself at 50 years old, as in me asking the 50-year-old or the 50-year-old asking me?
No, you asking, if you meet yourself at 50, what would you ask your 50-year-old self?
That's a really good question. How did you leave an impact on the world?
First of all, your 50-year-old self is still alive.
Yeah, but by 50, if you haven't started on that pursuit of, you know, like leaving your mark,
fair.
you know, that's old. 50 is old, girl. Or I'd be like, damn, how do you manage to keep your skin so clear?
First of all, okay. And then you have to now leave a question for the next guest. It could be anything.
Oh, gosh. Boy. Do you think there are gender roles within a relationship?
That's a good question. Must start a fight.
We here for the fights, man.
For a tussle.
We here for the tussle.
All right. So you just here to visit? Are you just here to visit London, or have you got any stuff coming up that you want to tell people about?
So I'm doing an event on Sunday.
Lovely.
It's called Semo and Friends.
Okay, nice.
And this was kind of like my post-pandemic brand that I kind of launched.
Yeah.
I kind of went away from trying to do commercial mass market events, and I was like, let me throw some events for my mates.
Yeah.
And the rule of thumb is, if I invite you, you can bring your friends.
Oh, that's sweet.
That's kind of how it works.
Okay.
And the way that it ended up was we always ended up with a room full of amazing people. And the parties are lit, like very, very lit. But they just feel like a safe space because everyone knows someone.
Yeah.
So I'm doing one on Sunday.
Nice.
A brand new venue in central London called Concept.
Nice.
It's opposite Selfridges. And if you'd like an invite and you're a really lovely person and you know how to dance, because I don't do the watchy stuff. Like, if you can't bring your dancing shoes...
Yeah, we got to discuss. Maybe when you come back. I don't like this culture of forcing people to dance.
No, man. If you come to a club and there's music playing, shake a foot. Why are you there? Stay at home and listen to Spotify.
But like sometimes, just let me warm up. Like, let me defrost. Let me just this whole
culture. It's 2 a.m. You're not defrosted.
Please, I'm in my bed. I want to go home, but my group of friends want to still stay here, and I'm playing Wingo.
No. I think we need to normalize the leaving when you're ready.
Oh, what about me?
I'm that guy.
Honey.
Where's Semo? I'm in
what
my bed.
What about me?
You thought I was still at the bar.
Sometimes I don't even tell people goodbye. Because I don't want to hear the whole, don't leave yet. So I just leave.
Yeah,
and I just text you, but I'm
one of them ones.
Yeah.
Like, some of my friends cuss me for it. They'd be like, bro, like, we turned around and you weren't there. I was like, I was tired.
I was tired. What?
There's rice at home. I'm ready for my bed.
Okay. We've got a question from our fave, Powell. Sorry, I can't see that far. So if you could read, that'd be great.
Can you ask him if he uses Recordbox or Serato and what he thinks about the new STEM mode? I use Serato Rekordbox doesn't have stem mode. Serato has just been bought by Pioneer as well. So it is now probably the biggest music performance company in the world. And Serato just works. It's just so seamless. It's effortless. The quality is amazing and the stability is amazing. And the stems mode, once you learn how to use it, will change your DJ performance forever.
Yes. He's a music.
Yeah. I'm a music guy.
Man.
Trust me. Music guy.
Yeah. All right, love it. So your social media is just DJ Semo, isn't it?
Ooh,
I nearly said Semo. I nearly did it. Nigerian.
You let the inner Nigerian out, bro.
Always, this lives here.
You let it out, yeah. My socials are at DJ Semo. I'm very much an Instagram guy. Social media gives me a headache. I try not to use it for too much. So I stay on one platform and that's it. So if you want to connect with me, at DJ Semo, Instagram. I'm on Twitter and all that, but I just don't use it.
I'm going to guess the event sold out, so people can't get tickets, can they?
No, I've got a little bit of space left. So if you guys want to come, let me know. There's not much space, so...
You sound like a proper invite to me.
No, I'm extending an invite to the whole team. But like I said, bring your dancing shoes. I don't care if they're Le Boutons,
the music will inform my waist.
No. Your waist will be catered to. Pause. Why for that? You'll be good. Where are you from, Bren? I'm trying to say. I could tell you're from Trinidad. Yeah, I was trying to catch the accent. Trinidad is like, you guys make my favorite soca. And my favorite artist right now in this time of my life is Kester Band.
Serious.
And
do you know Les Brent? He doesn't know.
He's the best.
You know who Kester Band is, of course.
100%.
You can't be from Trinidad and not know who Kester Band is.
Impossible.
Look at me when you say that.
That's like saying I'm from Nigeria and I don't know who Bun is. Or
Look at me when you say impossible,
absolutely crazy.
He doesn't know, does he? Brent, I need you to hear. I'm so disappointed. I'm so disappointed.
Nah, you can't be.
I'm gonna put you on to Kester Band.
I don't think
but I don't know if you. I'm guessing you don't like soca. But groovy soca, you don't like groovy soca?
No. Listen.
All my Trinidadians that are watching this right now, if there's any of you, please, I beg you, just send in fire and.
Never been to Carnival. The music I love to listen to because I grew up on it is calypso.
Okay.
When soca comes on, it's inevitable for me to dance because it's in my bones.
I see.
So I would love that artist, 100%, and I may even listen to him in the gym. Right. I would love to, but that's not my go-to at all.
If you listen to Kes in the gym, you are absolutely not lifting a thing.
Oh, serious?
No.
He
makes love music in a groovy soca format.
I listen to podcasts in the gym, so that's all right.
Okay.
Yeah. Put me on.
I need to get fired up in the gym, man. I need like some rage music. I've got a playlist just like called Rage Music. So when I'm in the gym and I'm trying to hit a PB or something, that's the playlist I reach for. Yeah. Trying to listen to no lovey-dovey Marvin Abbey while I'm lifting. Hell no. Absolutely not. Big up Marv though.
I thought that's what you said, and I was thinking, no, I didn't.
Yeah.
They said,
that's my guy. That's my guy.
We got Marv there. All right, lovely. Thank you so much. Again, I hope you do come back next time you're visiting. You're really, really good vibes. Like, you're a lot of fun.
No, I appreciate you guys for having me.
And you were early as well. And you spent all the time with us.
I was like, I can't be late, man. Oh my God.
But it's good though, because you were part of the other conversation, because I tapped out.
Yo, we went deep. I need to go and rewatch this Terrence Howard thing, because I was like, whoa.
I needed somebody with a proper scientific mathematical brain.
You're welcome.
You're not going to be here next week, so you've got us. But no, thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
All right. What are we doing?
Word and Road.
Let's get to Word and Road. Let's speed through Word and Road. I'll tell you. To just be.
You can just keep it breezy.
All right, Sean Kingston and his mum got arrested. Right? Imagine they went to raid his house here and they picked his mama up. It's not even funny, but the thought of all of it is just so, like, imagining all of it is so funny to me, because they're basically in for the same charges, theft and fraud, allegedly. So that's very sad. Sean Kingston's been having a bad. After he was thinking about Beautiful Girls, he's been through things, like, he just hasn't. I don't know. Sean Kingston's career's not been giving recently, has it? Anyway, that's the situation. I spoke a while ago about Celine Dion. She has this stiff person illness, which has cost her it's affected her voice and stuff like that. But basically, there's going to be an Amazon. She's got a documentary. It's a documentary on Amazon, and it comes out I think the 24th of June. I believe that is. There's a lot going on in June. Power's back in 3 weeks. That's exciting. But yeah, it's out 25th of June. It's going to be on Amazon Prime 25th of June, and it is called. I don't need to scroll that much. It's I Am Celine Dion. That's what it's called. But apparently, the trailer was released and it got a lot of her fans very, very emotional. And they were online saying, like, one minute they're watching the trailer and next minute they can't stop crying. And just, it's apparently very, very emotional and very hitting and very, very deep. Is that comment? What does it say?
Someone that knows Mr.
Not them blowing up your shit, Semo.
What? They're blowing up my stuff?
Your friend.
How am I always late? No, you're lying.
Who's RG? Not RG?
I don't know who RIG is, but I don't appreciate you blowing me up on live YouTube.
Can you
I only been late like twice in my life.
No, this one was early, child. It was early.
I was early.
I thought he was here throughout the show.
It was almost like aggressively early. Who is you and why are you here?
Why are you here? And then also I told you guys about Kelly Rowland and the situation that happened in Cannes when that security lady was trying to tell her off and she said, my mama don't talk to me like that. And we could see Kelly visibly irritated. But she was basically asked about it at another event. She just looks so stunning. She's such a stunning babe.
Such a babes, man.
Gosh.
She's always been my favourite member.
Oh, honestly.
Always.
Words.
Yeah.
But so she was asked about it. It was actually quite sad because you could see that she had like a bit of tears in her eyes, but trying to be professional about it. But what she said was the woman knows what happened. I know what happened. I have a boundary and I stand by those boundaries and that is it. She said there were other women that attended that carpet who did not look like me and they didn't get scolded or pushed off or told to get off. I stood my ground and she felt like she had to stand hers, but I stood my ground. Beyonce, if you get that woman fired, that'd be great. So yeah, there's that. What else is going on? Oh yeah, Diddy's gonna have a lawsuit, child. Sorry, trigger warning, Brent. I'm so sorry, I forgot to.
Yeah, got it.
Diddy's gonna have a lawsuit.
Right.
And this one is for like multiple. Sorry, trigger warning. Sexual assault, sexual violence. Diddy. At this point, Diddy is a trigger warning. Diddy is a trigger warning. So so it's true now if you need to do that. But basically, there's a lady who is accusing him of multiple sexual assaults that started back in the 1990s. She met him in New York City. So she was a student at the time of the Fashion Institute of Technology. So basically, since this whole, since the other model came out about the fashion thing and men's fashion show and stuff, I've seen people kind of acting like they don't understand Diddy's correlation to fashion. Sean John, like he was big in the fashion industry. Do you get me? He was a figure in the fashion industry. So that's the connection. I think people are not sure and whatnot. Anyways, so she said she met him at a bar, or no, she met him at a bar and whatnot. Essentially, he took her back. They went on a date one time. There was a lot of alcohol involved. Took her back to her room. Essentially, she was getting unconscious, but she was conscious enough to realize that he was raping her. She woke up and she felt sore and she felt confused and she was naked. And there was that. And then months after that as well, he started pursuing her again and lured her in with access to like music industry events and whatever else. And she was just, again, a college student just trying to make it in the industry and whatnot. So she went and she maybe thought that maybe the rape thing, like maybe I'm wrong about, I don't know. It says she thought, this is what the court document says, that she was, her attorney describes her as a hopeful yet naive college student and took Mr. Combs at his word and believed that the first rape was a possible maligan. Is that a word, Brent? What does that mean? Mulligan. I don't know what that means. And decided to give him a second chance. But basically, when she went to that, when they went to dinner, and basically he forced her to perform oral sex on him. And she said that there was even someone that saw him, but he didn't, like a garage attendant saw them, but he didn't care. There's another time as well that he basically summoned her to his apartment and whatnot. And then when she got there, she was introduced to Kim Porter. So Kim Porter features in the story. So Kim Porter is one of his baby mums. And so basically, she says that he forced ecstasy down her throat, and then he forced her as well to have sex with Kim, whilst he masturbated to them having sex. And obviously, remember Cassie's lawsuit? She said that he would do stuff like that, basically. And then she says that after that as well, he raped her again. And and to be saying because they don't take the videos down.
So mulligan is like a second chance to perform an action, usually after the first chance went wrong through bad luck or blunder. So it's like maybe the first time wasn't meant to be, so they just give it a second chance. Basically.
Okay, yeah. All right, thank you. And then after that, she basically just was not involved with anything to do with him, blah, blah, went hiding, I guess one could say. And then she said that one time as well, she bumped into him at the Rockefeller Center when he was dating J-Lo, which was in 2000 or 2001. And then she says that there, again, he ended up back at her apartment and he violently grabbed her and forced himself onto her. So this is like multiple counts of sexual assault. And then she said there was a time as well, basically, Kim ran into her, or she worked as a waitress or something in a restaurant, and Kim wants to come in there. But then Kim said that essentially that the woman tried to poison her, and that if they don't fire her, Diddy is going to shut down the restaurant and do this and do that, blah, blah. So she basically got fired from her job. This
guy's a horrible human being,
bro.
Man. He's got everything that's coming to him. He deserves it. I'm not going to lie to you.
He's having the day he deserves.
And his apology was so whack.
If you can call it that.
If you call it that. It's like
ridiculous.
Burnt toast.
Honestly.
Still scratch it off and still going to give you cancer, bro. Idiot.
He's an idiot, but that's where he's at. So there's another lawsuit. I think at this point we're like up to like 6 or 8 women. We're around that ballpark. And then yesterday, Cassie released a statement. Obviously, since the video been released and all that kind of stuff, she hasn't said anything, but she released a statement. I'm going to read it, and she says, "Thank you for all of the love and support from my family, friends, strangers, and those I have yet to meet. The outpouring of love has created a place for my younger self to settle and feel safe now, but this is only the beginning. Domestic violence is the issue. It broke me down to someone I never thought I would become. With a lot of hard work, I am better today, but I will always be recovering from my past. Thank you to everyone that has taken the time to take this matter seriously. My only ask is that everyone open your hearts to believing victims the first time. It takes a lot of heart to tell the truth out of a situation that you were powerless in. I offer my hand to those that are still living in fear. Reach out to your people. Don't cut them off. No one should carry this weight alone. This healing journey is never ending, but this support means everything to me. Thank you. Love always, Cassie." I'm proud of her. I'm proud of her healing journey. I'm just glad that she's got a supportive, beautiful husband and beautiful children. And like, do you know what I mean? She can just really just pour into that, because this must be so, so triggering.
Yeah, my heart is heavy for her. I can't imagine like what she was going through when she was. Oh, can you imagine?
I couldn't.
You come in so excited. You're dating someone who's on top of the world.
Yeah.
You're excited for your music career, and you feel trusting to be in that person's presence, and then they just violate you.
But when you think about it, he was so calculated because he signed her for like a 10 album deal. Cassie, long way to go.
What was the age difference?
It's like, it's definitely like 15 years, something like that.
Probably more than that.
I think it's more than that, but
ladies,
I don't want to like,
ladies, please stop dating
lest I say
older
anything.
Toxic men thinking they're gonna pattern
but
you up.
the problem is that you don't know that men are toxic until it's too late. Like, abusive men are and manipulative men are very calculated. Very calculated. And they're very like, even in the way they move. So you wouldn't realize that they've separated you or ostracized you from your community until it's too late.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? Because they're that calculated. So when things are good, like, they'll be around your friends, they'll be around your family and whatnot. But when you guys leave them, they'll be saying stuff like, "Oh, like the way she talks to you." So they start to like, they plant seeds. They're very, very
manipulative.
If they use those skills for actual like sensible things, they'd be the greatest people in society. But there's the manner in which they're so calculated and so manipulative is actually scary.
It's malicious.
It's scary, yeah. But yeah, man, love and light to Cassie and to anybody who is dealing with these matters. Like, honestly, love and light to you. But that's it from me. It's very quick. What are we doing next? I don't know what we're doing.
We're going to last headlines, I think.
People's Journal.
People's
we
Journal.
have the People's Journal, okay.
Yeah, I didn't want to, but I need to.
Yeah. Did you do it yesterday?
He's talking about the fantastic announcement.
No, I didn't. I don't think so.
No?
Okay.
Well, yesterday I didn't. No.
Okay.
What announcement? Corbin.
Yeah. Up, to be honest.
All right, people. Welcome to the People's Journal, where I give you the news from an economics point of view. All right, like Brent said, man. The first thing I want to talk about briefly, all of this is going to be brief, to be fair. But yeah, the People's Champ, man, Jeremy Corbyn, has confirmed that he's going to be standing against Labour
Against?
Yeah, remember he's not in Labour no more.
Oh, yeah, he got kicked.
They kicked him out, man.
So was it an independent?
Yes, he's going to be independent in the
gonna work?
borough of Islington. So this is what we're going to see. Will the people vote for Corbyn, or will they just vote Labour?
You can't use Natalie as a baseline.
You guys what?
Can't use Natalie as a baseline.
I didn't say anything about that.
He has a different source.
Don't listen to him. He's being bad.
I'm not being bad.
No, you're being who you are.
I'm not.
You are being
Tell me something.
who you are.
Doesn't everybody already know who Chairman Corbyn is?
Yeah, but I wasn't thinking about any of that, babe.
Oh, I was just putting it for the people to be
No,
honest.
you don't.
I know
people-
we're here talking about
People tell Brent he wasn't talking for you. Tell Brent, because look what Brent is doing to y'all.
I'm thinking if somebody's there looking to put their vote somewhere, obviously we're going to see and hear his manifesto, right?
Yeah.
And they don't want to go to Labour. That's an alternative, right?
Absolutely, because these lot love Jeremy Corbyn, remember? You lot love him. So let's see how much you love him now.
And he might be riding high on that whole, I'm going to basically put an end to this whole Israel-Palestine immediately.
And a lot of you are activists.
It's all of them.
So get to activating.
I'm just saying, it could be interesting.
Yeah, but we're interested in what sense, though?
His manifesto?
Yeah, he's just going to be a thingy for Islington, isn't it?
Oh, he might be working in China.
Oh, you're saying that he's not...
That's not Prime Minister.
Prime Minister.
He's not trying to be Prime Minister.
he has to get in first, and then he has to now look to say, all right, cool, I'm going to work my way back.
He has to get a party or I guess be independent. He's got a long way, man.
I hear that, but
with Labour, it didn't happen.
what has that ever stopped him from
Because
doing
the
anything?
chances of...
As what?
Has it ever stopped him from doing anything?
Who, Corbyn?
Yeah, man.
I
It
mean,
being difficult.
No.
He's lived his entire life fighting against bad people, man.
Yeah, 100%. And to be fair to him, man, he's held that seat, for more than 40 years. That's his seat.
Yeah, man, people isn't. He's got to go vote for him again, man.
Hopefully they do, man. Hopefully they do.
You
know
would
what I'm saying?
if it is that you lived there, right?
100% I would.
Yeah.
100%. How Labour treated them is disgusting, man. Man, they got no respect, man. They got no respect. Look what they did to Diana Abbott. Look what they did to Corbyn. Yeah, it's disgraceful. And I hope people in Islington really do send Labour a message, man, to be like, yo, we're not just voting for the party, we are voting for the man as well. Like, we respect him. 40 years, the amount of letters he would have like read and helped people out doing and whatnot. Nah, man. So yeah, big up Corbyn.
And if
Hopefully he's
he's
successful.
back in, he's gonna trouble care a lot in it, and that's what people want. No, people like you.
Oh yeah, hopefully. Yeah, hopefully, man. In fact, I'm gonna reach out to Mr. Corbyn. Hopefully he'll come on the show.
Well, he does like the blacks.
Yeah,
when
man.
when you try to be in a Storms video, or something, I don't know. I was in that man in places that I've never seen him.
Everyone was.
You might as well go a Puma ad.
The easiest way to touch base with Corbyn is to get Margs to send like a shout out, right? Look straight at the camera and said, "Hey, we need you to come here because blah 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 blah." And then we at him, and then we get everybody else to retweet it, and we'll get to him, man.
Hopefully, man.
People pull up.
Tuesday we're gonna try that, man.
You will pull up.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. Big up Corbyn anyway. I hope he really does win and secures that seat. Next thing I wanted to mention quickly is the energy bill. Typical household energy bills are looking to fall by £122 a year from July. I spoke about this earlier. Effectively, it's going to be like £500, considering if you add on the last drop as well over the course of a year. So that is a good thing. So yeah, it means that the bills will actually be at the lowest that they have been, in 2 years. Next thing I wanted to mention is, remember the whole situation with the sub-postmasters who were found guilty as part of the whole Post Office Horizon scandal, yeah? Hundreds of them are going to be having their names cleared now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Yep. So that law that they put in place to quash all their convictions have finally been approved by Parliament. So yeah, man, it was one of the final bills to pass before the MPs broke up, basically ahead of this whole general election, which is going to be happening in July. Next thing I wanted to mention briefly is Elon Musk, man. He's come out to say that he opposes the US tariffs on Chinese electric cars and things of that nature. Now, I don't want to go too much into this because this is like proper, like, I guess, economics and stuff. But again, this doesn't surprise me because he's a true capitalist. You know what I'm saying? He's not a hater. You know what I'm saying? You're not saying, yo, he's not thinking, yo, I just want to make sure that, you know, the Americans are this, that, and are looked after and stuff like this. He understands the implications of putting tariffs on imports and things of that nature. So it's good to see that like he welcomes competition. Next thing also I wanted to mention is that the Tories, remember they promised to abolish no-fault evictions, which is basically where landlords are not allowed to evict their tenants without a proper reason, basically. That's just the long and short of it. This is not going to happen. It's not going to happen. That's what sources have released to the BBC. Also, remember the other thing that we're talking about with regards to Sunak eventually banning smoking from effectively, like for everybody at some stage anyway. Apparently that particular bill has been shelved as well. So there's a lot of things that don't really look like they're going to come to fruition during this term before the 4th of July. Some breaking news as well. That animal of a woman, Lucy Letby, she's been denied permission for the baby, trigger warning guys, for the baby murders appeal. You know what I'm saying? Remember before that she was going to appeal. Yeah.
An audacity to ask for an appeal.
Can you imagine? Stupid. But yeah, man, she's been denied permission. Thank God for that, man. And she's going to be, hopefully she'll just rot in there, man. Something worse should happen to her. But it is what it is. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I think that is pretty much it.
Okay. Thank you very much. Let's get into our last headlines for today.
All right, people. So, last set of headlines. A London-born teenager whose proficiency at spreading the teachings of the Catholic Church online led him to being called God's influencer, right? This particular person is set to become a saint. This person, Carlo Acutis, sadly passed away in 2006 at the age of 15, meaning that he would become the first millennial to be canonized. So it follows Pope Francis attributing the second miracle to him. He was involved in the healing of a university student in Florence who had bleeding on the brain after suffering some serious head trauma. And this person, Carlo Acutis, basically the Pope basically said he was responsible for that healing. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he's going to be canonized. So big up him. Next thing I want to mention is Iran on Thursday interred its late president at the holiest site for Shiite Muslims in the Islamic Republic. Thousands of mourners in Iran joined a massive funeral procession for the late president Ibrahim Raisi on Thursday. For those who don't know, obviously he was the president and he passed away. He was killed in a helicopter crash alongside his foreign minister and 6 others as well on Sunday. So yeah, man, that's become a very politically sensitive moment for Iran, both home and abroad. I know there's a lot of speculation about certain things in the air as well, but yeah. Last thing I want to mention is the Free Church of Scotland has been accused of shameful behaviour after it refused to apologise for receiving money from slavery worth millions of pounds, right? The Free Church is known to have accepted donations from plantation owners in the southern US states soon after its foundation in 1843, and is then a significant bequest from the wealthy Glaswegian sugar baron 10 years later as well. After coming under intense pressure to address its slavery inheritance, the Free Church issued a short statement on Wednesday night, which said it recognizes and freely admits the historical sins of members of the denomination in relation to slavery. It said that we acknowledge with sorrow and regret and grieve, that a delegation of its members took money from southern plantation owners on a fundraising visit in 1844, but they did stop short of apologizing. Anyway, that's it for the headlines, man.
Thank you very much.
Time to pay the bills.
Good. Let's pay the bills. Let's get into reaction.
All right, cool.
First, please.
Semo says bye.
Bye, hoes. See y'all soon. No, thank you for having me, though. Real talk. I appreciate
No, we
you guys.
appreciate you.
Thanks for coming.
When I come back, definitely.
Yes.
Definite.
Yeah, definitely.
Sunday.
Yes.
Dancing shoes. No sleeping.
How I am.
Listen, tequila and Henny gonna be your friend that day,
Oh,
girl.
dear.
Yeah, girl. All right. See you guys.
All right,
See you
man,
later,
take care,
babes.
man.
Thank you.
All right, welcome to the reaction. There ain't much to talk about, to be fair. There's not much to talk about. Just a couple things from boxing. Lawrence Okolie vows to show that he is a class above Lukasz Rozanski as he prepares to embrace a hostile atmosphere while challenging for the WBC Bridgerweight World title in Poland tonight. So the Bridgerweight title is that new division basically between cruiserweight and heavyweight. There's absolutely no need for it. But I'm not a hater. Lawrence Okolie is also from Hackney, so big him up every time, and I hope he wins. It's that simple. I hope he wins, man. I hope he really puts in a really good performance. He was a former WBO cruiserweight champion as well, so that respect is definitely due. So yeah, man. All the best to Lawrence Okolie tonight. Taylor versus Catterall. We spoke about this yesterday briefly. That's going to be on the weekend. That's going to be a big fight, man. One of the biggest fights probably of the year in the UK, 100%. The first fight, for those who don't know, you need to go and see it. It's a very good fight. But pretty much 80% of people believe that Catterall was robbed. They believe they just gave him the decision. And when you look back at certain things that led up to the fight as well, you kind of see that there were some shenanigans that went on. They were already planning Josh Taylor's fight after this. They were trying to think of him stepping up fighting Crawford as well. This is obviously when Crawford was at 144, I believe, 140, before he went up. 144. And so they were looking at all of that sort of stuff. But yeah, man, it just didn't seem to go to plan. And the judges gave it to Taylor. So everyone was just upset, everybody. To be honest with you, I gave it to Catterall, but I don't think that it was the biggest, I don't think it was a robbery like that, you know what I'm saying? I think, it's been a while since I last watched it. I think I may have given it 6 rounds, 6-6 or 7-5 to Catterall. Obviously, he had the knockdown, so it kind of cemented his win. But, you know what I mean? It's one of them ones where it's like, cool, we're going to settle it now, so let's see what happens. And to be honest with you, my money's probably on Catterall. I don't think we're going to get a Groves Frotch sort of scenario where, you know what I mean, the older man kind of just knocks him out and all that sort of stuff. I would love for that to happen, to be fair. You know what I'm saying? It's not because I like Taylor more than Catterall or anything, but just for like boxing, you know what I'm saying? I love boxing, innit? So it'll be good to see. But I feel like, if I'm being honest, I feel like Taylor, he's probably on a down trajectory with regards to his career now, man. And Catterall's still youthful. He hasn't had any punishment in his career, and he's got a lot ahead of him. Big up Taylor, though. He was undisputed at 140, so he's definitely a legend already. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Ben, were you going to say something?
I heard Ryan Garcia.
Oh, thank you for reminding me.
Trouble.
Yes, thank you for reminding me about that. Yeah, his B sample's now been tested.
What is that?
His B sample, his urine test.
Okay.
So basically what happens is when you do the test and stuff, like 100% of the time, the B sample will test exactly the same as the A sample. Why?
Yeah.
Because it's the same P in one cup, just separating 2 different cups. And yeah, man, it's come out officially that, yeah, he had Osterin in his system. And regardless of whether it was a small amount, it didn't benefit him on the night or not, it means nothing. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are speculating about basically the fact that obviously he was cycling. So during camp, he would have had higher dosages, which is what you can afford to do when you're bigger. And sometimes it doesn't show up in the test because a lot of it kind of just gets stuck in the fat. So you're benefiting from it, but it's not really in the bloodstream like that. But when you start to lose weight now, it's easier for it to seep into the bloodstream. And of course, you're cycling down as well. So yeah, sometimes it doesn't always work. There's another rumor as well that I don't really want to spread about Birds of Beer, but if you know, you know, innit? But yeah, it's just one of those things where people kind of feel like, you know, he definitely cheated. You know what I'm saying? And it's sad, man, if he did. But I guess if he did, he's probably thinking, you know what, as long as I've got the win on my resume, it's there. I don't mind taking a 6 months ban. You know what I'm saying? Because that's probably the only thing that's going to happen to him. Happened to Canelo as well. You know what I'm saying? 6 months. And if you're a guy that fights twice a year, are you really banned? So, yeah, that's basically what happened.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes, that's it, man, pretty much.
All right. Outro.
Please.
And somebody sent us a message via Instagram that probably we'll talk about next
Tuesday.
week. Yeah. I guess it's to the point of it being difficult to show receipts
For abuse.
Okay.
I appreciate you sharing that with us, and obviously it's a delicate
Very.
Yeah.
so we appreciate that greatly. Another light going out to you. Yeah. Let me just show everybody this particular video. Yeah, I spoke about Neuralink in topic of the day. So just check this out. It's really fascinating.
So what can you show us that as a demonstration of what you can now do?
Here we go. This is the Link app. This is how I control everything. This is the app that they've uploaded onto my computer that lets me control the cursor. This is my devotional that I've been reading all the time, every day. And then this is me playing chess.
So wait a minute. You're moving the cursor. You're moving the cursor, Nolan, just by thinking about where you want it to go, or is it your eyes?
No, it's just me thinking about wherever I want it to go.
Oh, man. So yeah, you're not even tracing it with your eyes. You're just looking at it.
Nope. I can move it, and I can move the cursor around, whatever I would like to do. I don't have to be staring at it at all. I mean, it's amazing. There's not even words to describe. Yeah, there's not even words to describe how amazing this tech is.
Nice.
Fascinating, right?
Yeah, I mean, I immediately think of Stephen Hawking. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, 100%.
What do you think of? I don't understand.
Because, you know, obviously, like, the computer thing was speaking for him and that, innit? Obviously, it will be different and stuff like that, but it just made me think of the steps to get into these places. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, because it's still science, though. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, obviously, the mechanics behind this, but I just still think science. You know what I mean? Like, it makes sense. There's still maths, because it can be replicated. You know what I mean? It's just like when the first person took a photograph. I was like, what the hell? How did you capture a moment in time on a piece of paper? You know what I mean? But it can be done. We do it every goddamn day. But yeah, man, it's fascinating, though. I'd like to know a bit more about that.
All right. So, can you just sign out? Yeah, it's weird because you seem to use science like it's the most impressive thing ever. And if you see something that you find fascinating, you're like, yep, there's science. Yep, there's science. But it's magic to me.
No, yeah.
The stuff I don't know about, it's magic to me until it is you say, all right, this is the way to do it. When it is that you get to certain parts and you say, this is the technology I use, for example, transistors, right? Mm-hmm. There was a leap in technological advancement when transistors were just introduced. Mm-hmm. It just came out of nowhere. For me, that's fascinating.
Yeah.
Utterly fascinating, right? For you to be able to use these particular things that I would look at and I'd be like, okay, it has properties, cool, I could feel it. But then you can use that to do this, it blows my mind, 100%. This now, this whole, you're just thinking about it and you're moving a cursor that's on this particular computer screen. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine what you can use that for?
Yeah, it's mad.
Just the applications of what we currently use our fingers for.
Yeah. Forget
about using our fingers anymore. You just think it is done. Do you understand how that changes everything?
It's, you know what?
And the application of this in a madman's hand or a madwoman's hand, disastrous.
It depends, though, right?
In a madwoman's hand, as in if it is that they want to cause damage or be malicious with it.
Of course, yeah, 100%. But what I mean is just that a lot of these things, obviously, I don't want us to keep talking about this, but just in terms of like basically, one of my favorite films is Planet of the Apes. The first one in like '68 with Charlton Heston in it. And if you go to the very last, the tail end of the film, and part 2, I believe, where they meet those guys, if you guys have seen it, you know what I'm talking about. And they're in a church and they're worshipping the atomic bomb, They communicate via telekinesis. And that immediately made sense to me that eventually we may get to a point where we evolve to learn such things. And I know it sounds crazy, right? Obviously it don't sound crazy to you, innit? But I see these things as still something that can be explained once you get to that point and you can prove this with science. Because they're doing certain things with the FBI, you know, they're practicing these things already.
I don't like that it sounds like we're on different sides here. The idea that we can get to a place where things can be explained. When we have the knowledge, we can explain it.
Yeah.
that has always been. If that is what you call science, cool, that's fine. I'm talking about the things outside of what it is that we know currently.
Okay.
The unexplored, the things you can't talk about yet. For example, you know, they have like massive vaults and whatnot where until it is that you have the language or the tools to basically approach the thing that you found, put it in a drawer, come back later on. Science would have evolved since then. Our understanding of science and the things that are happening in the wrongness would have evolved since then. And we go back to it and then we apply our new understanding to those old things those things that we found but we couldn't explain yet. And then we look to play about with it and experiment this, that, and next. This is life. This has always been. The evolution of man has always been, right? Now, I don't believe that we've always just happened upon discoveries ourselves. I believe that we've had help. Do you understand? Where you believe that, you may believe that somebody has visited Joseph and told him in a dream, this is what you do, and you give him the blueprint of this particular thing. Do you still think that happened? Because you are on this particular platform telling us to be more open-minded about other faiths. You're there doing it. You're the one that people are there telling.
I'm not close-minded to these things, but I've always just said, if you have the idea, it's a beautiful thing, but we still need to prove this to make sure that it can be replicated, because that is science, that is math.
We're not arguing.
That's what I'm saying.
Anything.
Yeah.
But this wasn't what we were talking about. I didn't tell you that we shouldn't prove anything.
No,
I never ever said my stance is we don't need proof for this, that, and next.
I understand, but what I'm saying is, for those things that seem to, because remember, Terrence Howard, it seemed like it was obviously kind of criticizing what is conventional wisdom, right? Saying all these things that we know now is wrong. The base, the foundation of all of this stuff is wrong. And I'm saying, no, it's not wrong. It's not wrong. If you want to add to this, like what you were saying, cool, we don't know about this particular thing and we can take it to another dimension and find some new equations in maths to prove it, then that's beautiful. But don't tell me that basic arithmetic is wrong, because it's not wrong.
Again, what you've just done, because you said you watched the video.
Yeah.
I also watched the video.
Cool.
And you've simplified what he has said, and then you're fixating on that 1x1 thing again. This isn't progressive conversation. This is not progressive dialogue.
I'm not fixated on that, Brent. It's the fact that he mentioned it, but then he said something else. He spoke about the square root thing. He basically spoke about things in maths, right, and science that people who've maybe gone into that field know about. Most people don't study science, don't have degrees in science, don't take it past A levels. So it sounds like, oh, okay, wow. But what I'm saying to you is, in the science world, it's just normal things. So that's the part that keeps coming back to me, because he still said those things. That's all it is. But I'm agreeing with what you're saying when you say, okay, cool, let's not disturb this, but we can add on to it and go to particular places. That's what I'm saying. Because like you said, we've seen in history where people have just had ideas. They've observed things, but then you needed the maths to prove it. You know what I'm saying? Not to be long, but one of my favorite people in history is a man by the name of Michael Faraday, right? He was a Christian guy, Sandemanian guy, one of these small sects of Christianity, very strict. But he had no proper formal education. But without him, there is no relativity. There is no electromagnetism. He discovered these things. And he just had a brilliant mind. He was just committed to learning and exploring and trying to explain the mysteries of the universe, believing that in doing so, it gives glory to God, right? But as much as he had that genius, he didn't have the formal education. So he didn't have the maths. It took James Clerk Maxwell near the tail end of Faraday's life to say, yo, you were right. This is the equation that links electricity to magnetism. And so the science community, they knew Faraday was right based on observations, but we needed a formula to link it. So effectively, that's all I'm basically saying.
What did you just say? You just said that a man discovered so much, but they refused to accept it.
No, I didn't say they refused it. No. So
you said they knew he was right, but you needed some formula to explain it.
Yeah, because that's what in science you want.
No,
it's just like
I understand the metric of that particular discipline.
Yeah.
y'all are not going to accept something until somebody could basically make it make sense to them, right? Mathematically, in the language in which it is, they understand. So where is the space for discovering new formula?
It's not just in the space so you understand. It's just so that we can have a law. Because you believe that the universe
let's not get distracted. I understand.
That's what it is, yeah.
But what is this space? Where is this space left for new discovery?
Well, Faraday was one who discovered new things.
And do you understand what I'm saying?
There.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Of course.
What has been put into edict? And all of them have said, yeah, we're all going to follow this. Because we've all decided as a coalition that this is what we're going to be abide by, right? And then this next person saying, all right, I don't understand any of this language. I don't need any of this language. I found this thing out. They're like, yeah, but we're not going to accept it until it makes sense to us.
I hear what you're saying, but maths isn't until it makes sense to us. It's more so, okay, I hear what you're saying. Just prove it.
Math isn't. I'm telling you, he was living in that math.
Yeah.
He was living it. It just wasn't accepted by them because it wasn't their language yet.
No, I'm saying that's not accurate. It was accepted, but to take it further and prove scientifically in a concise equation that we can replicate and use to extrapolate and understand other things he didn't have. The observation was there. He produced electricity with a magnet. He did it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, essentially, you're not allowed in our club until.
Oh man,
I'm not. Don't dismiss what I'm saying.
I'm listening to you.
I'm trying to understand where you're coming from, so I could be able to communicate to you where I am seeing it. Because I can see what you're saying. There's a group of men here who've set this particular law. We speak this language, right?
Okay, yeah.
And we all understand this language because we've decided this is how we're going to communicate with each other.
All right.
This guy outside here, he doesn't come here. He doesn't go here. But yet he's showing us magnificent things that, whoa, oh my goodness, we can see it. So we believe that it works because we can see it.
Yeah.
But until you come in and we basically find a way to use our language to make sense of it, we're not going to basically say we're going to now put it to the rest of the world.
Cool. But what I'm saying, Brent, is
are you in agreement with what I just said?
No. So basically, I understand what you're saying, but I'm saying tweak it a little. It's not so much that we want to accept it and put us out to the world. We accept it. We know that you're right in your theory, right? We've seen you produce this
Theory?
Yeah, because
You mean
in science, theory is basically fact.
No.
Science.
What?
Yeah, of course.
Wait. In science, theory is fact.
Yeah, you remember, you can't say.
Jesus Christ.
What happened? What's Jesus got to do this?
I thought there was theory, and then there was what can be proven.
No, in English, in normal English, right? Theory and fact are completely different. But what's understood that certain scientific theories, especially established ones, I want to be clear, established ones are seen as fact because you build upon them. Like for instance, even though you may doubt evolution or whatever, it's still seen as a fact, even though it's the theory of evolution. I don't want to get into the technicalities, but that's based on what it is.
I always say, with everything that they talked about the Big Bang, it's still a theory.
Yes.
And I understand that to mean it hasn't been proven.
No, that's not how. That's not what it means.
Me.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. In English,
at the end
it's different.
of everything, go and recreate it then.
Yeah.
Because that is what's supposed to be able.
Thank you for saying that, Brett.
You are telling me that science is all based on. Let me reverse engineer this mother thing. Let me use this formula to basically reproduce this.
Yeah.
And now you're saying no, it's not. That's not how it works.
That's not what I'm saying. I said the language is different, but I'm glad you said about the whole recreate thing because that's basically what I'm talking about with regards to Faraday. Like he was able to prove and produce that EMF, that electric magnetic force and things like that nature, and produce electricity. But the the formula that Maxwell provided was something that linked it and enabled them to be able to prove it in any environment. He wasn't able to do that. We can see with our eyes, but how do we know this is going to behave this way outside the Earth? How do we know it's going to behave this way over there and over there? That's basically what the equation does for us. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes x plus 1 equals whatever it may be here until you bring in another equation. You realize, wait a minute, x doesn't just realize that. Then you have to now use simultaneous equations to basically figure out that x does equal that, but it also equals something else. That's what the equation helps us to do. Quadratic equation, for example, helps us to do that.
I've heard them adjust quote unquote theories on the fly. I've heard them say we thought this was the case, but now we understand it not to be the case.
Yeah.
They do that a lot with the planets and stuff.
Yeah, you improve on stuff. Yeah.
It's how flipping crazy this is, because for the while it is that they've all decided that this is the truth. It's not the truth. It's not the truth.
We'll do another talk about this.
Crazy. And also, Von would like us to spend a topic of the day talking about Anunnaki.
Oh. All right.
Emerald tablets.
I'm down,
Emerald
man.
tablets and
I'm
all
down.
that lovely stuff.
I'm down. People might get bored though.
Who?
I don't know. I feel like
We just
people
give a
get
trigger
bored.
warning before that day. I say, if you don't want to know about these types of truths.
All right. I'm down, man. I'm looking forward to it.
All right.
Vaughn, you have to call up that day, man. But yes. All right, guys. Sorry to keep you guys.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget, you can follow us on our social media. The Day After TNB, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Discord. Pick up our lovely guest from today, DJ Semo.
Big up, of course.
If you want to send dilemmas in, you want to inquire about the show, feature on the show, our email address is thedayafter@thenewblack.com. We will not be here over the weekend. Well, no, we're never here the weekend, but it's Bank Holiday Monday. We will all be in our bed sleeping. So we will see you guys on Tuesday. But in the meantime, if anything crazy happens, you guys want to talk about it, the Discord is the place to be.
Yeah, I'll send a message on Twitter, the Terrence. I'm going to send a message on Instagram, the Terrence.
Howard.
Yes.
Yeah. Just to see if it is. Because if I say, hey, we have a platform here and you can convert the blacks, I think he might be like, I'm like, hey, what I'm in London, show.
I'm down,
I go
man.
too. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you might as well try, man.
Listen, closed mouths don't get fed. All right.
facts.
Speaking of which, y'all go, get your shares in that. The link is in the bio.
Yeah. I'm gonna have a word with DJ Semo afterwards. He must know.
You must know his name.
Semo, DJ Semo.
Yes.
Yeah, he must know bare of them big ballers.
You know he does.
Yeah.
He's telling us about them. Anyways, guys, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. Have a great weekend. Bye.
Bye.
Peace.